Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another new episode of the Forgotten Podcast. I'm your host Catman Joe, and today we're joined here once again by none other than the Cynic himself, Mr. Mass Cynic.
Happy Hanukkah.
It's good to see you, Joseph. Today we have a very special guest for you. You could even say he's a very important person, or even man. For episode 25, we are joined by a YouTuber who's been producing content since early 2014. Since way back then till now, he's gradually grown and mastered his skills by helping the Minecraft community learn new things and keeping them updated on news. He's recently just surpassed 67,000 or 67.9 thousand subscribers and garnished well over 20 million channel views. Very warm welcome to Dan from VIPman. Welcome, Dan, to the show.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, broski? Well, yeah, Dan's here. We've been sitting in this call for like 25 minutes right now, trying to get the green screen to work and whatnot. So I'm very thankful for Dan being so patient, and Joseph as well on my behalf here, because my green screen hasn't been working. But Dan, it is a really genuine, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. We've been wanting to get Dan on actually for quite a little while right now, and it's honestly surprising to have him on. He's our first proper rated guest of the third season of the show, right, Joseph? Yeah, because it is like episode 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24, and now episode 25. Dan's our first proper rated guest over 10k on, obviously, for the season. So Dan, it's again a pleasure to have you on, bro. We thought a great place to begin, man, and we'll kind of just jump into this first kind of discussion-ish area, and we'll get you kind of a little bit more warmed up, same with everybody for watching. But we thought a nice place to begin the podcast with you would be to actually talk about 1.18. For those of you that are watching who don't already know, the Caves and Cliffs update part 2 came out. It brought the new caves and the new cliffs, which is like the most integral part of the update. But this just didn't feel like there was a lot of hype for this update. I don't know if you would agree, Dan. I mean, we both done streams and whatnot until the update released, and I kind of personally felt like there was just not really that much hype for it. And it's kind of weird considering back in June of earlier this year, Caves and Cliffs Part 1, that brought, by the way, for a reminder to everybody, barely anything, if not literally nothing, had way more hype for it. So I know I wanted to kind of begin with that, man, and talk to you, bro, and kind of ask you, man, how you felt about it, bro, because I mean, you streamed it as well. Did you feel like there was as much hype for it, or how did you feel about the whole situation?
I mean, I think that like the whole way Mojang have gone about doing the last few updates has made the game very worrying in the future, because first of all, everybody was expecting Caves and Cliffs to be just like one major update. That's what it was originally marketed as, and it was going to be part 1 and 2 like combined, so just 1.17. And then they decided to split the update in half. Now, it's understandable why. Their reasoning was fair enough. I mean, COVID was apparently a factor, staff mental health, and some other aspects. But you got to think, I believe we were already well into the COVID pandemic by then. So it seems like a little bit of, not like an excuse, but like it seems like some companies and game developers and stuff can use that just as like a, it doesn't really matter, we don't need to really like be honest. I feel like the game in general just needs more transparency and more kind of like motivation of as for updates and stuff, because the updates being split in 2, that is fair enough. But what you got to think is that the reason 1.18, in my opinion, doesn't seem like overly hyped, and it wasn't really very hyped up to begin with, is because so many features weren't even added in 1.18. Like, there's some features.
Well, no,
I'm probably going to forget some here, but there's some features like the bundle and the skull sensors and skull stuff,
sensors, warden, all that. Yeah, there was so much missing from it that should have been there in 1.17 inherently.
And I don't think I've ever seen a Minecraft update get released that everyone's actually happy about. Like, I've never seen anything good about it, you know?
I mean, there's been I think the Nether update was quite positively received.
I think that's
know,
the
Dan, would you agree
only
with that?
example of that, though.
A lot of people quite like the aquatic one, but I don't know. I can't remember really, because I took a bit of a break from Minecraft. Not like took a break, but I didn't really follow a lot of the updates for a while. Like, I followed them, but like it's only since like the Nether update and stuff that I've really started to follow them and stream until them and stuff, because it just seems to be a little bit of a pattern where Minecraft seems to have like 1 or 2 really good updates, or like every so
and then the rest are kind of like filler.
Yeah, and they just don't update the game enough. Like, I could rant about this for like literally
dude, ages. I've said the same thing. I think you've been there in the streams. We all know this. I think it's a bit. Some people say it's like we're being kind of like we're being quite naive because we don't develop games. You know what I mean? Like, neither of us do, right? None of us here do, right? I mean, Joseph has, but it's like. Still, they've got like one of the most successful games, if not the most successful game in the entire world. One of the most sold games. I think is the most sold game, right? Minecraft is now. Like, it's a most sold game. It's played on multiple different platforms, mobile, everything, Nintendo Switch,
but
Xbox, PlayStation,
owned
everything.
By the biggest company.
Well, Microsoft, yeah, and there's only one update a year. I mean, this year we've had 2, but that again, like what Dan's correctly saying, there should have been just one. Like, it should have been the Caves and Cliffs Part 1, which was 1.17.
Or maybe done Well, I'd say this should have been that one update, but I kind of also feel like it would be better if they did slightly smaller updates. Not like smaller, but like if they're doing these multiple part ones, do multiple different updates. Now, I've never developed games, but I did do an IT course at college, and one of the processes of that was like development. We had to develop like a scoring system, like an app, and even that kind of shows the like correct development processes that companies should be using. Like they have different methodologies and different kind of processes for like developing games or apps or whatever. And I just feel like from the outside in, like looking at Mojang, of course I don't know what goes on there, but it seems like they maybe just aren't being completely transparent with what's going on. I feel like they should be a lot more transparent. They should be a lot more honest. They should be, you know, I don't know, this is something completely different to discuss, but I kind of feel like so many betas and snapshots and stuff, it's kind of also ruining the game a little bit, because there's no surprise. Like we knew what was going to be in 1.18 from ages and ages ago. We knew everything that was going to be in 1.18 and like 1.17, even when they split it in half. Like we had most of the features already, at least in some stage, implemented into the game. Now, I get it. It's good to have betas. It's good to have snapshots for people to be able to experiment with features. But also, I feel like it could have been handled a little bit better with not having that kind of stuff. And then people could have had the surprise. Because with the 4J Studios, like you came from Console Edition, for example, Joe.
Yeah.
With the Console Edition, there used to be some mystery. They showed some features that were coming, but no one really ever played with them. Now, I think it's good to play test, but it's also good to have some
But 4G done it differently. Sorry, Cotton. 4G done it quite differently, and I kind of liked and respected 4G as well a lot more, because it's with the snapshots and betas. It's good, like you said. Of course, it's good to get player feedback, and it's good. I mean, who better to let the people like actually test the actual updates and see how things work than the people that are going to be playing it, right? But it's like, at the end of the day, it's a different kind of way of doing it that 4G done it. 4G Studios had a way of like, oh, we'll kind of tease you a little bit with like a little photo here, and you look into the photo, and then people like Echo and all these other people would make content on it, and they talk about it, and they look into it. But we would not really know what's coming in the update until it came in the update, unless you're really on Java, because usually at this point, you know, Console Edition was still a few updates behind Java, and Java had a lot of the features that Console was getting, but it was quite a surprise, you know what I mean? But now it just doesn't feel like that, and I think there's quite a, this is what I kind of wanted to mention right off the bat right here as well. Like there's quite a, in my opinion, clear decline, and it feels like interest. Maybe not interest. Maybe interest isn't the right word, but I feel like definitely I think it's popularity, yeah, and like how the actual community is feeling about the updates, especially since 1.16. Like Dan, I think looking at you is probably the best example of that, right? And you're gonna go, well, what do you mean, right? Well, Dan, you done streaming to 1.16 releases, remember? Like you done that big stream.
That stream like did insane.
Dude,
like,
that was amazing.
Got like 5,000 viewers concurrently.
Oh yeah.
I mean, okay, a lot of YouTubers then. I'm not saying I was the first person to do that, because I probably
no.
Right, but then a lot of more people I saw doing it like after that for the next update.
Well, I started from there. Yeah, I started from there myself.
With the next update, I think I got like 200 concurrent, which is like really good for a stream for me still.
But it's a decrease.
It's nowhere near the 5,000. But I wasn't expecting it to be either, which I think already showed a decline in the hype for like the Caves and Cliffs Part 1 update. But then I feel like with the Part 2 update, like I think my peak views in Part 2 was like 50 or something like that, and that was right at the end as well.
Yeah, that was the exact same for me. Yeah,
it's like it's just like if you look at Google Trends as well for the Minecraft search term, it's the lowest it's been in terms of search volume for a while.
Do you think that's from like the power crash, because there was the big surge in Minecraft content that came up and down? It goes up and down quite a lot, especially as of recent. Yeah. Do you reckon where the big crash of that has really let it die a bit more?
But wouldn't you expect it to be high right now, because it was just an update like a couple of weeks ago?
Well, yeah, exactly.
You'd expect it to be high. I don't know the exact data, but I was looking at it earlier, because I sometimes look at Google Trends. I've started to try and see what's trending, you know, to try and like,
smart.
Get videos to take off more. Even though sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does. And one thing I noticed is like it's down quite a lot from like in the last year, I believe it is or so. It's like the lowest it's been, which, you know, Dream SMP and all of those like different like people who played Minecraft, as you said, Joseph, like yeah, that could have a bit of an impact. But I do feel like for an update, and considering Minecraft Live was only a couple of months ago as well and stuff, like you'd expect Minecraft to be. And the fact it's December, a lot of people will have like a week off work, or two weeks off work, or a week or two off of like college or school or whatever in a couple of weeks. So you'd expect like there to be a lot of hype around that it was just an update, but the hype just doesn't seem there either. Like when the update was being produced, when it was released, or now that it's out, it just seems like you know, if you'd ask someone to like, if someone plays Minecraft not a lot, but like plays Minecraft a bit, and you were like, oh, did you enjoy the last update? A lot of people might be like, oh yeah, sure, if they didn't play betas. But stuff's been in the game for so long, even on the experimental Caves and Cliffs button on Bedrock Edition, you could enable that for months before,
Yeah.
or like a while before it was released, and the hype is just not there when you'd expect it to be like one of the most hyped times of the year.
Well, I mean, if you look at it as well, like, okay, so when 1.16 came out, right, 1.16 I believe was like the only update Minecraft got that year. Like, it was one update the entire year, 1.16. Then it was a year, I think it was like 11 months exactly, but it was a year until the next update, 1.17, and that was Caves and Cliffs Part 1. And what did that bring? It brought copper, it brought, what was it, the telescope, obviously, amethyst geodes or whatnot.
I still think the telescope
new ore
was
textures.
the worst and most pointless.
It feels like a bit of a redundant thing to. I don't really see that as much of a really great feature.
Like,
if you look at that, it's kind of
Java,
redundant.
you would have like, I remember installing Optifine a while ago, like a good few years ago, and it did the same thing but better.
Well, yeah, but
like,
I think it's more for console players. They can't really do that unless they change the FOV. But even at that, it's not really the best. But it's like, sorry, go ahead, Dan.
I feel like 1.17 for me, I preferred that to 1.18 because 1.18 seems to only be for survival players. Like the only stuff that really changed was for survival. But in terms of like creative and stuff, I don't think there was any new blocks in 1.18.
No, there wasn't. No.
We have the moss, the drip leaves, the deep slate ores, all the other features that you mentioned a second ago.
Yeah.
I think goats, but I still don't get what goats are really used for.
Yeah, it's with this update with 1.18, all we got, you're right, we didn't get any new blocks, which is kind of a bit it's a bit kind of sucky. No new blocks though. We got the new caves and the new cliffs, which is cool. The new terrain generation, right? That's really nice. But that really is it. Like there was actually nothing else added. I think they actually added a couple of secret little things, like for example, when you sleep in a bed now in Bedrock Edition, it tells you like, oh, one of so many players in the game are sleeping, right? So say like you're playing with a friend, it'll say one of two players. But like this is abysmal. You know what I mean? Like, this is actually quite abysmal. The fact that it's taken since June until now for this update to release part 2, and this is all we got with it, I feel like I sound a little bit bitter saying that, all we got with it, but it's kind of like, you expect more from a company that's owned by Microsoft and that has the most sold game of all time, and it has been one of the most popular games for the past 10 years.
Ever.
Yeah.
Combined with one of the biggest companies ever, and it's like, one update a year is abysmal for that work ethic, you know what I mean?
And I think so many people have been kicked.
Do more.
No, but it's like as well. I think the community is really being kicked because it's like, okay, originally let's look at like Caves and Cliffs Part 1, 1.17, right? Or when it was before it was Part 1, it was okay. We're gonna get Caves and Cliffs, brand new caves, brand new cliffs, goats, copper, all these things. Plus, of course, a warden that was gonna be awesome. All these great things. People are like, yo, this is gonna be the best thing ever, right? Like this is exciting. And then it came, and I remember streaming it, and I mean, I'm sure Dan, you had the same, of course, because we both streamed 1.17. I remember people going, I cannot wait to fight the warden, and I cannot wait to do this, and I'm like,
I was laughing because I knew it wasn't coming, and I'm like, you all do realise this isn't being released. And again, I think that's partly probably because of lack of transparency and stuff.
Yeah.
But what you've got to think, like, okay, they were kind of transparent, but you got to think they advertise Minecraft Live each year as a major event and stuff, and then they just tweet out when something's delayed or changed. Like, it would be nice if it was a bit more of a thought process. And okay, they ran into some issues with 1.17/18, I believe. Now, don't quote me on this, but I think one of their main issues was like getting 3D biomes, so like the mountain biomes to generate on top of each other and the underground biomes and stuff. But you'd think they'd have planned that out, and if they did a proper planning stage before the update. I kind of feel like before they announce it at Minecraft Live, they should have it all planned out. Try and work out as many of the constraints and technical differences and stuff as possible, so that the update is going to be actually possible. Like even with the 1.19 update, I know, like switching between updates here, but the wild update, the one that's just been announced. Again, I'm not overly hyped for that because the Warden's something we've been promised for like over a year or so now. The Swamp is decent, but it doesn't feel like a big enough thing for a whole update unless there's going to be multiple updates that year. If next year they're going to do
there isn't.
The wild, I know there isn't, but unless there was, like that does not seem like enough content, right? Hopefully they update more stuff, but it seems like this time now they've got a little bit scared, and maybe they have learned from their mistakes of okay, we promised too much last year.
We bit off a bit more than we could chew, kind of thing.
But we need transparency as well of what's actually going to be worked on, why they're working on certain features, why certain other features are like there's a lot of stuff in the game, especially on Bedrock Edition, that just needs to be addressed and needs to be implemented. For example, some command stuff on Java Edition, if you use the /locate command, you can like click on like coordinates in chat and it will teleport you to like the coordinates. I know console that'd be difficult, but for Windows 10 and Pocket Edition and console, if there's a way to do it, would be a nice addition. There's also a locate biome command, which allows you to go to a certain biome. The amount of times for video thumbnails or videos I've needed to go to a certain biome, and I spend like hours, like no joke, hours
just searching
for it is so annoying. I'm sure there's other examples, like Java commands are a lot more complex, but there's some simple things they could add. And there's just
world border, like that's a command. We
one.
talked about that world border command. There's so many different things that they could add to improve the game, but there's also like little quality of life and things that we've like quality of life improvements that we kind of been waiting for a long time. And like even things like hardcore mode coming to Bedrock Edition. This has been promised, for years. Like this has been promised since like 2016, I believe.
I remember
if you check the Minecraft Discord,
being
they used to that
for console a while ago.
Well, it was for Bedrock Edition. The developer said, "Oh, we want hardcore. We want it to come," but
I believe it's in the code.
Yeah,
I believe that's been in the code for a while, and spectator mode, but they've just never wrote. That's what I've heard from people, that both of those modes have been there for ages. Now, this is really gonna this is a topic that I want to bring up autosave for Bedrock Edition.
Oh,
on the console edition, you can disable it, right? Disable autosave. They said they aren't going to add that to Bedrock because it's not on Java and they want parity. Then why are they adding stuff like amplified worlds to Java and not Bedrock? Why are they adding custom superflats or keeping custom superflats in Java? Like, it needs to work both ways. It's almost
you can't say, oh, this is for priority, but this isn't. We don't like this. I remember actually Stampy, I don't know if you've maybe seen that. That's maybe where you're getting that from. I remember Stampy made a video of things. This was years ago now, back when Bedrock was kind of first out. And he talked about things he'd love to see implementing. It was things like autosave. Like, autosave is such a small thing. Like, you really think about it and you go, would it really be that hard for them to add it? Autosave?
Yeah, they said they aren't going to add it. Like, they've literally I can't remember where they said it.
But it's like hardcore. That is not a hard thing to implement.
Well, Dan, exactly. Like, it's in the code. Same with Spectre. Well, these are two things that people have waited for a long time. Same with Amplify for Bedrock Edition. This is stuff that the console edition of Minecraft, the older variant now, the less, I guess, the less evolved version had. And custom super flats, but Bedrock Edition doesn't. The unified.
They don't do this because they are the biggest game. Like, they just don't have to.
I think it's more like they just focus on.
For long though. Like, okay, they're the most sold game, but they're not the most active monthly players. If you look at like free-to-play games like Fortnite or other free-to-play games, there's a lot.
I know, but they are going to look at the sales more, aren't they? So
I mean, but
true,
it's active player counts.
They're going to be overtaken if they don't up their stuff. Like, I don't know if they will ever be overtaken, but what I'm trying to say is there's other games out there that put way more effort in. And I just feel like, considering what we've all said, I believe, on this podcast already today, like they are the biggest game. They have probably one of the most money. They're funded by Xbox. And I don't know if they just expanded too quickly, too fast. Like, tried to I love Bedrock Edition, but I don't know, something I've always wondered is maybe they're trying to support too many devices and too many different things all at once, and maybe they would have just been better to just I don't know, not have everything.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's like you think about it. There's Pocket Edition, which that includes obviously it's Bedrock Edition, but that includes dozens of mobile devices that they've got to make sure Minecraft works on. Then there's Nintendo Switch. I've heard from people. I don't know if you have a Nintendo Switch or anything like that, Dan, right? But I've heard you do, right. Well, I've heard from so many people, good friends of mine, my friend MV and many others, that Switch edition of Minecraft is literally broken. Like, you legitimately, with the 1.18, it entirely broke it. Like, you cannot play it and it's not enjoyable. That's there. They've got that, the PlayStation 4 version of Minecraft and the PS5 version, the Xbox One, Xbox Series X. All these other versions of the game, they're not individual versions, obviously, for PS4 and PS5 and whatnot, but still. But there's so many different versions and variants of Minecraft. It is like they're kind of stretching themselves a little bit too thin, but that's their choice.
This is going to sound controversial, but I think it would have been, okay, I'm someone that, I loved the console edition of Minecraft, right? It was great. Now that I've not played it for ages, okay, the Bedrock isn't as polished, but I kind of got forced over to Bedrock and Bedrock Xbox One. I'm someone that personally thinks that having, okay, I'm glad that it has crossplay. Crossplay is a great feature, but they really should have had 4J Studios work on the console versions and then somehow integrated that crossplay over to Bedrock if they wanted that. Yeah. Because, again, we mentioned this many times on your live streams, or I've seen you talk to people about it.
Yeah.
I've also had it. The user interface and stuff, even though they've been promising a new user interface for ages that works better on consoles, it's just not good for console. I now play Windows
so simple.
10, but playing Minecraft Bedrock on consoles just doesn't feel like
doesn't feel like it's console. Yeah, we've discussed this, and it's something that's I mean, you can look at it any different ways, and it's not even like rose-tinted glasses. Oh, but you guys like legacy, that's what it is, or you guys like console. No, it's you're just looking from a factual point of view. I think keeping the Bedrock editions as defined as Windows 10 and Pocket Edition would have made more sense, because it feels, the UI, the interaction, the way it works, it feels more I mean, Bedrock Edition is based on Pocket Edition. It feels more like a mobile version of the game, or PC. The fact you have scrolling and all that kind of stuff, you can type. it just doesn't feel like it's made or utilized for consoles or console players.
I love Bedrock personally now. Like,
yeah, same.
And I just feel like it could have so much more for like console. Because if you think about the host privileges thing on the console, you know, where you can like change game modes and stuff in the game. On Bedrock, they do have a UI, but it's literally got 4 buttons, and I believe it's like weather and some other stuff.
Weather. What is it? Weather, time, like time of day, obviously. Weather, time of day, and I don't know what the other 2 are actually. That's terrible off the top of my head.
But why not make? Oh, TP is one of them, and there's another one.
Yeah.
That was the best. I'm not really good with the names of it because I don't play Minecraft like much as I used to. But remember back at Xbox 360 Minecraft, that was the best for me when it had those options.
Host privileges,
It felt the best. It felt like it was made for that console. Like I've been playing it recently, a bit on Java and a bit on PlayStation. And on PlayStation, it's just vastly more unenjoyable because it doesn't feel like it's made for it. You go through settings, you go through all this access stuff to get to something that was such an easily accessible feature for no reason.
They could add it to Bedrock super easily, though. It's not like it's that complicated to add a few more command things, make a better looking user interface. Even just for host privileges, right? That would change the way, like, that would change the feel so much if they had host privileges there. Maybe had, like, instead of just defaulting to chat, maybe you default to a thing which has, like, 2 tabs, one for chat, one for, like, host privileges.
You could go down a menu.
And look down. Like, chat beside it or something. Yeah, like, with one of the back buttons on the controller. Or, I don't know. Like, there's just so many ways they could do it. They can make different things. I've thought about that for ages, like how simple it would be for them to implement something like that. And I don't develop games, but that wouldn't be complicated. They've got the chat command there. All it is linking it to a GUI button to add more, to add a lot more of those things. And there's so many different options that would be so handy to have there, you know.
I agree, man. I think like there's so many things that they could take from Legacy and implement to Bedrock Edition that would really improve the Bedrock experience for many console players. This isn't exactly for, you know, players on Windows 10 or Pocket Edition. That's totally fine. It's not that they don't deserve anything else.
It would still be handy. No,
exactly. Well, that's it. Exactly, it'd be more features. But it's like I do agree with the concept where it's like they should have kept 4G. It's a pipe dream, right? Like we're all speaking hypothetically here. It's not like it's going to happen, right? But if 4G had been kept on to somehow, like you said, integrate Bedrock Edition and Console Edition together, or make the crossplay thing able to happen between those 2 versions, that would have been great. Imagine if you would have Windows 10 and Pocket Edition players on Bedrock Edition, and then you had the console versions of Minecraft, you know, Xbox, you know, 1, PlayStation 4, etc., with the original kind of console feel, but obviously more updated and more brought to the new kind of era.
Or just added a new UI option to Bedrock, like console UI, Pocket UI, which is the Pocket Edition one that they have, and the like main Windows 10 one could still be the same game. They could just have like the whole console UI in there, the automated crafting or whatever it's called, you know, not the like one where you place items.
Well, it's the one, where you can go through it all. You can go through it. And it's like I remember getting mentioned. I think it was by Stampy again, and it was the factor that he liked it because it was you could legitimately memorize it. You didn't have to scroll or have to type. You could close your eyes if you were good enough, right? And you could memorize it and be like, all right, I know that I need to click square, you know, go across a couple clicks and then go down, and you could find where everything was from memory. It was a couple clicks to get things built, as opposed to on Bedrock Edition where you have to scroll, type, or roll down menus and whatnot. It's a bit much for me personally.
Another thing as well about Bedrock Edition, and this is something that I know both of us have covered like a lot. Me and you have covered a lot on our channel. PS4, well, not just PS4 servers, but Bedrock Edition servers in general. Now, a lot of people on the PlayStation were super hyped for servers, right? And I was sitting there at the time, and I was like, servers are absolutely like terrible compared to what don't get hyped. No one believed me. Not many people believe me, considering I've played servers on Windows 10, and I'm like, okay, you should really like, and on Xbox. But the battle mode, Tumble and Glide from Console Edition, why couldn't they bring those over as an official server?
That was so much better as well. It felt made for it.
Can you guys imagine, right? All 3 of us have played these, right? Can you guys imagine like a nowadays version, like a new version of Battle, Tumble, and Glide? And obviously the other game was, do you know there was gonna be a building game mode version? Like it was like build battles, right? But 4G actually had developed it, but they just didn't release it. Stampy and other players and whatnot, our big members, Echo and other people in the community, IBX, etc., had actually played it. This is something a lot of people don't know, but there was an actual 4th minigame that was coming. But can you imagine those game modes like brought to Bedrock Edition and with a lot more stability and new maps and bigger player counts?
Probably would have charged you $7.99 per install. But,
I don't think they need to change the like battle mode.
No, that's it.
Items and like Tumble and Glide. I feel like Glide probably could do with a few tweaks if it was on like a server. And I feel like Tumble Tumble feels a little bit. I like Spleef and stuff, but Tumble, I haven't played it in ages. But they could add a lot more gimmicks and a lot more cool stuff.
Yeah,
but
it was a little bit. Yeah, it was that was it. They had custom games where you could use fireworks as like guns, and it was so cool that you could like shoot fireworks at your friends, and it was like it was custom. I didn't even know this till like about a couple months ago, right? Because somebody was like, "Oh, mess with the custom settings, it's great." So I tried it, and it is cool. Like, I mean, if you imagine those being brought to Barrel Creation, it would be insane. Like, I know players, because I've been working closely with a group of individuals who are actually at the minute trying to do that. They've actually got all the original console edition maps and all the battle maps, all the glide maps, etc., and they're trying to import them onto Barrel Creation, and they've got them working.
The same.
But that's exactly it won't feel the same, but it'll look the same.
And the integration, and that's one thing that the servers are lacking at the moment. Now, I played a bit of Hive and a bit of CubeCraft. They're my probably two favourite servers, but even they're not overly great on Bedrock. Like, I'm not saying the other ones are bad, by the way. Like,
no.
I've played them enough to judge it. But a lot of servers do seem to have lag and issues, even the ones I mentioned, like Hive and CubeCraft. But then they don't have the same feel. 4J, like, even if they just integrated like the battle mode Tumble and Glide, then left and didn't do anything else on Bedrock, that would have been so sick.
Yeah,
if they had like a server or like a different tab. Doesn't even have to be a server. It could just be a different tab.
But it could be. It's like right now we've got what 6 feature servers, and they all. I think 6 or 7. It was what was the new one? Do you guys remember the new one? It was like it was made by Pixel Paradise. I heard that was a complete money grab from what I've heard. I've never played it at all.
I didn't really touch any of the servers just due to the fact that like they always felt a bit crap. Like I played like a little bit on just like running around the lobbies and that. It just felt wrong. It really just
I don't know. I played. I mean, Dan as well. I've never really played CubeCraft. I played the Hive and done the Hive parkour. I used to love that. But that was it.
The Hive is now the Hive. Okay, the Hive is what people like the most. I personally, I'm like not sure if I prefer the Hive or the CubeCraft, right? Because Hive's decent, but I never really got into Skywars. It does seem cool with the Hive. But the main thing people play for is Skywars, and I think that's because obviously also the Hive is a Java server, is now Bedrock only, so that has more attention, more developers from that server. So it is going to be like a lot of people are going to play it on Bedrock. It has got some pretty cool stuff. It's got Death Run, the Skywars. You mine ores and get different things. It seems a little bit complicated for someone who's only started to play it recently and only played it like once or twice. And there's other modes as well, like a build battle, but most of that's got really inappropriate builds and stuff, and isn't really safe to stream. Like people build.
I've seen a lot of that actually.
Yeah,
there's a lot of compilations of people.
I thought you can get banned.
Going
though.
in,
I thought that's what happened.
I think so, but you can't. But I don't want to risk streaming it because it's dark.
No.
But my point is, I mainly play servers on stream, right? And I don't want to risk streaming like someone built in case they do build something.
Yeah, something inappropriate and you get trouble.
What else? There's Murder Mystery and Hide and Seek, and Hive do start to have some good limited time modes. There was like a TNT run limited time mode. I can't remember the name, but that was pretty cool. And then CubeCraft, which is what I played. CubeCraft Skywars, they have an overpowered mode and like a normal mode. The normal mode I quite like, and I played quite a lot. They have duels on CubeCraft, so 1v1s, which is pretty sick, and 2v2s I believe as well. A battle arena, like a free for all area. They have. I'm not trying to be a salesman for either of these servers.
No. It's like, yo, buy them.
My point is, they have different like strengths and weaknesses. I believe both have like a survival games thing. CubeCraft has like a capture the flag thing. They have good modes. These are the two out of the servers I've played, these are the two I've played the most, and they do seem fairly good. But it just doesn't feel the same as like console.
That's how I remember, because I got asked in chat because people were like, the people knew what I was up to, and they're like, oh yeah, is it true that you're with these people doing? I'm like, yeah, I am, doing some stuff, and it's not done yet, but I've been like kind of close with it, knowing what's happening basically. And these people that are, again, they've made it work. Like this one person, I won't say the name right now because I don't know off the top of my head, but I think it's Emmy. Emmy is the person's name. But they've managed to make a Bedrock version of the Minecraft battle mode, right? Or console edition battle mode. And it works flawlessly, like everything. It all works. But people said, well, would you play that on battle mode instead of the old battle mode? And I said, no. And they said, why? I said, well, because it wouldn't feel the same. You can have the same map, the same items, the same spawning and whatnot.
But you can't represent like the feeling.
There's just a certain thing with console edition Minecraft and a certain thing with console edition Minecraft. Yeah, and that's you can make it look the exact same and it just will not feel like that. There's a certain feeling that you can only get on console edition.
I feel like if you were gonna play that, like you might as well just get something custom made, like completely different. If you were gonna play something like that on
just
Bedrock.
pirate Minecraft altogether.
It's just a new one.
Don't do that, by the way.
I don't see why they don't actually. Okay. I don't see why Microsoft don't go after more of these people that are pirating the game or getting it free. It really annoys me because
the thing is with that is this is controversial, but I think pirating games is not an overall bad thing, because This is because I follow a lot of game developers. I follow a lot of and most of the people that make pretty good stuff that are pretty chill say the same thing. You know, if you can't afford a game and you pirate it, you're not getting more traction and players towards that bit of media.
But the developers,
Yes.
but it's like the just
I
because
know
you can't afford
I
it
know
doesn't
it's
mean
controversial. I'm not saying go out your way to pirate games. I'm just saying
yes.
if you can't
okay.
afford it, no, I'm not.
The reason that this is like a topic, I've debated this topic a lot with people, like on Discord, I talked about it a little bit on streams, but I don't know like where, if you're allowed, like, you know, the rules around talking about that. But
no,
the thing that annoys me about Java, about pirating, and this is mainly Java edition, right, is people, a lot of the good servers on Java apparently now, this is what I've heard from people that play Java, there's not many good premium servers apart from like Hypixel and like a couple of other ones. Most of the good ones are on the free version or the pirated version. It's called. And it's like, okay, I understand that if Mojang, Microsoft, or whatever can't go over after everybody to pirate the game, but they could surely go after some of these big servers that could definitely afford to pay for Minecraft and own a server on normal Minecraft and shut them down somehow. Shut down some of the launches maybe for the game, you know, or something like that.
Yeah.
I like. Okay, I understand not everybody's going to be able to afford the game, but some people can afford it, and they just.
I mean, of course, I'm not encouraging people to do it. I'm just saying if you can.
Who can? You know what I'm saying? I mean, Minecraft you can buy cheap. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much anyway.
It's like $7, isn't it?
It's £7. Yes, it's £5. It's like it's £4.99, I think it was. Right? That's how it used to be. I think it's like
some people are strange. Some people are a bit like. But it's like you their stuff. I can't remember what I was watching, but at the time. There's so many developers. There's a lot in Valve as well. Even Valve was kind of saying, like, you know, it's good because it gets people in there. It gets people to experience it and be able to share more of it without having to go for it. If you're not willing to pay for it, I'm not saying go pirate the game.
Like,
you know,
people could. Okay, so some of the issues with people getting stuff for free. First of all, if they download an APK on like Android or any free software, there's malware that could come with it.
Viruses,
like
malware.
Yeah, but that's their problem.
Different stuff. But my point is it's very unsafe as well.
Yeah, and it's normally kids that are doing this.
If you're saying game developers have encouraged it, right, that seems a little bit weird, because why are they encouraging people to download stuff?
They've encouraged the idea of someone obtaining the game, not malware, right? They're not saying go and do it and get a virus. They're saying if there is a way of getting to it.
But there's always going to be. I'm not saying always, but.
Oh no,
there's always a chance, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Of course.
Malware, people will have data stolen or something, or I think probably something. I don't know for sure, but maybe newer is probably some software might try and mine crypto or something on your device. I don't know. I've not looked into this enough, but. My point, it wouldn't surprise me if they were going mining Bitcoin. But you know, there's like a load of different like vulnerabilities, and what I'm saying is I don't think everybody realizes the risks. And I see what you're saying. If people can't afford a game, I believe I was watching a YouTube video the other day, and they were talking about how I think it was Microsoft or something. Don't mind people pirating, say, Windows in like some countries that are like less developed or like recently got technology. I think India.
That's exactly what I'm on about. I'm not saying like everyone go pirate Minecraft now. Was there a big thing at one point? There was like download Minecraft for free.com. That was a big thing for a while.
Yeah, did Mojang shut that down though? I thought, right?
Yeah, no, I believe they did, but like that was a big thing for a while.
Yeah,
you know, it was up for a while.
The idea of all these free stuff, like getting like the people that do getting Microsoft for free or Windows for free, for example, is their idea is like next time there's a new update, people will, if they have enough money, they'll hopefully become paying customers, right? But for something like Minecraft, that's not really going to work because there's never like a new game that people might pay for. Like, there's new updates, and some people do have to, like, if you some people seem to have to download different versions, different updates and stuff. But I don't think the pain is enough for people to necessarily
avoid
buy
it.
Like,
and then go for it.
I feel like people would just download it somehow for free again, whereas like so it wouldn't really work the same way. And like with the Minecraft, I can't remember the URL you just said, but the MinecraftFree.com or whatever website, that was a thing. I also saw a video. I don't know if you saw it. But I saw a video a while ago that was kind of like talking about that. It was actually like really recently. I've never heard of it before. But the way that worked is that was on a browser, because you used to be able to play Minecraft in browsers.
Yes.
I believe Notch was going to sue, because this is where Notch was still in charge of the game, which I know he's done commercial stuff. But he was going to sue the people that that like made that site.
That are
And then
running it, yeah.
They ended up like playing a video game to settle it or something, and if they
What?
won or something, yeah, I can't remember the game, but it was a game Notch was really into at the time. It was a video that I saw, and Notch ended up like 3v3 or 4v4ing these people, and if there was some kind of bet around it as well, right? They were going to take the site down either way, obviously, but like there was
of
some
course.
additional bet for something, and it was like, okay, that's interesting because a lot of people wouldn't have that sort of kind of thing, but you got to think Notch probably had a very different look for the game Minecraft to what it is today. He was
used
like
to
an
hate it, didn't he?
individual. Yeah.
No, he hated at the end. It was at the end he started to despise
when
it.
he was like starting to develop it and stuff, his
Yeah.
idea was probably to have. I don't think he ever intended the game to be this huge, right? So
No, I think he said that.
He probably didn't mind as much if people kind of like he
Back
didn't mind,
then.
of course, but back
Yeah.
then it would have been a completely different story. Now it's like a company. I mean, okay, there would have been some people maybe working on it back then, but not like as many. There might have been like 3 or 4 people.
No, it was a small
there'll be
office.
loads.
Mojang, like when it was started, it was like Mojang was. I think Jeb was one of the first, was he not? And there was a very small number of people developing Minecraft at the very beginning, and then it grew from there. They started in Stockholm, right, like in Sweden, and then they started developing, and it got from there, and it kind of grew piece by piece by piece.
I mean,
and that's how it went.
He's now expert. Notch is like there's a couple of every so often Notch like tweets out something about the game and it's like this game's terrible or something,
Yeah.
different cool stuff like that. Not cool, but like different statements.
Yeah.
And a lot of people. This is something else that I got into a discussion on one of your streams, Joe. Was
Yeah.
like people were saying, "Oh, I think you were one of them."
Notch with no, it was yeah, I know what you're gonna say. Yeah, it was. I said like the statement. It was on a Twitch stream, and I said the statement like, I wonder if Notch was still running, or somebody else said it, and I kind of picked it up, and it was like if Notch was still developing Minecraft would be better. Someone said.
So many
and
people
it's
think that.
such an open statement that you kind of like you don't know. Again, we're speaking hypothetically, right? Because
That's
it's
a
like
shot in the dark, definitely.
yeah, metaphorically, yeah, we never know, right? We'll never know. It's a shot. It never would happen, right? It's already happened. He
He doesn't seem to have
sold
the
it.
passion for anything though.
No.
Because he stopped working on that game on Minecraft, I believe, like a year or something before he sold it, and he like
Yeah, and he
started
started working on
it.
he started working on the story was he stopped working on Minecraft a year before or something like that before he stole it, and then he kind of took a bit of a backseat. I think Jeb took over. He let Jeb kind of like take the reins a little bit more, and then he took a backseat and he started working on another game which was like Minecraft, but it was in space. I know this is like you're crazy. Like no, this is actually the truth. Started working. It was on a space game like Minecraft. It was weird.
He was working on one like a year or a couple of years ago as well, wasn't he? Like
Yeah. It was like
after
it was like
he
people were
sold
saying
it.
a new Minecraft,
Well,
but it was
after he
weird.
sold Minecraft, yeah, but
Yeah.
his passion just didn't seem there. He had passion for like a week or two by the looks from memory, and then he was just like, I'm not really feeling this. And I think the thing is, right, as much as like Bedrock can be debatable whether people like it or not, I personally think Bedrock's my favorite version of the game that's still getting updates to this day. Maybe if console was still getting updates, it'd be between those two, but like Bedrock because of command and stuff, I do really like Bedrock as well.
Yeah.
That's another topic, like Java versus Bedrock and all that people
Yeah.
could debate for ages. I'm one of the few people that prefer Bedrock over Java Edition, but one thing that is really notable is that if Notch was still running the game, it would not be as big as it is today. Now, there might be more. He used to do a lot more updates, sure, but he only ever worked on the Java edition. Now there's all the Bedrock editions. They've got a movie, I believe, coming out that they probably wouldn't.
Yeah, there's a movie in the work. Nobody really knows the full kind of story. I think it's been quite
I feel like I've
quiet.
said that for years,
There's a bunch
though.
of stuff.
Yeah, Joseph, your quality's like went down the drain, by the way, just so you know. Webcam wise.
I don't know how to
is this
fix that.
movie- When is this movie meant to be like releasing at this point? Because it was originally like 2016 or 19, and then
I
it
think
was,
it's-
like 2022. It's like
Yeah, I think it's 2022 now. I'm not even too sure.
I'm
It's like
not
I
hyped
don't
for
know.
it.
No, I
Yeah,
mean
it-
it's
it
like I've
wouldn't
seen a
be-
lot of video game
wouldn't
movies and they look quite bad. I don't know if you've seen many. Like I've seen Assassin's Creed movie and stuff like that, and there's just a few
I didn't
that are
even
just
want
like
to touch that with a 10-foot pole because I was like, I don't want to ruin
no,
that series
there's a
for
couple
me, man.
video games. I know there's a Borderlands. I'm a big fan of Borderlands. I'm sure you've heard me say this before, Dan. I love Borderlands as a series, and they've got a Borderlands movie coming out, and like they've like the actual like
Have you
the actors
seen
are terrible already.
Some
like,
of the
ones that they
Mario
place for
films,
it.
like the live-action Mario
Is it not?
films.
Yeah, is it? Who's
It's
playing
horrendous.
Mario again? Is it not a thing?
No, not
what's
the
name?
new one, but there's a
Oh,
new
okay.
one with Chris Pratt as Mario, which
That's
I'm
it.
not
Yeah, that's just
looking forward to. But there's an
Cringe.
old one where they're like basically they're these two like plumbers in like a really poor area, and Peach gets stolen by like some like Goomba looking thing, and they just look like lizards. It's really bizarre.
I don't even know.
I feel like
I know,
we should
man.
also move on to the second question. By the
Yeah,
way, 'cause I feel like
we'll
be here for
wrap this.
eons.
Well,
Okay,
that we
can
I think we can discuss this. Sorry, go ahead.
Can I say one like?
Of
something
course.
else? Okay.
Yeah.
So, So one thing to note about like the Minecraft movie, any other movies, right? That you guys just mentioned. But I'm going to specifically say Minecraft because that's what I know the most out of those. I mean, Mario is also a really cool series, but
Yeah.
I love Mario anyway. But tangent. But yeah, Minecraft is like, why are they not just spending however many millions or even billions that movie's going to cost on the actual game, getting more staff?
More staff, more people
That would be a good choice.
Yeah.
That would be a good choice.
They get money from movie sales and stuff. Don't get me wrong, but like, they can
You're
make
mistaking.
money off of Minecraft if they had other stuff,
You're mistaking two words here: company and common sense.
That's what it is. Yeah,
that's two very different things.
If you're a community manager, you know where I am. Hit me up.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll respond to everybody's tweets. Like, not everybody's tweets. There's probably a lot.
This
but,
podcast is going to get blacklisted by Microsoft.
That's what. Mojang will be blacklisting us. That's what it is. God dang. Oh man, no, it's one of those things where it's Minecraft, man. We'll end up this little like segment here with this. Minecraft is mess, man. Like it needs a lot of things improved, especially Barrel Edition. There's a lot of things that you could take from Java and Console Edition and learn from.
I love the game.
Same, yeah. It's like
people think like when I hate on the game that I don't like it. Like for example,
we're giving it constructive feedback. That's what it is. We play it more than most, and we can like this is what we do for work. Like this is what I do for work. This is my full-time job. I love this. It's my hobby. It's my job. It's my passion, right? So if anybody's gonna have an opinion on it that might be quite insightful, it would be someone like me or someone like you, like people that actually play it daily, make content on it, and it's their livelihood. We care about it more than most because it's part of what we do daily.
I think we also see the game in terms of long-term health as well. Like
because that's what it is.
I've talked about this to Sam B, who runs the Forgotten Podcast Discord. So you guys should join, by the way. There's a link somewhere on the description or whatever you're on.
Exactly, yes.
I don't know all the different streaming platforms.
But in
YouTube there'll be a link probably in the description.
There will.
But like he and like I've talked to him a lot about it on streams and also to you on your streams and stuff. And it's like I love the game. YouTube is currently my full-time thing. Hopefully it will be like in the future, depending
for the
on
foreseeable
how well,
future,
depending on how well like it goes for me. Maybe it won't, but I'm always gonna love the game even if I just do YouTube part-time. I love Minecraft, and I just think with the current state of the game, if it keeps going downhill, and it could be debatable whether it is going downhill, but what my point is if it does keep going downhill, updates get like less transparent and smaller, and I don't want to say lazier because they are working on stuff, but like
it's less impactful.
You can still not like something that you love. It's like many of my favorite games I hate, so it's like I feel like people need to realize you can have a more in-depth, dynamic opinion on something rather than being like, hey, I like this, or hey, I don't like this.
But one thing that Minecraft does have is the developers do actually play the game, right? Which is cool. But maybe they're a little bit too. Can you be too interested in the game to where you don't develop stuff and you more just spend time like testing
it?
They seem to be play testing stuff a lot. They seem to like.
What have you seen? Slice Slime? Have you seen? I'm not trying to bash this guy. Like I love Slice Slime. He's cool and all, but
channel, doesn't he? I'm pretty sure.
he's like I feel like it's kind of unfair. Like I'm a bit better on this matter, right? Because I've obviously done news for Minecraft, but it's like the guy works there. He knows things before anybody. He's making content on it. Like 1.18
even
released,
if he doesn't
he had
publish
videos.
it, so it's out. He could have videos.
No, he done that. He done that the other day. Sam B was in his stream. He was on Twitch, and he was writing up his script and working on his video for the next day for 1.18 came out. And I was like, what? Like, how is this allowed? Like, I want to get a job at Mojang just so I can do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is it's so mad.
If he is a content creator like that, why? Okay, I'm not trying to hate on any of the.
No.
This is all malicious, guys. Don't listen.
If he's a content creator, why doesn't he make content for Minecraft instead of being a developer? Get someone else. There must be a load of developers that can develop a Java.
Oh yeah,
Java dev, right? Why doesn't he become a community manager if he's already got that interaction built with the community? Yeah. He answered questions for people on Twitter. He could do streams on like one new thing. The Minecraft YouTube channel is now doing a thing called I think Minecraft Now or something, and it's gonna be a live show.
That was just announced. Yeah,
I don't know how often it is. Was it every month or?
I didn't really look into it myself. Yeah,
but they announced that which is gonna be cool. But again, why are the developers not developing the game? The game's in complete terrible position at the moment. I'm not hating on it, but I just think
it's just feedback. It's like there's so many things that the game is missing that they promised. Again, perfect example. We jump back to this just for a second. Like hardcore mode and spectator mode. These two things have been promised since 2015. If you look in the Minecraft Discord and search those up, look up the logs, you'll find people like what was her name? The ex community manager. What's her name? Oh my god. Helen Angel, yeah, Helen Angel. She put it up, and so many other people did.
She was a
Jay
great
Wells,
community
everything.
manager.
She was phenomenal. She was amazing, honestly. She was brilliant.
Again, no hate towards any of the current ones, but I look on the Twitter of the ones I do know, and there probably are some I don't even know, which shows.
Jay Wells and all that.
But they don't develop. They don't reply to many tweets. Like one of them. Okay, I think it's good that Mojang use their personal accounts for stuff because it gives them a little bit of credibility. But at the same time, one of the community managers was just talking about Halo most of the time on his Twitter, and I'm like,
yeah, that was I know who you mean. I know exactly. I know who you mean. He keeps making stuff about Halo Infinite posts, and I'm like I follow with notifications for news stuff, right? And I keep seeing it. I'm like, what is this? This isn't Minecraft. This is Halo. You're saying what's happening here?
I don't know whether it'd be better to have separate accounts for like work and like
personal and
or maybe even just a Minecraft community manager's Twitter. I think they tried that at one point. I don't know what happened to it, but I'm pretty sure Helen and some of the other ones at the time.
Surely there's some
like
Minecraft update accounts, though. I follow many people that do that for like Apex, etc., where they'll just post stuff.
But they don't. But they don't know the answer to the question that we need to know. Like, okay, an example. I can't think of one video it was, but it was one of my PS4 or Xbox or why you can't videos. Probably like why you can't get custom skins on PS4, something like that. I actually reached out to Helen Angel at the time and was like, why can't you do this? Because I had theories, right? And I think my theories were probably correct. But I'm like, I want to get some credibility for this video. Nowadays, I just completely go off for speculation because it's not.
There's no point actually. You spend too long trying to contact them. Yeah.
But like I wanted to have some credibility, and she was great. She replied. I've also like messaged her previously when I did a how to get custom skins, I think it was, or how to get mods on Xbox. I messaged her saying, "Can I make this video because I know it's showing how to get mods / like custom skins, and I know that's officially not supported, but you can do it through the files on Xbox, or you could at the time. You can't anymore. At least as of right now, but." Which is like a shame. As nice if they kept that in. It was a thing that you could do. Why get rid of it? Obviously, the marketplace, loads of other reasons. But she literally said, "Yeah, that's fine," and also that can she use that video to?
I remember you mentioned this in the stream.
I think, or how to get skins, and I'm like, that is great.
That's such a cool thing to be like. It's brilliant.
Even if you only sent it out to like 1 or 2 people, right? That's still like helping.
It's community, a community manager being like, "Yo, this guy right here, check out his video. He's a content creator in our community. Check." Like that's such a sweet thing.
Like the thing I want to strive towards on YouTube is I want to be one of the most helpful sources for Minecraft information. Now, I don't personally do news videos. I know you do a lot of news videos.
Right? Yeah,
I
did.
Do that because they're outdated.
Competition.
They get outdated. No, I don't do that stuff because they get outdated so quickly.
I've talked about this. Yeah. It's longevity. It's longevity.
Outdated.
I've told Joseph, but I tell content creators about this. I think there's 2 different formats of content, right? And it's very simple to know. You've got longevity content, which is what I call it investment content, and then you've got like rocket content, which is content that just blows up overnight or does well right away and then it dies, right? So like things like I'd even say subjectively, live streams or news videos or things like this.
Okay,
those things are like rockets. They do great, and then things like tutorials, like what you've done, Dan, and like what I've done as well. Build video, let's plays, tutorials, build videos, things like that. Those things have longevity because they're useful forever. They're not useful for that 24-hour period or 7-day period or whatever. It's a longevity kind of thing. They'll continuously bring you views, and that's why I'm to you right now. You could stop. Either of us. I've stopped making content for the past 4 weeks or whatever, like really basically in general. And I mean, I'm still getting views every single day, and it's the same with you. If you were to stop today for the next 2, 3, 4 months, you're still going to be getting over 100,000, 200,000 views every single month, easy, because of all that longevity content that you made and all that investment content, which is brilliant.
I mean, one example of this is like my most. It feels odd advertising, but it's like
no, it's fine. It's fine. Say what you gotta say.
So,
no, it's it's for you.
That sounds. I hate like trying to be that guy.
No, you're good, bro.
At the time of like recently posting, the day after 1.18 came out, I did a video called "Why You Can't Find the Warden in Minecraft 1.18."
So
that is very specific. It's 1.8. Yeah, that video blew up, right? I totally didn't just bring it up like a flex. No, but joking aside, right? No, I didn't actually, but I am like that video did really well. It's my best performing video this month, even out of all my old stuff. Like it's already like the most viewed in the last like 30 days, which normally it's old stuff. I mean, I don't know if that's a bad sign that my old stuff isn't doing as well, because a lot of that's recently started getting way less views. I think that might be short or other factors. But that video did really well, but it's not going to be popular. Like even already, it's already slowing down. But that video's done so well. But a lot of the time with that kind of content, you're not necessarily going to get that initial spike. And if it's not long-term content and you don't get an initial spike, I almost don't think there's much much point of doing it because there's going to be other sources. I'm not trying to like hate on you, by the way, Joe. Like,
No, it's fine, bro. It's fine. No, it's fine.
But
it's cool. We're here. Yeah.
Like talking about how to grow a YouTube, I don't want to completely go off like the script or whatever for the thing. But
no, it's cool.
How to grow a YouTube channel would be a really interesting thing to talk about because there's different strategies and different ways you can go about it. But
yeah,
I personally feel like a lot of the time I have started to try and experiment with doing more time-based content, but a lot of those videos I haven't done well. They're like sitting at like 500 views and they're not going to like take off. So it's like, I don't think I want to do that kind of stuff. And then the Warden video that I didn't think would do well at all blew up. But again, it's not going to do well after.
It's always like that though. The things that you don't put effort into just seem to skyrocket.
I remember my dad telling me this when I like for years now, because my dad knows how hard I work with YouTube, like when it be with comments or whatever, and he used to always say this: "You work too hard." And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, listen, you can work too hard. You can work too hard." Yeah, well, he's told me the exact same. Is that you work too hard. But I'm like, I love it. I'm a workaholic. I love to feel like I'm overwhelmed. That's my natural state. I love that, right? But like, that's why I love and that's why I enjoy doing. He said, "Well, fair enough." But
I
it's
think
one
that
of
you
things.
need to work smarter, not like.
Yeah, it's work smarter, not harder, and that's not an insult. That's exactly what it is.
For example,
you can make 10 videos that are trash, but you can make one video that's good that you spend more time on.
Live streaming, right? We've had this discussion as well. I keep referencing stuff on streams, but I know a lot of people won't have necessarily been in the streams.
Community, yeah.
So that's why I'm kind of bringing this stuff up, even though we've already discussed it through chat. But with live streaming recently, live streams on YouTube and videos for me as well. But I've noticed that a lot for live streams and videos for other creators too. I don't have a load of data, but like just from the creators I've seen, they've been doing worse, right? And it's one of those things where I kind of feel like I could put loads of effort in streaming 40, 50 hours a month, like I have done for the last couple of months. Or I could just stream like a couple of streams more topic based, and they probably might do as well. But it's like
because you're being a little bit more specific. Yeah.
But like it's like one of those things where I'd say that's an example of working like smarter, not harder, because I'd be doing less stuff, but it would be smarter.
Less work, but getting more, more out of it. Yeah, no, I think that's exactly what it is. Like that's my issue as of right now. Personally, I know this. Like I've told people this. It's me. I'm too invested into multiple different things, and people go, but you should be invested into your main channel. I mean, you said it yourself. Like you should kind of narrow it down a little bit and hone in on something. And that's definitely what I should do.
If I was you right now, didn't you used to do like seed videos, right?
I used to love doing them. I've jumped around.
Why don't you do them anymore? Because they were doing really well.
That's a great question. I used to work with a few different content creators, Frenzy Gaming, people like that. People I don't think you know those people, but these are people that done console edition seeds. Now, console edition seed showcase seeds were very different than Bedrock edition because Bedrock's it's not the same. But like one of the people that is right now just killing it, I'm sure you see him on Twitter, Minecraft and Chill.
Yeah, I've seen him
Minecraft.
his channel.
Cameron's amazing. I love him. Cameron's the absolute bot. I love him. He's a great guy. He right now is killing it, right? And it's just me and him. I worked with him when he was like way smaller. He's actually from Scotland. Well, he's in England, right? But he's near Scotland. I know where he lives. But he's brilliant. He's a great guy. I love him. And it's like he right now is killing it. And it's like I could step back in there and start doing Bedrock seeds, but it's just it's not my interest anymore. It's one of those things.
Okay, the reason I bring this up is has now been a good opportunity. Isn't one of the
Seed
few
Parity.
The last update was the parity for seeds.
Seed Parity.
I don't know how that works, but that would be a great time for you to jump on that.
Oh, well, that's true. That's a very good point. Yeah,
it's long-term content.
Yeah, well, that's it. See, my Seed Showcase is still getting views to this day, even though one's for console edition, and I do want to get back to it, but it's hard because it's one of those things where it's like I have such a level of like, oh, I want to do it specifically, and you know, it's one of those things that you can barely ever get around to. You know what I mean? And it's with Seed Showcase, it's a lot of time. You know. I
don't want to be the kind of guy to put, like, one of the things I want to do is help other creators, right? And
yeah,
I'm not trying
to
say this. I'm not trying to say this as if I'm
as an attack or anything.
As if I'm like bigger than you or anything. Because
no,
we're
cool.
quite close.
You hear this? This is this people.
But this is what I'd do if I was you. Like I would probably completely cut back on, maybe even get rid of some of the unlist some of the videos from the news that it hasn't done well and focus on just ones that are going to do well. Like I believe you do updates to PS4 that normally do great views, but then
snapshots and Java, it's just kind of to Windows out,
so I would personally focus on that more. I'd also look at like what videos have done well for you in the past and work on more. Again, this is me personally giving you
I appreciate it
because this is something I'd want a creator to do to me, right? I don't have many creator friends, but if I was sitting here, like you can completely roast me back or give me feedback if you want to.
This isn't roasting, this is constructive criticism.
Of course.
But you could like I'd personally, if I was you, look into the seed parity thing because I believe Java has some cool tools. I'm not saying you have to do this if you hate seeds, by the way. I can't be bothered. Otherwise, I'd jump on this because it's a huge opportunity. That's me being completely honest. Like finding seeds is difficult. I need to look into how to do it with the Java thing and what seeds.
It takes ages. That's the thing. That's the thing.
But I'd jump more on that. Jump more on stuff that's done well. Like look at like I believe this is something that some like YouTube educators and stuff, which is a completely another. I could talk here for hours about this. It's a completely
We've got more questions questions. Don't worry.
It's a completely different. This will be like a 10-hour episode.
We're already an hour in, but don't worry, we're gonna cut the intro.
Who needs an episode 26? Just make an episode 25
That's
part B.
Part 2,
C.
exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I'd focus more on seeds, on other stuff. I believe you've done some command stuff. It's like basic command stuff.
Yeah, I done some basic command stuff because I was kind of wanted to step into the command scene, and I was working it when I started because I didn't know a lot about commands. I'm still very new to it. There's still a lot I can learn. Like you know a lot more than me, like significantly when it comes to commands. But I was working with someone. I was working with someone that we both know. I'm not gonna say the name. You know what I'm saying? Because like you know who I mean. I think right.
Yeah.
Command. Yeah. No, it's Joseph. That's what it is. But, like I was working with some said content creator at the beginning, and it was because I was like, hey, could you help me and like teach me a little bit about this, because this is a new field for me. We can work together, do some cool stuff. And it just never really went anywhere. Like the person was like, oh yeah, as long as you give me credit for it. And I'm like, well, you didn't make these.
I could rant about
You already know that. Yeah,
before I rant about credit and stuff.
Yeah.
Command blocks are great, but one of the issues I've found with command block content is if you get past a stage of 2 or 3 command blocks, people just can't seem to. And this is not trying to hate
fathom how it works. Yeah.
They can't understand how to type commands. I'm like, why? It's simple command blocks. It's like I was gonna do a how to. I might still do this video in the future, but one of the videos I've got at the moment is how to make a spectator mode video. That's gonna use a tag and a scoreboard in one command, plus about 8 or 9 other commands. And I'm like, okay, most of the commands are simple, but do I want to do a video on that? Because people can't.
Who's going to be to follow?
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah, they lose track. I know what you mean though. Like it's if it goes past a certain stage, people just stop listening and they start going, nah, this doesn't make any sense. It's like it does.
I've got help with command blocks, right? And people like there's a guy who's really good at command block, like who's helped me quite a bit. His name's Infi, and he doesn't have any social media or anything. But he's honestly great at command blocks. Like, he can do most stuff. But even some of the stuff he tells me I can't follow, and I'm like, he helped me with a system for like custom villager. It was like quests, right? Custom NPC quests, like the NPC mob on Bedrock, which is like you could make custom quests to where like you chuck you have to chuck certain items and you get a reward, and it says all the text in chat as if like it's kind of a little bit like a role play thing, I guess you could say. Like text would be in the chat or whatnot, or in dialogue. And he helped me set that up. That was a great system, but it uses like 19, 20, 21 command blocks. I'm like, I'm not showing that on the channel.
Yeah,
like,
no, I mean, even if you were to write those in the description, because I think that would be the only plausible way we could do it. You'd have to go.
It's just video, huge. Though. If you put the
that's it. Yeah.
Okay,
I done that. Yeah, you still got to click, but it's not the same.
One thing I've found recently about my channel is, like as I alluded to earlier, videos seem to be getting less views. Like some older videos, some are still doing all right, but some older ones are starting to get less views. And I think after thinking about it for a long time and analyzing my analytics, because I'm someone that likes data quite a lot in terms of
look at it.
I think it's my retention. I don't think I keep people watching long enough. I think that might partly be because I speak too fast.
But I think that's I done the same thing. Yeah, but do you not think it's like, because I done the same thing, I thought the same thing as well. It's like you think, oh, maybe I'm speaking too quick, but then it's like you could speak slower, but the video's longer, and you think, well, if it's longer, they're not going to watch as far, so you speed it up and condense it into a nice little package.
It's cut out bits that are like
unnecessary. Yeah,
and I must admit, like my newest video has like a 50% retention, but that might partly be because it's trending as well. The one before has like a 40 or something percent. Like I was getting 20, 10, 90. So maybe that's my main aim for 2022 and the rest of 2021 as well.
Build up the retention.
Build up the retention. Focus on that, because I honestly think, and I'm not trying to sound like I'm not trying to be that person that's like
no.
Like, I feel like I have so much more potential, and some of my tutorials are great. It's just I'm not holding people's retention enough.
Your attention is actually really hard to master.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like you've either got to be upbeat enough to keep them energized and interested in listening to you, or you've got to be quick enough to get it. It's a hard kind of skill to master, because it's like there's so many things that people can nitpick it. Like if you speak too quickly, that's an issue. Speak too slow, that's an issue. You don't get to the point fast enough, that's an issue. You have the wrong music on. That's anything and everything. People nitpick.
People like to me. Okay, so one of the things that like you said about me on this podcast, and you said about all the guests, the idea of the podcast is to get to know the person behind the podcast more, or like ask questions that people wouldn't normally ask.
No.
People might want to see more. Like the issue is long-term subscribers would love to see more personality. Like even on this podcast, I probably said stuff that I wouldn't normally say. I've maybe showed my own personality more on this podcast
and personal opinions.
But if I was to do that in videos, like the subscribers might watch it, but non-subscribers would not watch it at all. And like 99, 95, something like that percent of my views come from non-subscribers.
Non-subscribers,
So
and that's the
got
issue. It's
more.
a confliction. Yeah, it's
You never
want to
really
make
get
content.
a chance to make
But
yourself a brand.
this is why I tell people not to make even like when people say to me like upcoming content creators, especially Minecraft ones, right? They go, "Oh, Cat, what should I do? Can you give me some advice?" I go, "Don't make Let's Plays." They go, "What? What do you mean?" I said, "Well, listen, nobody's interested in you."
People have asked me for Let's Play so many times. I don't know.
But that's the thing. It's like you have
you have to make
that's
people
kind of
care
what it
about
is.
you
They've
before
asked
you
me so
can
many
make stuff about
times.
you.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the thing. But it's hard though because it's like what Dan's saying. If 90% of your viewers are people that don't like know you, they don't care. It's not even they don't care. That sounds so heartless, but it's
They don't care in the sense that
They
they don't have
literally
interest in
care.
it.
Like,
Yeah,
you've
well,
got
that's
to
it.
think about from their perspective.
Yeah.
If I click on your video,
they're there
and
for
it's
one
you, I will
specific
care.
thing. Yeah, they're there for one specific thing. That's it. They're not here to hear your intro, your outro, what you have to say. No, they don't care about anything. Just what they are there for. So the thing is, you've got to make enough content that they're going to come back for, and then eventually they're going to go, "Oh, I might check out this guy," and that's where they check out a live stream or a Let's Play. But if you're only doing those kind of things, live streams or Let's Plays, you're probably not going to grow. Or you are, but it's going to be very slow.
YouTube say that like that won't affect, like if you have a couple of videos in a row that do bad, it won't affect other videos. But I personally think it does because I went on a streak of having a lot of videos that didn't even get to 1,000 views. Now some of them have now climbed over to 1,000 views. Some are unlisted or whatnot.
Yeah.
I tend to unlist content after like a couple of months if it's like not got
Well,
1,000 views.
I was going to write a question regarding that for the show because we were going to write when we were looking up stuff, and because I use the Internet Archive, right, which is really handy, and I can use that to look back at channels. And I normally do that for guests, right? And I looked at yours, and there's a lot of videos that look like that have disappeared, like they've just.
It's
gone. And
not.
I was like, I think
it's
it's
just
unlisted.
It's
What are
just,
you hiding?
It's no. The
Where the
reason I
bodies?
have so many unlisted videos is because the way I look at YouTube, and even if this isn't necessarily how it works, I believe that I've never got any real recommended or suggested traffic, right? And I don't think I will because I do tutorials and stuff. But one thing I have realized is if a video doesn't do well after a while, and literally it's getting 0 views or barely,
It's flatlined.
barely any,
Just get rid of
I
it.
might as well, like some of them I get rid of. If they get over 1,000 views, I don't tend to get rid of them, or 1,500 depending on what I think. But if it's like stuck at like 200, 300, 500 views for ages, sometimes I'm like, like okay, I've done a video recently which is like a how to mass replace blocks. I did like one years ago with like a simple command. I did another one with an updated, like a better command. The updated one, like the original one has like 400,000 views. The updated one hasn't even got to 1,000 views in like a couple of months. I think it's the retention on that. So now I'm like sitting here and I'm like, do I want to redo that video?
Yeah, for like a
better
fourth
retention?
time.
Unlist it, like a third time, but unlist the second one, like the one that didn't do well. And, like,
That pretend that didn't happen.
Or sometimes ideas are just like very not as good as you think. It's difficult. You almost need people to like judge your thumbnails and titles, but then it's difficult to find people to judge them before they go out.
Honestly,
like, well, if you
yeah.
guys judge my thumbnail and my video content, it's like then there'll be subscribers, so they'll be biased towards you. So even if
And that's the thing. It's hard to cut you off the road, but like it's hard to really find people that are really going to give you like that honest feedback. Like if you say how's this thumbnail, if you don't like it, I want you to say you don't like it. Like I don't want you to sit there and go, it's good, it looks okay. Like no, if it looks bad, tell me. Would you click on that thumbnail? Would you or would you not? Oh, I would, but would you honestly? If you didn't know me,
It's so
would you
hard
click
to
on
get
it?
feedback like that.
Yeah,
just in
constructive
general.
feedback is a hard thing to do because a lot of people, not all people, but I know plenty of friends that they can't take constructive feedback. You give them a little bit of feedback that's constructive, and they take it as a personal insult, and it's not that at all. We need that to
I
grow,
think
man.
The Bedrock community on Minecraft is just very, very like toxic
Fragile.
from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Like okay,
yeah.
so there's I'm only saying this now because earlier we were talking about people. This is some of the stuff that I've seen on the Bedrock edition. I'm going to forget some stuff. There's been a couple of people who say, okay, you can use this command or something, but you have to give me credit when it's a really simple command, right? So from now, I'm no longer giving people credit unless I literally find it off of that person. If I find something off of someone, I will do that. And if it's not super simple, if it's like a one command line or one command block, I'm not going to give it credit. And the reason for, or a couple of command block or simple game mechanics, the reason I'm not giving credit anymore is I have in the past. There was this one person that I gave credit to for a command block creation. Like I was thinking at the time, do I want to do this? Do I want to not do this? He was like, you should really do this video. The video has 10,000 views, so it's a fairly well-performing video.
Yeah, done decent. Yeah,
a while ago. Nowadays it's even more better performing because my videos are doing awful.
So I get you.
But like it was a decent performing video and stuff. And I gave them credit. I shouted them out. And I said, go check out this person's video, pinned comment or whatever. They posted the same video a couple of days before, by the way, but they were an up-and-coming channel. And I was like, I want to support up-and-coming people. So sure, like when I say that, a couple of thousand subscribers, maybe a couple of hundred, I can't remember. And they even pinned a comment saying, VIP Man, like I've given VIP Man permission to do
permission
this.
in case that so no hate comes over.
They removed the comment and then they started sending people to hate. I think they were just using to hate on my videos, being like, how dare you copy small creators?
Was this the same person that I know, or is this no?
I don't know who you know.
Oh, I thought like the same command person. I thought we're like the one that we talked about.
This is a guy that now does like Hive content, I think, but I don't want to name who. So
I think I know who you mean. I think yeah, no, I think we're on the same page. It's the same person we talked about. I think I know.
Yeah, it's also like
same thing happened.
If I see creators talk to that person, I don't want to talk to them creators either. So I don't get to know new creators, if that makes sense. And that was just one example. Another guy, something similar happened, and I don't know what happened to that guy, but they got banned from my Discord. So they must have done something bad if they got banned from my Discord. And I'm like, I'm promoting someone that's probably not a nice person if that person got banned. The original person I was talking about was going to help me with one of my Minecraft realms. They then was like, oh, actually, no, I'm going to steal your ideas and go and make my exact same.
And pawn it off. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, fair enough. There's then been creators that there was a creator that I know he's a pretty big creator. This one has over 100k subs now, and I was actually admin on his Discord server. Now, there's no hate to this person themselves because they are probably a nice person, right? And they're just busy with stuff. But they had faction maps, and I think it was this person. It might have been someone else. They had a faction map, and the builder of that map, like someone that got help, like was asked to help finish building it, finish doing commands or whatever, found a sign saying the original builders when this guy was claiming to have built it himself.
Oh.
Or, like, have a custom built, and I'm like, you don't
just stole it.
Oh
man.
And the community doesn't know. And then the same guy made an add-on for Minecraft Bedrock. I'm trying not to like give too many hints.
Yeah, no, you can be very
They made like an add-on pack with like a load of different add-ons. They just stole people's add-ons and didn't give them like I don't know if they gave them credit, but they didn't ask them before they used their stuff.
So like, it's redundant if you give credit and you don't ask. Like it's like stealing something and then like telling them later, or taking someone's money out their wallet and taking it later and come back. Oh, I took it. It's like it's still you stole. Like you can, even if you give credit later or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's redundant.
And then so I made that guy's Discord server. Like I literally made it. I sent him a message on Twitter or something. Was like, do you want a Discord? Blah blah blah. That Discord grew to over 5,000 people. He was never active on the Discord. He didn't really appreciate the server or the stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he didn't. He was a nice guy when I talked to him. I streamed with him once as well, and he seemed like a really nice person. But it just didn't feel like. The Bedrock edition just doesn't have a community. There's another guy that like I know you've had drama with and had on this podcast in the past.
Is this? Yeah, I know exactly.
You know exactly who I'm talking about. They do Roblox content on one channel.
Yeah.
On another. I have mixed feelings about that person as well. No, I've no hate to this person.
No.
Cool, right? But this is going to be a very controversial episode. But at the same time, it's going to be like good for you guys because
No, it's a great episode. Yeah.
But no, so I'm someone that doesn't want to hold back. Like I'm very selfless in terms of like I listen to people and I try and help people. With probably too much, to be honest. I should probably care about myself more than others. But like I do also speak my word if I have something I want to say. And
you say your piece.
I feel like with this person, in the past they've given me some pretty questionable strategies, or the way they grow their channel and stuff just doesn't seem like to align with what I want to do. I want to be a trustworthy source and stuff. And I don't know. At the same time, they're doing great. They've shared with me. I'm not going to share this. Even though I'm talking to them right now, I'm not going to share this on stream. But they make a decent amount of money and stuff each month. Like they're ridiculous amount of money each month off of like websites and off of like different revenue streams. Like that's mad. But then I'm also like, some of your strategies and some of the stuff you're telling me just isn't realistically right.
Morally, kind of thing. It's like it's just
like morally not right. It's like.
I've had a lot of scenarios like that when it comes to making content in general like that, especially on like I remember back in the day when I was in Apex glitch stuff.
Yeah.
This is something I'm going to say for another episode, a specific guest I want to get on to talk about it. But there is a lot of people within these communities that have that sort of way about things where it is just I only care about the views, or maybe not even like that, but it's like they don't really care how to go about things. Because there were some pretty immoral things that they wanted to do, and I was like, you know what, I'm alright.
So much though, that's the thing.
And that's the thing. It's like there's a lure.
Like me and Joe just don't go as much, and like I'm not saying we deserve to go more.
No. But it's like kind of we do though. Like we don't want to sound selfless or selfish or anything like that. Like like we deserve to grow. Like we're not trying to stand on a pedestal, but it's like shouldn't the guys who are doing the right stuff and setting the right example be like up there? You know what I mean? Like that's what you think. But it's one of those things. It's just that's how it is. It's like the people that cheat, they get there quicker, and often they don't get caught for it. But those who don't, they either get left behind. It takes longer.
People that have been nice to me, and there's a guy that I've recently started talking to. He's really chill. I'm not gonna mention names.
Yeah. That's cool.
Like people tell me stuff without like you know. I've not asked people if I can talk about this stuff. But this guy has talked to a couple. He's got over 100,000 subscribers as well. I don't know the exact sub count. I'm
recording my podcast.
He talks. I've got like one or two people that I could ask if they one. The other one I offended everyone on Discord and I lost contact with a lot of people, which I kind of regret, but probably talk about later. But this guy said literally some huge names in the community seem really toxic. I can't remember exactly who, like the exact sub counts, but some had multiple hundreds of thousands. I believe maybe one had like over 1 million, like some of the big names, and they just seem super focused on their I don't know the right word, but super kind of focused on toxic to some degree, right? From what
it's like saying. They're quite selfish kind of thing. It's like, I think there's like a theory where it's like you've got to be quite a egocentric kind of person, quite an egotistic kind of person, like to get to the top, because at the top it's very lonely. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't have to be that way. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people focus so much on themselves and their own. You get in as much as they can. We have another question regarding this going to be coming up soon when we get to it in a minute. But like it's one of those things where there's so many content creators out there that are at the top. They look like good people, but when you get behind the mask and you see them, you go, you're actually like you're not who you say you are. You're an animal.
It's not just small people, it's big people.
No,
as well.
Big ones.
Like it's a mixture of small and larger creators, but it's like difficult because like on Java they have like there's a Hermitcraft SMP, the Dream SMP. I don't know these people obviously because they're huge creators, but there's a whole community of people that seem to actually care about each other. But what I mean is like on Bedrock there's nothing like that. There's no like community.
No, it's not like family kind of thing, like a vibe of like good friends.
Discords or chats for YouTubers. There's no good SMP for different like people like want you to do an SMP with some friends. I'm like I don't actually have too many friends. Like I have friends, but like not friends.
Yeah.
And it's not even like a sub count kind of thing, right?
No.
It's like who can I actually trust? Because even recently, in terms of like, I have a Discord server, and that Discord server obviously goes for a lot of stuff, right? It's at the moment it's quite dead. I'm not really focusing on it right now, but like in the past it was fairly big, and I've gone through a load of different moderators on that server, and people just completely kind of turned on me, like they completely like ditched me, changed. There's a lot of different scenarios, and that's made me have huge trust issues.
I can imagine. I can imagine. That's definitely understandable.
And previous like YouTubers as well, like have all made me have huge trust.
No naming.
I'd love to do a bet. I'd love to do a bed. Okay, one of them I pretty much exactly said who it was. Like anyone that has a brain.
Yeah. We ain't gonna say anything, but you can look for it. You're saying.
The guy chill with me at home. Like, even though I don't talk to him, I don't think he hates me or I hate him. I mean, if he does, then. Again, you could use it as a clip title. I hate this person, or get him back on and be like,
have it a short.
I can already see the numbers just.
I'm acting as if I'm going to be able to pull in any views. I can't. No one cares about me. We've discussed this. But the other guy will pull in views, and that'll be good.
He's being so humble right now. He's lying. You're saying.
But the thing is like just. I'd love to. People have always been like, "Why don't you do a YouTube at SMP?" I've tried so many times to get together a group of Bedrock YouTubers. Some that I thought were cool at the time and aren't anymore, and I just can't find enough people to make a cool SMP like live stream thing. I wouldn't want to do videos because, as you said earlier, let's play videos are a bit meh. So, like, just stream it, but I don't know too many. Like, there was a guy who does Java and Bedrock Edition tutorials, and he does waiting for streams. He's the guy that I lost contact with. I should probably try and re-add them on Discord or pop into a stream or add them on Twitter or something. But this guy seemed fairly cool. There was another guy I mentioned a minute ago. I'm trying not to like say names, but there's a couple of cool people out there who are cool creators that I've met. Or I think they are. I'm not saying they are for sure because again, they could just like completely ditch me or like completely use me and stuff like previous like moderators of my server has and previous stuff. But it's difficult to find people. So to people out there who are like, why don't you stream with this person? Why don't you make videos of this person? And I'm sure that people say it to you as well, Joe. Why don't you do stuff with other YouTubers, collaborations? It's not that easy.
No, you want to make sure the person you're working with isn't out there just to use and abuse you, or they're not just there for their own. Like, there's other reasons, because it's a lot more than just views and subs or just getting used. There's always other things as well. You got to be quite careful with, and it's
people can be so malicious. So
there's a lot of people. I remember the one thing I take away from this episode was I think episode 8 of the podcast we had the Purple Weather on, right, and This guy Joe, he was. I mean, he could have been what big like today right now. If he kept going with YouTube, I could have seen him at like high up. Genuinely, I met him when I was starting up my channel. This one
Probably is high.
and. But like Joe was honestly a character of a guy. And I remember him telling us on a podcast, like one of the biggest reasons why he quit YouTube was because toxic. He said people in Minecraft communities that you wouldn't think, but they were so toxic. He's like, there's so many people that he knew that would just take from him. Like people that I know, like, and I'm maybe you might have heard of. I'm not going to name names, of course, right? But people in the community still to this day, shockingly enough, that had connections with this guy, and they were just toxic individuals, and they just still roam around doing that. You know what I'm saying? Still being that.
I just thought another person as well. So there's another command block YouTuber out there, like who, they do commands, they do secret stuff on Bedrock.
Yeah.
I was trying to look for more creators to talk to a month ago, right? Because I was like, okay, I really want to try and like get to know more people. I want to get to know more YouTubers. I know you, and I know a couple of people, but like,
yeah.
You were really the only person I actually talked to that actually seemed nice at the time, and this one other guy who does like Java stuff sometimes. I literally don't talk to many YouTubers or many people.
Yeah,
So you're probably actually really horrible. No, I'm joking. But no, but you were like one of the only nice people that actually seemed genuine and nice. Like you talking to you for like 20 minutes before this podcast and also before like
we can't share any of the details of that. You're saying like
I mean, you hired Joseph as your gardener, but other than that, you seem and you know, probably against his will. But other than that, you seem fairly nice. You know, no, but you do generally seem like who you actually are on camera. But you know, sometimes, yeah, it's like sorry, I feel like you. I'm sorry.
I just want to fling you off there. Go ahead, continue. I just want to fling him off. This is what we were talking about earlier on. We had Joseph Joseph's over there right now working in the garden. Sorry, continue.
I feel like you should explain the garden thing.
Yeah. He's out the window. He's on this is my beautiful 10,000 square feet house, big mansion. You know what I'm saying? Dan's actually in the back room over there. You guys can't see. He's back there. I'm telling you, we've got a whole thing rigged up right now. Oh yeah, sorry Dan, I cut you off there.
No, but like you generally joke around, laugh a lot. Like I've not talked to you a ton of stuff, but I have talked to you once before, I believe, when I was in like one of your videos or something.
Yeah.
And you generally do seem like the kind of person you are, but a lot of creators aren't. Like this guy that I was talking, I go on so many bands, and the guy that I was talking about a second ago, like I reached out to him, was like, yo, I'm trying to get to know more YouTubers. I messaged like 4 or 5 different YouTubers this day, right?
Yeah.
And he was at first, he seemed really cool. He was like, hi, how are you? Nice channel, blah blah blah. You know, that kind of like general stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, I hope you haven't sent this message to loads of people. I'm like, so what if I send this to other creators? How are you going to get to know other creators if you don't send the message?
If you don't reach out.
I was like, okay, should I have not reached out to people? And I'm like, but then I realized, okay, no, you can reach out to whoever you want to, however many people you want to, if you're going to be nice. Like, it's not like I'm reaching out to people to use them.
No, you're not reaching out like, oh, hey, could you share this video and like just spamming no, like you're reaching out to like extend a branch.
I'm pretty sure what I said is, I'd love to get to know more people through text chat, maybe even a voice chat sometime, and possibly in the future, if there's any, like maybe a video. I don't really do collabs, but you know, try to be nice and stuff.
Yeah.
And they were literally like, and I was like, what? I didn't say anything.
Wasn't being rude. No, you're being polite. You're just trying to be me. Yeah.
It's just I don't know. I don't want to like repeat myself and stuff, but it's just the Bedrock community for YouTubers just seems terrible.
It's hard to find people, man.
I don't know how Java is and stuff in terms of like
community.
I assume some of the Java community also is more toxic than they let on to be, right? Even some of the big names on Bedrock are. But like people on Bedrock, I believe, steal farms and stuff, steal designs of people. I can't speak for that. It's just, that's just what I've heard off of YouTube from people. But no, the Bedrock edition, if it's going to survive, it just needs more of a community of some kind of people that actually want to make content and want to help people, want to be engaging, and not just let's try and get this amount of views. Let's just try and
use and abuse and get him and get her, and we'll just use it. That's the thing. Like on Bedrock, I can only think of so many content creators I know, and I know a lot of people now on Bedrock, thankfully, but like and on Java, but like I mean, truly Bedrock. I don't know if you hear about that. That's an SMP with like Silent Whisper, Tiz Tom. Tiz Tom's a friend of mine. I like Tiz. He's a great guy. Tom, amazing dude. He's got like 20k on what I believe now. I'm not sure, but he's a great guy. But like those people are like, they're nice people genuinely from my understanding, but like it's far and few. Like I recently joined an SMP. It's not started yet, not, but it's with a good few YouTubers, and they're so lovely. Like they're genuinely lovely YouTubers, but Java. And like that kind of, it's like, oh, there you go. Like I've not really seen many Bedrock positive people. Bedrock people seem a lot more like seclused and a lot more or recluse, excuse me, a lot more kind of quiet into themselves and keep into we want to succeed individually, not together. When it's like, you can get so much further when you work with other people. Like, it's so much further. Like, you aren't going to squish each
collab
other.
on Java though.
I'd say Bedrock because it's crossplay.
Yeah, but then again, it's the whole popular demand thing, isn't it? It's where people want the more up to date stuff. People love the whole PC master race.
Well, in
stuff
Java,
anyway.
there's a
They
lot
love
more
that
as well.
sort of
Like you can
thing.
get you can do so much more in
mods,
Java,
etc. It's so much
Yeah.
more you
But
can
I'm
do
not
with it,
even
and
saying in
people
terms
crave
of
that.
video. I'm not even saying in terms of videos, right? I'm just generally saying like in terms of
just
sharing
getting
a
to know
thumbnail
them.
with another creator, getting to know the other creator,
Yeah.
getting help on titles, channel review, like reviewing each other's channels, maybe doing like I don't know, every couple of weeks or every week or something, have like a 30-minute hour call with like a couple of creators in and like share ideas of like trends,
brainstorm and kind of like yeah. I mean, that's a great thing. But it's hard to do.
Like, I think one of the reasons I'm loving, like, one of the reasons I'm enjoying this podcast so much is because I don't talk to people in calls very often, right? Apart from like the same few people. So it's like as much as this is obviously a podcast and stuff, it's also just a good opportunity to like for me to get to know you better.
Yeah.
Giuseppe. But I'm joking, by the way, Joseph. But
Oh, I'm deeply offended, me.
But you get my point. Like, the
I got you, man.
I hope
you hate me.
No, I hope people don't actually know I'm a horrible person.
Torment. It's all I feel.
Again, this is me showing my sense of humor, which I know.
This is I quit, man. I quit last podcast.
I'll take over. For you. I mean,
that's envious. I'm back.
This podcast goes through a lot of hosts anyway, so what's really the difference?
It does. We're recycling hosts every 5 minutes. It's terrible.
We'll get rid of you next. It's fine. There'll just be like 3 new guests altogether.
Yeah,
like no one.
That's what be. Just
no
one.
Like VIP man. I don't know. Who else will we get on there? Let's name some names. Come on.
Let's name some names. Dr. Wasabi. We could get Reen here.
Ted
Yeah.
We could get Ted with it all.
Yeah. We'll get some peeps come from the community. Art director. Yeah.
Sam probably because I mean
Sam B.
He kind of carries everything.
That's what it is. Sam B's the man. I gotta love him. My God, Dad, we could get everybody in. I think we should move to the next question.
Oh, I forgot we're doing that. Oh my God, really? Shall I read the purple text on my phone, maybe?
You shall.
That's insane. Like the one that says 2.
Yes, we color. That was question number 1.
Did you not see me sink in my like chair about 20 minutes ago?
We've got in total, right? We got in total. I think what is it? 15 questions, or no, it's 16. But don't worry, these are
about making this a multi-part episode.
I know. This is like we'll be able to go through these. Trust me.
I have to edit this video.
Go ahead, Joe.
I think something a lot of people have wondered is that do you think we'll ever see a VIP man face reveal? I've got a dynamic conversation.
Okay, so this is one of the things about me is I have low vision. I am registered as blind in the UK, which means like obviously different countries will have different things, but I have quite low vision. It's difficult to like say exactly how much, but like the way I normally try and explain it is what an average person with like good vision could see from 60 meters away. I've got to be 6 meters away to see.
Can I test you?
I mean, I've got a magnifier.
Oh wow, that's fine.
Okay. Watch this. Right. How many fingers am I holding out?
Well, none.
Don't do him like that. Don't do him like that. You know what I'm saying? Don't do him like that. How many fingers? It just turns on the webcam. I just say.
No.
Check me.
But so one of the things is like I've always contemplated: do I want to do a face of it or not? Right? And I mean, vision and stuff could be a whole topic about like how do I do YouTube and stuff. But one thing that for security reasons, I don't know if I want to do a face reveal, and also
privacy.
It doesn't really fit in with my content right now. I've always said I want to make another channel. I've had previously done face reveals on other channels and stuff. I've got rid of them now, but honestly, the main reason right now that I'm not really doing one is because I feel if somebody was to like sometimes when people walk past me in the street because I'm not good with faces and stuff,
right?
They say hi to me, and I'm like, who is this? Where do they know me from? Who are they? And my thing is if I do a face reveal, at least by now I know everybody knows me, right?
Yeah,
but
too famous,
I'm not gonna get recognised. But no. But my point is, everybody that says hi to me, or when they say I'm talking to someone else called Dan, which is embarrassing and happened a lot. But if they are actually talking to me, right, at least I can know them. Like I know they know me.
Imagine having the same name as someone else.
But okay, I get the joke. So,
you just threw him off. You've seen.
Too long.
Bro, I've been like in silence for way too long. I'm like, yes, Minecraft.
Terrible, Joseph. I'm staring at you right now. You know what I'm saying? For the
Please don't lower my rates.
Oh
But
man,
like,
just
you know, I feel like if people were to like walk past, like I just don't know how
cope
I
with
wouldn't
it.
be able to tell at all if someone knew me from YouTube or if someone knew me
Or
from
real life.
real life. And
Yeah.
it's like it's one of those things where I already don't go outside very much. I sometimes I don't know. I'm not an overly confident person. I don't the pandemic and stuff. I don't really go outside too much. But I feel like that would make me want to go outside more, even if it only happened like once where someone recognized me and I thought I knew them and they were like knew me.
Yeah, you'd be kind of like, oh,
I'd
this is
still not
odd.
want to go out. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
One day I'd love to do a Facebook, I'd love to do some kind of content and learn a whole new. Like I want to grow the Minecraft channel, my YouTube channel, but eventually I want to experiment with new stuff, new forms of content, YouTube Shorts maybe, and maybe eventually I will do a Facebook. But people are like, oh, do a Facebook at 100k subs or something. I don't want to do a set time. I want to do it if I feel comfortable doing a Facebook.
I think that's the best way of doing it, man. Like, sorry, cut you off. I think that's really the best mindset there is. I think, like, if you're comfortable with doing it now, do it now. If you're not, don't use a number as like a back burner to push you towards it. You know, like do it when you're ready. That's the thing.
I sit quite close to my monitors when I'm playing games and stuff, so a face cam wouldn't really work on streams.
Oh yeah, is that because of the vision? Yeah, because it's
vision. It's like, when would I actually show my face? Unless I just cut it to my face in videos. Sometimes I'm like, I do a face reveal and never show my face again.
But it's like, how would you work into content? That's what you're saying, because it's like if you're making a tutorial, you don't really need a face cam. You know what I mean? Like it's actually, but exactly, and it's kind of like that would also, to some extent, potentially be something that might turn them away because it's kind of obstructing their vision of the screen.
One idea I have had recently was maybe make a channel about being like, because there's people out there who talk about being like fully blind on YouTube and stuff, but I've never seen anyone with like some vision. So I was thinking maybe I could do a video talking about different things, like different a channel talking about different topics, maybe some more personality videos as well, like just
to kind of inject your personality into it a little bit more.
Yeah, like a second channel, like I don't know, Blind Man Dan or something. I was thinking of a name. And I did think about that, but then I'm also like, one day I would love to do something like that. But as of right now, I just don't have the confidence of knowing how to record like with my actual, because I don't feel like I'd always look straight into camera. I don't feel like I just don't think I'd be the best at that kind of thing right now. But one day, hopefully, I've had the idea for a while. I keep thinking, okay, I'm going to do this month. Then I decided I'm not going to. But one day that might be something. But in terms of like VIP man face reveal kind of thing, I don't think I'd do like on my main channel.
On the VIPman channel, yeah.
I think it'd be more like a second kind of thing. Second channel, second channel, but not necessarily connected, but also like it'd be the same person. So it'd be like channels, but not like, okay, if you like VIPman, you're gonna like the stuff. It'd be completely different content, completely different.
Yeah, it's like this is you. This isn't VIPman. Like this is two different people, and people can go watch.
You want to separate those two people. Sorry, I had to mute there, by the way. You know when a plane goes right above your head, you can hear it, man. That is vile. But like, I know what you mean. You kind of want to have that separation between characters. It's kind of why I changed my name. So I understand why you want to change your personality from your online brand / character. It just makes sense to have that split, otherwise it's just not healthy, really.
I've had the name VIPman for so long now, it's not even a name that I overly like. I don't dislike it, but like it'd be nice to have another brand as well. And also, I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but if you play just like one game like Minecraft, if Minecraft was to shut down tomorrow, that'd be like all my channel kind of gone. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like putting your eggs in one basket.
It's a worry.
It's the same kind of thing with YouTube versus Twitch and live streaming and stuff.
Yeah.
If you stream on YouTube, if you do everything on YouTube and something happens to YouTube,
you're done. Yeah.
But then at the same time, there's so many advantages and stuff to streaming just on YouTube over Twitch, and like it's, you know what I mean, like it's difficult.
Yeah.
But
that's kind of why I do. Sorry, cut off there. Sorry, cut you off there. But that's kind of like why I do so many different channels, because it's like, oh, but why do you do it? But it's because I like to put all my eggs in different baskets. For me right now, it's like I believe in the mindset of the philosophy of like having a strong foundation is more important than having a tall tower. Like you should make sure your foundation's secure. And it's like you said, what if Minecraft ended tomorrow? Then the only thing that people are going to care about you for, if that was the case, because I'm sure you go to a different game or whatnot, anyone would, right? But if that was the case, what would they care about you for? Well, it's your personality, it's for your brand.
I just milk videos about Minecraft shutting down for like 2 weeks.
Minecraft is going down, guys. It'd be PlayStation 4 servers all over again. You'll say like,
why Minecraft shut down? Let's brainstorm.
The aftermath.
The aftermath. Shutting down. What's going to happen to Mojang now that Minecraft shut down?
Oh man, I'm getting some deja vu. I made a video about what's going to happen to 4J Studios after PlayStation 4 shut down, and I just mad deja vu.
When are they going to be developing a game?
I don't even know what they're doing now. I think like they are kind of still developing something. I've got no clue. Nobody really does. They kind of just do their own thing. If you want, I mean, they occasionally do random bits. I know it's kind of.
Was it 4J Studios?
4J Studios, yeah, 4J. I'll go into the next question, right, while you're doing that.
I
right?
apologize for always finding a way to divert the question.
No, it's fine. It's a good it's a good thing, right? So this one, and it's honestly what's mad, Dan, is because you've said and shared so much already. We've actually got a lot of questions that you kind of already answered, but you'll hear them again, and we can kind of dive a little bit deeper into them, right? So I mean, this one here is fantastic. We kind of just talked about it. Yeah, that's what it is. It's Joseph. Enjoy it. He's going to zoom in on my face, right? Enjoy it, Joseph. You can get it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so. For our next question with you, Dan, I wanted to ask, so in your Discord, you're named Blind Man Dan, right? Which can I just say, we both love the name, of course. Mine in my Discord is, and this is why I'm actually named this in the call, mine's is Banjo Man, because I think it's just brilliant, right? So I do think it's a very pogy name, of course, but some people might not know that there's actually some truth behind the name to at least an extent, because you mentioned, and of course I mentioned here, of course, that you are partially blind. And like you said, so how bad is your vision? Like it is what you said, what someone can maybe see from 20 meters, you can only see from 6?
60 and 6.
So it's like 10 times. What?
I've got way worse vision than most people would think. Like, and that's not me trying to get people to be sympathy for.
No.
Yeah. Many people realize because I do so well.
Yeah.
Sound really, because
I do so well. Yeah. So yeah, I'm the best of the best.
I love the name Blind Man Dan, and I kind of want to change my main channel name to it. But
oh my god, that should be your second channel.
Well, I don't. That's what. Yeah, if I made a second channel, it would be.
That's what it should be.
But okay. So with the name VIPmanYT, people think I'm very important. I ain't very important. But like the original thing behind that name was that like I was in a Call of Duty clan that I'd made, and my my brother also has low vision. He's vision impaired, or I don't know the exact name of his stuff. So we had and we knew a lot of people with we still do know quite a few people with sight issues from varying, from some people can see more, some people can't see anything at all, right? And some of these people are amazing what they do. But the name VIP was originally visually impaired person, and then they Man YT. So it is actually in my main channel name too. No one's going to know that. I mean, apart from people watching me.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like an acronym, right? So
that's smart.
But it is difficult to know. Like, it's difficult to explain how much I can see in terms of things. But I use a magnifier a lot. I sometimes take pictures of stuff on my phone to zoom into it. I know phones do have zoom features as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think you get to do that. One cool thing, I want to just say this, and I'm not sponsored by Apple, but Apple, if you want to sponsor me, you know where I am.
Get on, guys.
but okay, obviously other phone brands are available if you're offering enough money. But no, Apple is absolutely great at technology.
Apple sucks.
No,
why are you gonna come off like that?
I have some really huge. I have some people in my Discord that would literally rip you to shreds for what you just said.
Good.
If you want to get into an argument, I can hit you up with some people.
Alright, man. That arguments are my thing, bro. I love it.
He is like the argument man. Like this guy here. I'm telling you.
But Apple are really good at, and I know other phones are just as good, and Samsung and Android, you can install custom stuff. But Apple's really good out of the box of having features for accessibility. Zooming into stuff, you can have your text set absolutely huge. Just from settings, accessibility, obviously that's a blindness and stuff. But if you're deaf and stuff, people can do that. There's color overlays where you can have a whole screen change color, like a color filter. There's a load of different cool accessibility features for different disabilities. And one thing that's really cool recently that I don't think a lot of people understand how major for me this is, and I know there are apps that you can only do this, but on the newest iPhones and on iOS 15, you can take a picture of text. You can get the text to read to you from taking a picture.
Oh, really?
Which is amazing because I could take a picture of a sheet of text. I don't know how.
Yeah, a whole page kind of thing. Yeah.
But at least with actual print, and it works with all different types of text and stuff, even on packaging.
I don't mean to be that guy.
I know Android's had this for a while.
I really don't mean to be that guy, but yeah, no, we've got this.
But my point is with Apple, it's literally built into the thing. I know it is. I know it has been on other stuff, but my point is, Apple just seems to always be ready to go with loads of accessibility stuff. You can have stuff read to you. You can look up Google search stuff from that text. I know that a lot of this stuff is on Android, right? And we could talk about Android versus Apple for ages. I'm someone that has used Android as well. My Android phones are broke really quickly.
Like a real man.
I've not had the best experiences with Android because my phones have broken fairly quickly.
On
that. So, but I don't mind Android either.
But you just prefer iPhone, yeah.
It's just iPhone has always had accessibility there. I know Android has caught up probably a lot, but a lot of people that I know that I speak to who have been fully blind or like partially blind or impaired and stuff, they have used Apple because of how good they are, how they have the stores, and you can go and ask questions in like physical stores, or could before COVID. I assume you can again now. There's just the whole ecosystem is just stuff works well together. It's like one of those things where. I'm not trying to say that other companies don't do good in accessibility.
But they from your own experience, yeah, it's been good for you.
Like years ago I spoke to I was decent friends with somebody that was properly blind. Is not the right word.
Oh,
like completely blind. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, you know, like can't see anything.
All right, yeah.
That's what I mean. Not properly blind as if like I'm faking it. That was worded wrong.
No. Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah, I get you.
They were like fully blind, right?
Yeah.
They were talking to me through an iPad. They were using an iPad and stuff, getting it to read to them, and it was amazing how people use technology. I have another friend who like types on the iPad through voice recognition, which is useful. I sometimes use as well. But some people are completely blind and they use this technology great. And again, Android can do it, and you can download stuff. But even for stuff that I've needed in the past, like making text huge, I had to download a third-party app on Android.
Which
on
isn't
iOS,
the same, yeah.
On iOS, it's built in there. You know, it's
which is handy, yeah. So it's more accessible for you. Yeah. No, I get you. I totally get you though. It's like more accessible for you. I've never had an iPhone. I've only ever had like Androids. Like I grew up with in the era of like the BlackBerry and the Sony Ericssons and all the little phones. But no,
there's a lot of really cool features like that I've definitely seen. It's definitely good that it's helpful for those sorts of people as well. It's just, there's stuff like that in general. I feel like there's a lot of really cool systems for that sort of thing. But I understand what you mean, that having Apple products like that is definitely really helpful.
It does make more sense. It does. I was going to actually ask Dan real quick, if you don't mind me. I don't want to be too personal or whatnot. So wait, you said your brother. I was going to say, yeah, you said your brother though is the same. Like he can't see that well.
He can see better.
I was going to say, is it better than you or is it worse?
Yeah, better than me. But like still can't see completely. But I think because this isn't me trying to sound like bad, but people ask me all the time, like, oh, how much can I see? I don't know. And
it's hard to kind of,
Sometimes I think I've heard my parents say once or twice, because my brother can see better than me, sometimes they forget that he can't see not forget that he can't see properly, but they don't really think
of it as bad still. Like it's like it's like they think, oh well, he can see as good, and it's like no, it's like his vision still isn't that great. You know what I'm saying?
My parents are great. I'm not saying that in a bad way.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Like people's vision obviously differs and stuff, but yeah, my brother does also have low vision. Like he has more than me, but that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine what that's like.
Is it genetically, or is it in your family, or is it just like you and your brother?
We don't. It's just me and my brother. We don't know. We had tests, but I don't think we ever got anything like.
I think it is like it's quite common for it to be genetic among siblings.
I would imagine, but I'm sure Dan would surely know. Like you think.
Okay, so we went to this hospital, did some loads of genetic tests and stuff. Can't remember what blood tests and stuff. I don't think they ever found exactly what. I think it's a very rare condition. The condition that we both actually have. I can't like. I don't want to say
siblings.
I'll get it completely wrong. But like, there's all different eye conditions for different stuff. Some people are born with low vision. Some people get low vision or no vision later in life. And I feel like it's one of those things where what I have, it's like not known overly too well because it's quite rare from my understanding. And I think that is just something that it's difficult to answer that question. But I mean, no one else in my family has those kind of issues, as far as I'm aware. But it does bring complications as well. So, for example, I have a cataract in my working eye right now. So one of my eyes is completely false, and it's been like that from birth. Like I had no eye there when I was born.
Damn.
It's now like a glass eye, so I can literally take out the eye and I can.
Dude, if you ever do a face reveal, man, I'll be hyped.
I'm doing an eye reveal first. Typing
eye reveal, just really close up.
That's that's crazy. But how does it feel when you take it out? Does it feel? I've always kind of wondered.
So these are the eye is like built. It's not like a real eye. It's like not plastic. I don't know. It's like melted and stuff. It's like made out of
right.
Bro, you could like sneak a USB in there or something, bro. You've got some. Oh, I wish.
Well, the eye socket's not that big. I didn't think. I thought like it's big.
The eye socket is like. I mean, in the past I've like it's weird how I was born without like the eye at all, but people always find it weird when I don't have it in. And at school sometimes if it hurt at all, which it doesn't very often, but let's say it hurt or the socket hurt a bit, I sometimes wouldn't wear it, and people like freaked out. And I'm like I was born like this. I literally wear this eye. I don't have to wear this eye. I wear it because I wear it.
Dude, I would wear an eye patch. Like, I love my pirate stuff. I would just be rocking an eye patch, bro.
But that would
Like,
be that's
great.
but that would be honestly quite crazy being able to like take your eye look. Like honestly, for me, I remember my auntie, her husband, he had the same. He had one. He lost his eye though. Sadly, it was in like a fight or something like that. His eye got badly damaged to take it out. But it was severe. I believe that's what the story was. But like it's one of those things where it's mad. And does it hurt taking it out? Like.
No, it's honestly like not like it depends. I think different eyes. Some people have different parts of eyes, like different models and stuff. But mine's fine. But I went on a tangent about that again. But it's really interesting. Like the whole point of it anyway is in the other eye, my working eye, I have a cataract, right? Which is normally like something that's pretty common. People can like operate on them and stuff. But because of my vision, like I was told a couple of years ago when I was younger, quite a few years ago now. I was told like eventually you've got to make a decision. Do you want to operate on this or do you not? Because there's a chance that if I operate on it, and I get like a cataract could affect my vision. It might be affecting it a little bit already. It's difficult to tell and measure that kind of thing. One day it could affect it to where I can't see at all, or I see a lot worse. But so I'd have to choose if that does eventually happen, right? Luckily, it's not affecting me.
No,
But if it does, I'd have to choose. Do I want to operate on and risk losing my vision if it goes wrong? Because it's a complicated thing because of like my difficult eyes, or do I want to kind of have? Do I want to just have the lower vision and it kind of get worse on its own, and eventually I might lose.
It's a really risky situation. I've seen a few operations like that where it is very much like, oh, do I do it all now, or do I like?
If I asked you, if say you were being, say you had to choose right now, what would you say? Like, I'm probably a difficult answer, but like, what would you say?
So it depends how long I would. Because I'd assume hopefully this never happens, but if it was to happen, let's say hopefully it kind of was like gradually getting worse, because what I'd probably do, right, is I'd try and move my content and stuff and prepare myself for
in
it
advance.
Before I have an operation. Like, so do some kind of content or something. I don't know how I'd do YouTube or anything, but I'd not give up YouTube. I love it too much. I'd have to do
I love that commitment. That's great.
That's amazing, man.
No, my whole thing on YouTube, and the whole reason I started this channel and I've progressed with it so much, is because I want to prove to people that it doesn't matter what disabilities you have, what issues you can
still do it.
You can still do it. You can still be successful. You can be as successful as anyone else who's put in the same hard work and dedication. It might take more work, might be harder sometimes for certain things, but in certain aspects, but you can still do it. And don't
hard work beats anything.
You just got to realize that people can see this eye to
hard
eye,
work,
you know?
hard work beats anything. That's what it is. Like, hard work beats anything in general. When it comes down to it, like, if you have got commitment and hard work, you will get past anything in this. It doesn't matter if but natural luck, skill. Skill is a thing that's handy and all, but it's passion and hard work.
I mean, vision does. It's sometimes. I mean, if I had no vision, I'd really struggle. Right? Let's be honest. I'd have to get other people to edit stuff for me. Probably. I don't know how I'd do it. I wouldn't give up.
No. But it'd just be a real challenge. Yeah.
But it would be a huge challenge. Like, I probably wouldn't be able to live stream as much and stuff because I wouldn't be able to see stuff on the screen unless I just live stream face builds and stuff. But having low vision does make some stuff more difficult. Like, sometimes I struggle to see if stuff's centered on screens and stuff, and sometimes I don't use text on videos as much because I don't want to make a terrible mistake that I've not picked up on, or like keyframing stuff and animating stuff on screen. Like, if I wanted to make an image fade in or out, sometimes I only do the really basic stuff. Do you get what I mean? There is some stuff.
I understand.
Some of that stuff you don't need to be successful, or you could put the effort. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
I get you.
It's like a hindrance, but it's not a stopping thing. You know, it's more it will just make things a bit more challenging.
If anything, it pushes me to kind of prove to people. Because if one day I do eventually get to the stage where I am like I don't want to ever be really, really famous, but I want to be able to do this full time. Like,
I'm the same way. I don't want to be famous, so I understand what you mean.
But if I do,
I know what you're like. Get out.
If I do ever get to the stage where, like, I'm, I want to be used as an example of not letting people hold me back. Not letting stuff
someone can go, no, like,
you want to be a role model for people that have
in the same
similar
situation as you, or similar, that you want to be able to be like a role model for. And that's like, that right there, that's what means you will succeed. Like, you might not get there tomorrow or today or next month, whenever, but you will succeed, because it's with that mindset that I'm not gonna give up. I'm not here for money. Like, I mean, that's a question we have in a minute and whatnot. It's a fantastic. You kind of answered already, which is amazing. But it's a factor that when you have that much reasoning and passion, You'll get there. Like, I remember I listened to motivational tapes while I go on walks and stuff again. It's beautiful. It really helps clear the mind. And I remember Les Brown, a motivational speaker now in his 80s, but when he was back in his 40s, years ago now, well before any of us here were born, right? But he said, you know, if your reasons will get you past anything. You know, if you have strong enough reasons, doesn't matter how low you are, what you're dealing with, or what's happening in your life, whatever your situation may be, you'll get past it. As long as you have your reasons. And when you have a passionate reason like that, you'll get past it. You know what I'm saying? You will continuously push forward.
I have two quick
Fantastic
questions
answer.
I want to ask as well, just before we move on to the next question, because it just popped in on what I need to ask.
I don't think
Number
I'll do
one.
a quick question.
Okay.
I think I expect
Hopefully they will remain quick. Just give me snappy answers. But will you ever consider? I'm not sure what you're into in this sense, but like, would you ever get like a custom eye made? Because I've seen so many of those done, and I feel like they could be quite.
So the way my eye thing works at the moment is. Just the eye I have is they mold it to look like my real eye, like
yeah.
So, but I don't know. I feel like the only reason I don't really go out, like I don't think I need like a customized like cool looking one, like unless one day there was technology where like you could have lasers shooting out of it or like cameras or something.
Like a
Cool.
cat laser.
Has like a GoPro in the eye, like, oh my god.
Yeah, it would be a bit creepy, but it would be cool. But
Blind cam.
I don't really know why I'd need like a fully custom one, but like you know, and it'd probably be fairly expensive and stuff. But
Yeah,
it's quite interesting to think about like eyes and the amount of different colors that like blend into an eye color. Like, you know, you might think, oh, this eye is a simple color, but there might be a load of different colors, and it takes a while. They have to mold the eye. They then have to like cook. I want to say cook it, but not cook it. You know what I mean? Like
they have to make it so it works. You know.
Yeah,
like
and then they have to
then
they do a couple of sessions, I believe. I haven't had one in a while because when you go older, you don't need them as frequently. But
oh right.
But like you only need them like every 8 years, I believe they said last time I went for a checkup. But
and my second question, just because you know we've got a lot of questions to go through, is just when it comes to the whole surgery thing. Do you think that getting done? So it's hypothetically, if you were to say you want to get the surgery done, do you think like you would be against it though because this is what you know is normal? Like I was born with a thing called, and Joe still doesn't believe me by the way, even though I've told him multiple times. I've got a thing called Viking disease in my fingers. I can't straighten my hands. And I could get surgery to get that fixed, but I'm so used to it to the point where it's like I wouldn't want to. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Are you the same way?
I can't have surgery to make my eyes better.
No, I know, but like hypothetically,
it would only be. Oh, I see. So you're not asking about like the cataract thing, you're just asking in general. Oh, I wouldn't know. There's no way that I'd fix my like. I wouldn't want to go to full vision because that's. I've had this debate with fully blind people as well. That's part of people's identities. You know,
yeah, it's just their normal. You know,
they wouldn't want any vision. You know, if they could have an operation, because
it's kind of like when people say like, oh, I love to be like this, or I love to sound like this, or be like I remember I've had friends men that like hate how they sound, like they hate their voice, and a lot of people are like that. And I don't know why. It is what it is. Some people go, I wish I had a deeper voice. I'd sound so much more interesting and whatever. And it's like, but you wouldn't be you.
I also
That's
hate
what makes
my
everybody
voice,
unique.
but I know that like if it was different, it wouldn't fit me. I think my
No,
voice
that's it.
is somewhat
We're all
familiar.
what we have and what we are is what makes us who we are, and that's what makes us unique. You know what I mean? So it's like if you could change things metaphorically speaking, would you? I don't think anybody should.
Quickly
You
to
know,
prove
like-
you wrong, by the way, Joe, because you didn't believe me, by the way. Flatten out your hands in front of your camera.
Like this?
Okay, no. Like so. Okay, put them like this
okay.
and then straighten them.
Straight. I can't.
Yep,
My arms are
straight
very
in.
long, but I'm tall.
Okay, right.
Right.
And then so I can see your fingers out, normal.
Like this? So not like that?
Into palms, not. No.
What
No,
are
like,
you?
as
What are
in
you
do that.
telling me?
Do that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, right. Like, see how they flatten,
Dan, this is
right?
magic. You see? Yeah. This is magical.
Right.
Watch
This is the
Halakazam.
difference. Okay, hold on.
Oh, whoa,
see how
man!
they
You got
can't-
spiders for hands.
Yeah, basically.
Well, that's some tarantula stuff like that. That's what
See,
you can't.
I wasn't
at all,
making
like-
that up. No, I cannot. Okay, right. So, hands.
Oh wow, that's mad.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, I'm disabled. Very cool.
Jack. I ain't judging. You're
Right.
saying what?
Alright,
I'll
now
let
we
Joseph
can
go
move
to
on
this
to number
question.
4.
I feel
Yes.
like we're going to get how many questions did you say there was?
15.
A few.
Yeah, I feel like I need to speed up my answers a bit. Okay.
Okay, fire round, boys. This will probably seem like a very bleak question, but I think it's actually a really interesting one to ask any creator, especially one of your size, because it tells the audience and us a lot about you. Why exactly do you make YouTube videos? Is it for money, fame, enjoyment, or recognition, or something else? delivery is spicy.
So I started doing. I didn't even like. I started doing this. I've had many channels before this one as well, and I've done. I never made any money until this channel, and only like a year or so after I started the channel. And YouTube is always just a hobby, and it still is. I still love doing YouTube, but now I want to do it as a job, and right now I'm doing it full time for like a year. So at the moment, like it's for fun, but you need money to be able to do it, to put more effort into it. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah,
I'm not
of
chasing
course.
money, but also.
You understand
yeah.
that it's necessary
To live, you
in
need
order for
money.
people to live, and like you can't. I think anybody who's that absurd to go, oh, but no, I don't want money from you. I don't want to earn money. Like, but how are you gonna live? Like we all have to. Money is important.
Living
we have
is
to
so
acknowledge
overrated.
this.
You don't even know.
Some
Exactly.
guy on my Discord was like, they asked me this question so many times, I just kept avoiding it because I was like, well, if I say, I don't want to give a really long answer in text, and I'm like, if I say money, it's going to look weird, but you need money to be able to do it at the same
No,
time.
it's
Like,
just being honest and realistic. I think when people hear money, they go, "Oh, you're money hungry. Oh, that's what you are. You're." It's like, no, you're
I'm
not
not
really
money
fully
hungry,
listening.
I just know I
No,
need money. Like,
there's and money's a necessity for life. We need it to pay bills and eat. You're not some,
I don't see why there's so
Doctor
much
Evil.
secret. Why are YouTubers trying to keep money secret from people? You know, it's like, do you get what I mean? Like, some YouTubers are transparent and open about money, but I'm not trying to be someone that's like, oh no, I don't make any money from this, or you know.
No, like no,
You get what I
we
mean? I'm
do.
just
Yeah,
honest, you know.
this is our livelihood. Like that, people ask me because I've had people come and go, "What is your job?" You say YouTube, and they go, "But yeah, what's your real job?" I go, "Do you understand the work that goes in here?" Like, God dang, but like, it's one of those things where it's like when you tell people like that you know are after like money's important as well. They look at you scummy. I think the truth is though, for that answer would be like you're in like you aren't in it just for money by any means, of course not. But like you understand it's a
I'd still
necessity.
do it.
All of us
Okay,
do.
Let's
If there was no
go
money,
this
you
way.
still do it as
I'd
a
still
hobby.
I'd still do it as a hobby if there's no money. I
Yeah,
just wouldn't
same
do
here.
any videos because
It reminds me of that the art versus digital art thing. How people always are like, "Oh, digital art isn't real art because you're just on the computer clicking a few buttons," and like devalues it just because it's a new and
A different
new
way of earning.
forming stuff.
Yeah.
But people are just very ignorant to
There's-
adapt to new things.
there's people that like see YouTubers and think this is easy. I want to do this as a dream job. If you ask any
It's not
like young
easy.
person, what do you want to do as a job? Nowadays, a lot of them would say
It's
YouTube.
content creator, online
Yeah.
streamers, etc. Yeah,
People don't
but you
realise
don't
the
understand the
amount of
work.
effort, like, and I'm not just saying that because I do it, but
No,
first of all, I
it's
feel
very
like
hard.
motivation and productivity is something that needs to be thought about because sometimes
Oh,
it's
yeah.
really difficult to know, when to post, what to post, to have belief in yourself, self-confidence. But then also in terms of actual video production, there's the recording, editing. If you're adding
Just
music, all
creativity.
that.
I mean,
It's a very
Yeah.
multi-skill thing
There's
as well.
there's a lot of different levels. I mean, you could look at it multiple different ways. People go, "Oh, but you're just recording videos." No, I'm not. Like you
gotta
could you want
optimize them as well.
you could just record a video, but that doesn't mean it'll do well. If this is your job, like us, Dan, right? Like this is our jobs, right? At least right now, right? Obviously full time. It's one of those things where you have to go, I've got to prioritize this. We often work more hours than what people do at their normal jobs. I don't go and work for 8 hours on YouTube. I work 18 hours a day, and I get 6 hours sleep, and I'm right back. That's how we are. Our
Yeah,
life
because that's
is
because you have
YouTube.
too many channels.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. But like that, even if I
You just
didn't,
need to focus on like.
but
a
even
couple-
that's the thing. Even if I didn't, even if I only had just this one, I'd still. I did.
know, I know,
Yeah. You know, I know exactly. Yeah. But it's like it's one of those
People
things
don't
where it's
consider
like I
everything
love
that
it.
goes in behind it.
There's so
You've
many
got, like,
hours we
networking.
put
You've
into
got
it,
sharing
yeah.
the video around, building an audience, talking to your audience.
I mean,
making
you
the
have
video, editing the video.
but like you said,
thumbnails,
there's so many.
etc.
Yeah, there's so many different like levels of skill. Like you, first
with
of all,
live
you've got to be
streaming.
thumbnails, editing. Then there's commentary. Then there's production, like promoting it. You know, everything like that. Like you've also thinking of video ideas is a really underrated thing people don't think about. People go, "Oh, I can never think of ideas." Like, yeah, it's quite difficult, believe it or not, to try and think of an idea or have an idea that nobody's done.
I think everyone
That
who's a
is
YouTuber has that
incredibly
list.
challenging.
That list
Yeah.
of ideas, like, and then they like merge or they get tossed in
I have a
like
ton
trash
of
for
ideas that I
ages.
write down that are terrible.
Don't-
And,
Or
you
I have
can-
like a digital board that has hundreds of ideas, and usually I'll come up with 3 and they'll merge.
Do you know I've got the idea. I could go right now. I put all mine's on Google Docs, right? Like I have like just dozens on my email, and it's unreal. Like I've got so many ideas that I don't know if you guys get the same. I can envision like it being the perfect video. Like I can see it, like the end product, like how amazing it could be and how amazing it could do. But then it's either I don't have the motivation to make it, or I just don't know how I fully want to execute it. You know, because you're like,
me
this
and
needs to
Joe
be a
have
perfect
had
way.
this conversation an
hours,
unholy
man.
amount of
Oh,
times.
it's
It's so
it's-
true. Execution and think it's like when people say, oh, it's easier to say than it is to do. It is the
Yeah.
most accurate thing when it comes to YouTube because
Yeah.
you've got that like idea. I'll do it like this, and this, or it's like but to do this and this, I have to
You
do
need to do
individual
this,
things,
this.
individual
Yeah.
things, put them all together, and it's like man, and then you eventually either do it or you don't do it. And
Yeah.
say you hypothetically you do it, and it's like okay, well, this isn't how I wanted it to hand out. Because
Yeah, and
it's just not like
most
that.
effort into have done awful. So it's
And
like,
it's horrible, right? It's such a horrible feeling.
As daft as it sounds, I put effort into my videos, but I don't at the moment. I don't really do
Put
major
everything in.
projects. So it's going to be like
Yeah.
days of work. Do you get what I mean? I now just
Yeah,
do,
no,
like,
exactly,
videos
yeah.
It's going to take me a couple of hours.
Well, there's
to
nothing
do, but,
more.
you know, it
Sorry,
still takes a
Colin.
while. Like,
Yeah, no, that's
even
it.
if a video is 3 minutes long, it could take me many hours to do.
Yeah, to plan it
The
out, to
idea
make sure you've got everything
yeah.
ready for it, to make sure it sounds right. Because you're not just going to do one take and then go, oh, here we go, edit. Like, no, there's a lot of planning that goes into it. And like, for example, as well, like what we were saying about making bigger videos. Like, I love to make more like long-term content, like, you know, like a documentary video. Like, I made a documentary. I don't know if you've ever seen it, Dan. Probably haven't, because it's really long. It's called "The Fan Who Came to Live with Me," and it's about this. It's
We
about
had
this
him on
guy-
the show as
Yeah,
well.
we had him on the
I haven't
show.
watched it all,
Yeah, and it's about Sean, this guy who came to live with me. He was a cool guy, but he came to live with me. It's a huge thing. I made it all on Share Factory on the PS4, and that took me, honestly, man, days of just getting all done clip by clip.
If people
by clip
don't
and
know what
rendering
Share
and whatnot.
Factory is, by the way,
It's
it is the
PS4.
baseline editor on PlayStation. So,
it's
okay,
very
bear in
good,
mind,
like.
people can take hours and hours and hours, days even, to make content with on a PC. Joe did this on a PS4 on a controller.
And it's a 3 hour long or something like that
How did
documentary.
that video do? Like,
How did that video
fairly well.
render?
I had to render that video about 40 times. I'm not even kidding with you. And every time,
Wait.
the longer the video, it took longer to render. And I had
yeah,
to
but
patch
like,
it together.
how many views and stuff did it get? Do you know?
Barely any. That's the thing. Because it
Isn't
was
it
just
like
Okay,
130 or
that's
I'll
because
tell
no
you
one
right
knows
now.
who you are, and they don't know who he is. Like,
Well,
no
that's well,
offense, but that's
yeah,
like,
you know, that's it. Yeah. Wait,
You
let
can-
me just find it right now, right? Hold on, let me see.
I believe
I'll
you
try
can
and find
look
it for
at every
you.
video and pick it apart and work out why is this video done well or not done well. Sometimes you can't.
Yeah.
Like, there's a few I've done. I'm like, why
This
is it done well? But
the
there's
video
always
right
a
here
reason.
has got. The video right here has got 1,392 views, and this was released on the 3rd of June 2020, right? It is 2 hours and 59 minutes long and 15 seconds. And none of that's filler, just to clarify. That is like 2 hours and 50. If you don't know, on Share Factory on the
But the
PS4,
retention probably
you can only
isn't
add up to
that
50.
great.
Well, it actually was not too bad, because when we did release it, I premiered it, and premieres often
Oh,
do
I
better
see.
for like
Okay.
actual retention, because people stick along and they chat in the chat. So we did have a few viewers watching all the way through, but the retention wasn't the best. But I didn't earn a penny from it. I added copyrighted music into it because I just wanted to. It was a passion project video, and honestly, like the amount of time it went into it was honestly insane. And it's like this was what I was trying to get to there. Like, you can spend days working on a video, making a beautiful and amazing work of art that you're genuinely passionate about, and release it and get barely any views. And it's so demotivating. See, YouTubers get burnt out, and when they do, it's not as easy as just, oh, go make another video. It honestly is challenging.
I'm
When
currently in the
low
midst
from
of
that,
making a
it's
video
horrible.
that kind of talks about that. It's about quick fire content, and how like you've kind of got to that point now, especially with applications like TikTok, that free fire easy content is usually easily and more better perceived than someone who can, so say like me, you, or Joe made a video that would do, like, you know, we've put hours, weeks, months even into a project, and it'll do like 120 views. All right, not bad. That's pretty decent. It's better than nothing, better than 60, better than 50, better than 20, etc. But then you'll get like someone overlaying Minecraft parkour gameplay, reading out a Reddit thread, and it's got 2 million views. Like, why does that get 2 million views? I'm
There's
not
nothing more
salty, I'm just
demotivating.
very mad.
Yeah, but there's nothing more demotivating than when you see something that you've worked, even, it doesn't have to be days, right? But it could be even just hours that you work passionately on. I mean, Dan, I saw on your Discord you had a video, I'm not sure if you can name it. It has like a yellow thing in the thumbnail. It was, I only got, that was it. And you you were like this, you were so, you could tell, you're like, this is like this, I expected us to do better. And
Is that
I
the
can
how to
understand
build a
why.
circle in Minecraft one?
No.
No.
How to make a there was a how to make a circle on Minecraft one, and a how to master place blocks, like the updated
That
one
was
I
it,
talked
yeah.
about earlier. The how to master place blocks one, I was like, ooh, that should have done.
Yeah.
Like that
Solid video. Solid
but then I look
tutorial.
at the retention now, and I'm like, the retention for the first like 20 seconds sucks. So that's why it didn't like do well. Do you get what I mean? There's always a reason behind it, whether it's the viewers not being interested, whether it's the retention, bad timing. This is something that I want to say to anybody that's a YouTube, because I get asked a lot. I don't know if I've already said this, but I get asked a lot. Why, how do I grow a YouTube channel? Any tips? YouTube will look at two main things: the click-through rate, which is like how many people will click on a video when they see it.
When they see it on
like,
recommended
aspect.
or what.
Yeah, or recommended.
Or
And
like,
then the watch time or average view duration that we talked about already. And like engagement is probably the third thing that they look at. And people like Mr. Beast and other big creators talk about this a bunch. So, I'm not like qualified to do it, but to talk about it a bunch.
No, you look at them, yeah.
But like, But those are literally the things. The way you grow, it's just more difficult than it sounds to keep people watching and to get people to click on stuff.
Yeah.
Viewer attention is such a hard thing to maintain. I think we've already kind of spoken about this.
Yeah.
It's such an indirect thing to look at because only you can view it now, like the dislike button. But like when it comes to that sort of thing, it's just like, what can I do that will improve the view duration for not only the viewer, but every viewer that will come and see this with different backgrounds, etc.
You could see the retention of other videos and compare yours
Yeah.
to them. Like, I know there's relative retention, but I don't know what that actually compares. Just similar length videos, I think. But it'd be nice if you could like compare. Let's say let's say me and Joe did like the same video, which we've done 1 or 2 videos that are like similar
or like
PS4. His is not. His were sometimes more longer. But like my point is, let's say you compared them and you could see. Like, it'd be nice if you could see the retention between those two videos, because that's the thing. I don't know how long. A minute retention, which is like my average-ish, isn't great, but it might be better than a lot of other creators. Do you get what I'm saying? You don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
You think it's really bad,
but that's because you can't compare yourself to others. You just have your own. Like, the only data that you have to read is your own. So you go, this must be bad, right? Like, what is this?
You end
like
up comparing stuff that isn't important, like views and stuff. Like, okay, so I've unsubscribed from like every Minecraft creator, even you, Joe. I follow you on Twitch, but I've unsubscribed from every Minecraft creator recently, like a few days ago, because I was finding myself getting too competitive.
And that's horrible feeling. No, I have the same thing, man.
I'm gonna probably resubscribe at some point. Like, I'm not.
No, dude. I funny enough, you mentioned this, man. Not a word of lie. I turned off notifications for so many content creators. Like,
I've done the exact same thing that you've both done. When I was doing,
I didn't unsub, but I turned off
Apex
notifications.
Stuff. Yeah, I didn't unsub either. But like, what I would do was I would stop like watching them altogether.
Yeah.
Because I would be so demotivated. I'd be like, okay, this guy's put out a video of him just playing Apex, and it's got 2.1 million views. I've done a glitch or something that's taken me hours to do. I've spoken to new context, and it's like, 400.
It also can mess up the process of working on new videos, because it's like, I hate, and I've had this happen a few times, and it's worse than anything. When you're in the midst of working on a video, and then someone uploads a video that maybe you're sub to, and they do the same thing, and you're like, I'm about to release mine, but now that you've seen theirs, you go, I can't do that. Like, I just can't.
You know what's really like, this is one. It happened recently, right? Remember the Friday the 13th video I released, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
No one plays that game ever.
There was another content creator who made a video on it. I saw a big.
And you know who made a video on it? Corpse Husband. Why?
What's
Why? Come back to? I'm making a video on this. Go away.
Yeah, and it's like
now I don't want to make this video.
But it's one of those things. I think when you get too competitive, or when you're looking at other people, it's horrible. Like, it's good to be able to compare things, but when you start seeing other people and you start looking at it competitively, it can really ruin things, because jealousy or envy is one of the things that's like, it's the poison that kills you. It doesn't kill any. Like, jealousy is one of those things that, like, it's the only thing that actually affects you, the host, not the actual person that you're pointing it towards. You know, that's the thing. So it's better to be able to be like unaware than to be aware of what they're doing. It's good to know what's happening in the community. I think that's healthy and smart, and that's why like Twitter and whatnot's handy. But even at that, it's good to keep a distance, because you don't want to demotivate yourself. And if you're constantly looking at other people that you could say, like me and Dan, right? We're friends. I'm cool with that. I consider Dan a friend, right? Like, but I would say that we are, to an extent, of course, with YouTube, because of what we do. We're kind of like competitors. That's kind of what it is. But it's not a competition. But you get in that mindset, and it's horrible, because you're like, but you get in the mindset and you kind of go, oh my, I don't see this person like that. They're a good person. Like, that like natural instinct, it's almost like as to, I need to try and do better. I need to be able to do better. Or if they're doing better than you, you start to belittle yourself. And then you start to, like, wait, the minute you start saying things about yourself
as well.
Yeah, you start doubting yourself and having self-doubt, which is a killer of everything. Or you start belittling yourself. Oh, I'm an idiot. I should have done this. Oh, I wasted time. Oh my God, I'm a failure. Like, when you start saying that, like, that's it. You need to immediately step back, because that's the minute you're like right now spiraling down, and that's
it's always jealousy, or that sort of that feeling into burnout. It's always such a red flag.
Something feeds up to it, and there's always little triggers, and you can't avoid it, but you've got to be really like aware of them, before they come. But yeah, I'll move on to the next question right now. I got the next one here right now.
Are we on now 4?
5. You were saying 5.
Damn, we're not that.
Dang it!
Come on.
Don't worry. We have the Forgotten 7, which is like a really quick fire bunch of questions, but we'll see how that goes.
Hopefully.
Right? All right. So
you underestimate how long I take to answer questions.
Oh no, I'm very up to date with how this works now.
Let's get it going. Right? This could be. We're not far away from this being the longest episode yet of the podcast. I'm not even playing.
Let's get it going. Right? We're allowed to do this.
We're allowed to do it, right?
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
No one's gonna watch you after the first 10 minutes, because I'm on.
That's it. They will. That people are interested. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. But yeah. So I hope you don't mind me saying this, but something that is abundantly clear is that you seem to be a very private person, Dan. Nobody knows your age, what exactly you look like, and so much more, obviously. However, the things we do know are somewhat concerning. All right, like you've said multiple times that you have no real life friends. You've called yourself useless. I mean, in this podcast, there's been occasional things that you said, maybe more jokingly, but you do belittle yourself a little bit, and I think you shouldn't, because you are a very talented man. And you mentioned, and like this is what's in here. You mentioned how you're technically obese, like on Twitter and whatnot, stuff like this. And there are multiple times where you seem like you're really, honestly, deeply depressed, bro. Almost bullying yourself for feeling bad. And I wanted to ask honestly and openly right here, right now, obviously on the show, of course, how you're doing, like what's like real life. And I'm not talking about you, the VIPmanYT, or the content creator, streamer, or influencer, but like as an actual person, how you're doing behind the scenes. Like what real life stuff's happening. You know what I mean? At the moment, like how are you feeling mentally and emotionally?
Right now, fairly good. I feel like I use social media too much, and that's very
toxic.
Yeah, it can be a bad environment, but other than that, like I'm doing pretty fine at the moment. Like there's everybody has issues and stuff, But
yeah, of course. Well, that's it. But it's one of those things, because I was in your Discord, man. Now, obviously, I've going up to the script. I did spend a lot of time in your Discord going through and just looking up certain keywords and trying to find things. And I noticed it, man. And it's one of those. Are you in here? You know what I'm saying, bro? Like you just mentioned it just before we asked the question. It's like a sense of almost like self-doubt. You know what I mean? Like it's not. I know it's more joking, but
I
it's
think
like
it's because
humor kind of hides the like I guess the hint of
laugh away the pain.
insecurity.
I think with the self-doubt, it's because of like how I've seen so many other creators be toxic, and I don't want to turn into one of those toxic like creators. Do you get what I mean? So it's like
no, of course,
it's very difficult, and I just because sometimes I thought videos will do well and they don't. It's like you doubt yourself of what's actually going to do well and stuff, and it's one of those things where it's like I'm fine. It's just difficult sometimes,
Yeah, no, I get you, man. It's just, as I've seen in your Discord or whatnot, there's been a few times where you have belittled yourself, and it's like, dude, I'll tell you right up front, and whether I know you'll listen to it, but whether it'll change anything, I doubt it will, because it's one of those things that when you're in your own head, there's nobody can say anything to really
the information
anybody can say they love you, they care about you, whatever, and that doesn't change that. It's in here, it's you. That's the thing that's the issue. But like I'll tell you straight from, man, and I'm sure many others will, bro. You are killing it, bro. Like much love to you, man. I got so much respect for you, dude. Right now, man. I mean, your video the other day, 50,000 views, man. Like, bro, like man, that's insane, bro. Like that, but I know, but like still, dude, thousands of views per video, man. You're doing great, man. You know what I'm saying, bro? And you're doing amazing. Like you said, you want to prove to people that anybody with anything, whether it be being visually impaired, whatever, can do this, and you're proving that, man, tenfold, dude.
I'm not sure
you're
if
doing
this
things.
Gives it any value or almost devalues it. Sorry,
I was going to say, go ahead.
But I just want to quickly say as well, just before it devolves into another conversation. But I just want to quickly say. Coming from someone who has only watched very bits of your channel, like as of recent, I've watched a lot more of your videos for research, etc.
Yeah.
And I don't do much Minecraft stuff. I play Minecraft every now and then, that's about it. But man, I love the way you present yourself in your videos. It's something to be proud about. Having the community that you've got is so like empowering and obviously very, very like motivating. I love seeing that, and I love seeing people like this grow. And having people on the podcast like this is so nice to see them almost regain confidence. And I feel like I grow pretty close to the people who come on the podcast. And honestly, man, you're just like everyone else that come on this podcast, and I love having you all on board. Yeah. So, man, honestly, and I'm not an emotions person, but like I enjoy having you here. And it's nice.
Yeah. No, I mean 100%, and I agree with Joseph. Man, like. Dude, you need to remember this, man, and I know you do, but it's one of those things that doesn't always divulge, kind of like, it'll still make you say some things, but like, at the end of the day, man, you're doing things that content creators that we both know, and I know, that are in the same field as us, just can't do. They might be doing well, but I mean, dude, you're doing things that other people can't do, and that's amazing.
It's one of the, like, I don't want to talk about this for too long because
no, it's cool.
It can go on I could go on for ages, but it's just. You can have good and bad day. Like sometimes stuff, I don't know. I think a lot of my issues come down to social media, to be honest. Again, I feel kind of too addicted to it, but it's one of those things where you kind of need to be active on social media for what we do to some degree.
Exactly, bro. I mean, that's kind of like the double-edged sword in it, because it's like we both, and I took a break from social media, man. It feels amazing. Like it's nice to be able to not compare yourself to people, or be able to get away from people, or be able to kind of not people, but be able to get away from certain things that trigger you or can make you get those bad days happening. And it's nice when you can walk away from them, but at the same extent, it's kind of like in this line of work with what we do, you kind of need to be a part of it, and that's the kind of horrible part about it, because it's like you said, you want to be passionate, but you want to do this, you love it, it's your hobby, it's what it's now your job. Like me, it's what we love, but it's like there's also it's like a pain to it as well.
There's so many days where I've been like, I want to close my Discord permanently. I want to stop using Twitter, and I do want to in 2022. I think one of the things I want to do is I want to use it way less. Like I was on social media today because I need
the podcast. But
literally a couple of hours before that, I was lurking on social media for no reason. And I'm like, do you get what I mean? Like just going on once for something you have to go on for, not have to go on for, but like
Yeah,
money
and
gone,
then
but
getting distracted and getting lost.
So it's like, I think what I want to do in the rest of December, I'm probably going to go on social media after this podcast to because I started a few conversations with people before.
Yeah, of course. So
I'm going to check up on those. But then after that, I think for the rest of December, I want to try and not use it at all. And if I feel much happier, which I have been so far, but that's probably partly because the video's done really well.
Yeah, you're seeing positive things.
Then next year, I'll probably end up not using it much at all. My Discord is dying right now. Because compared to where it was, I'm not saying it's dead compared to a lot of content creators.
No.
Discord is still very popular, but compared to where it was, it's dying or dead, not gaining many members. It's gone from 140,000 messages a month to 80,000 right now, probably going to lower. But I'm not focusing on that at the moment. I think my Discord, I agree with Discord as a Minecraft place, people to find people to play with. People never really found people to play it with, or there was a lot of trolling, griefing. So it's more. I'm now making it more just about my channel. It's going to get a lot less members and stuff, but it's going to be more about
But it's
me.
more personalized to you, and that's what it should be, bro. At the end of the day, man, if that makes it better your experience for you, do that. That's exactly what that's my Discord. That's what it is.
I still don't know where I'm going to be with Discord and social media though.
In
a few months. I might just. I know we've had this debate before, and one of the things that has made me reopen my Discord, and I was talking to you because I closed it once before, a few months ago.
Oh, okay.
And on stream, you were like, "Well, your Discord is really cool, and you should keep it because if something ever happens to YouTube, it's somewhere people can get to know you and stuff." And
I call it a pillar.
That's the one thing that one reason I've kept it. But I'm getting more and more towards the stage where there's situations, some that I talked about, some that I might have mentioned a few times with moderators and stuff, but also just generally, it's social media seems to be leading to a lot of issues. So I think eventually I am going to not shut down the Discord. I don't know what I want to do.
But walk away from it, maybe.
Maybe calm it down for a bit, have it as a break thing, you know?
I've handed off more responsibility to other people, but as much as I love the person that's handling it, this guy is sick. He's a great admin. It doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't feel the same if I'm not using it actively. But I don't.
Yeah, because it's your Discord kind of thing. It's
It's half of me is thinking maybe it would be better to almost completely shut it apart from channel member stuff for a few months, then reopen it or open a new one that's more personalized to me if I want to come back. But I haven't 100% decided yet. I haven't decided what to do with it yet. But honestly, it's one of those things where, and even with Twitter, I get too addicted to Twitter too.
Yeah.
But I need to be contactable somehow. But it's one of those things where I just think I'm getting more and more towards a stage of,
burnout.
Previously in previous years, I've liked Discord, not liked Discord. I've gone on and off of I love Discord, and I've sometimes done the odd week break, but I've been on there weeks and weeks in a row, for ages, breaks and stuff. And then this year it's been more on and off breaks, and I think I am leaning towards needing a proper break where the Discord's just shut and stuff for a few months.
You take an actual break from it. Yeah.
Handing it off to an admin's cool, but that gives them a lot of responsibility for one person, you know.
Yeah, and it's not it's not a job that they have. Yeah, it's not their job. It's just something that you're saying, hey, would you mind doing this? And it's kind of gets a lot to put on someone.
I always feel, and because I have had issues with moderators and stuff in the past, it's very difficult to trust someone. I trust the guy that's admin right now, but who's to say he doesn't go and turn on me to
Well, that's and it's one of those things where if you. And the thing that's kind of even more concerning, I guess, in that sense, if you think about it, it's if you did give him the admin, right? And he's running the show. You leave social, Twitter, Instagram, not Instagram, Twitter, Discord, etc. How do people contact you if there's an issue in the Discord? That's
this is the other thing.
That's oh my god, they start destroying. Nobody can come and say, Dan, there's an issue. I'm sure they could comment and whatnot or anything like that.
There's a few people. I'm sure if something major happened, there's one.
They would get personal
who
people
who. Yeah, there's a couple that there's one or two people that could contact me directly. There's one person that's currently banned from my Discord, but I talk to him a lot. He's friends with me in real life. He's just stuff happens on Discord and stuff. There was a whole situation where a lot of my mods and stuff fell out of me or got banned for various reasons. I don't really want to go into that now because that's going on a complete tangent.
Yeah,
but sometime I might mention it somewhere. But there's a couple of people who were friends of him and stuff. Some of them got banned, but now I'm banned. So I guess if something major happened, one of them would hopefully tell this person to message me.
And
I'm
then
sure the person
contact you.
You get what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
At the same time, it is one of the issues and one of the reasons that you have to have a good admin. Now I think I have got a good admin right now, but it's kind of, as you said, anything could happen.
That's
something out of his control could happen. Something could happen to him, and
he couldn't handle it. Yeah, and then that's it.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
What if I'm sure you've heard about all these people that are getting hacked on Discord. And I mean, did Sambi not tell you a little bit more? I don't want to say anything. Like about the whole people, you know that thing on Discord, people go, oh, test my game, and then they give them the link, and then they say, oh, okay, yeah, test it, Dylan. Yeah,
I've
and
not
it takes
heard
your
of this
Discord
at all,
accounts.
bro, but that sort of stuff.
Oh,
Like,
well, what it is
never
it's
been
they get the
massive fan
token.
of Discord
They
for
get
that
the token
reason.
for your Discord, and they can take your Discord account and just hack it, right? I've saw dozens of friends have this happen to them, but what I'm saying is hypothetically, imagine someone done that to this guy, the admin, and you're not there, right? And then
But
it's like, what?
having more admins wouldn't even be able to solve that issue because admins.
No,
can't
because it
vote
could
on
happen.
admin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's such a confliction. There's really the only way for it to really be monitored is if you're there. But then it's like that's the point.
This is the
You
same
don't
thing
That's
be
the
with
there.
point. You're not
Minecraft
meant to be
realm.
there.
Yeah.
So Minecraft realms, I've had many Minecraft realms in the past, and the thing is okay, my realms weren't the best optimized because I didn't know as much about command blocks back then and stuff, right? As I do now. Like nowadays, a realm would be better, but I had to always be on to back up the realm. And
Yeah,
I didn't
in
want
case
to be
something
on
happens.
24/7 to do like a public realm to be able to back it up. So I was like, well, I can't do this. I physically can't. Like,
You just
so-
don't have the time. Yeah.
so I was, similar to that, and that is one of the things. Again, this admin's great, but something could happen to him, his account, or something. And I
Anything,
think that is,
yeah.
or he could change and not be as nice of a person as he is. I doubt he
Yeah.
will because this guy seems really chill. But so does the other people that have done stuff. Do you know
And
what I
that's
mean?
it. Yeah,
Possibilities, it's very spontaneous.
And that's
yeah.
the thing. And yeah, exactly. And in regards to realm thing, I mean, that's something we didn't really talk about earlier on talking about Minecraft. Just a brief kind of pause here before we get into the Forgotten Seven, because we will get into that. But like realm security is terrible. Like I think everybody can
Man,
agree with that.
even in
realm.
last night's stream, I
sucks
heard you
so
speaking
much.
about that. You were
Oh,
saying
yeah,
about,
so
like, someone
we've,
said, "Can you leave it open?" And
Yeah,
were
you know.
saying
So
no.
what it was my biggest fear. I had a realm before, and I got people hacks in there and whatnot. And like, it's just I don't need distress. I don't need anything that anybody does. Yeah, like and it sucks, man, because it's like why you gotta do it. But we've had recently, and I've named them this. I'm very proud of the name. They're called the Realm Raiders. That's what I call them. It's these people that came into the stream on YouTube, and it's joinable. Everybody can join, but you have to donate to get privileges. That's how it is for my worlds. But guy joined, didn't like that. Didn't want to leave, he didn't like it. Started insulting everybody in the game that was in there. He's in there for free.
You can't kick.
No, I know. Yeah, that's it. And we were like, hey, listen, we don't have to kick you, bro. Like, you can look around, get inspiration, take screenshots. You can, if you join us on Twitch, it's free to join.
I think
it's
you're too nice as well. Like,
well, that's it. Yeah, I try and I want to just try and be chill with everybody. Yeah, you want to, you don't. Yeah, that's it, bro. Like, honest, I've told people, like, when I used to do Twitch or Twitch streams, like, on different games, I wouldn't play single player games. Although I like games like, say, Fallout 4, I love that game. I don't want to play it. I feel bad if people can't come and play with me, man. Like, or people that are sitting by themselves, not someone. Like, for Christmas, I'll spend time with family, but I'm gonna go. I know I'm gonna stream on my birthday. It's the same as well. Like, I want to make sure everybody's got someone to be with. Like, that's how it is. At least I know there's people out there that won't, but like, I want to try and help people. But like, we had these people that joined the realm. This one kid I said, and he was like, "Oh, this is stupid. You have to donate for prez." I said, "No, it's quite smart actually. It stops people from griefing, and at least on the YouTube, on Twitch, it's free to join. If you don't like it, that's okay. You're allowed to have that opinion. God bless. But like, this is how it is." What did he do? Left. And then came back with, no joke, about 30 people, came into the stream, started spamming all these racial things, etc., and then raided the realm, booted it offline.
And then have so many issues.
Oh, it was terrible. I was kicking. They were like fleets. I'm talking like you kick one and 20 join. Like the whole game was filled with them. We're running through kicking them as quick as
Who
possible.
has the capacity of people
to do that?
Stupid mindset.
But like, it's such a waste of time, and I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, I was like, dude, this is such a malicious. Like, he's trying to say, oh, pay to play, it's terrible. I said, no, it's pay to get privs on YouTube. You can join for free on Twitch. Why are you burning bridges here? Like, you don't have to do this. But like, came in and kicked us all off and reset everything, and I was like, what a loser! Like, what a
it's
sad.
So aggravated as well, which is what annoys me the most. It's like it doesn't affect you in any way, and they're just like, you know what? He upset me, so I'm going to ruin the day.
He's like, you say another word.
People do it for fun. People do it for no
yeah.
Okay, so I used to play with viewers a lot on the console edition, like just for free, like playing with subscribers. Doing building
mini
a
games or
map, mini games. What else have I done? Survivals and all sorts, right? This is a while ago. I tried doing that on Bedrock. I did for a while, and I got quite bored and burnt out and stuff. I had to add a requirement for people to watch for a certain amount of time and streams before they could join. Yeah. Because like people were just griefing otherwise and stuff, right? Yeah. Which is, that worked for a bit. But then griefing and stuff got a lot harder, like to prevent and stuff. And I tried to have a couple of public realms as well. Even people that like had met the requirement, like
we're still griefing
or stuff,
Yeah.
It was like 2.5 hours, so it wasn't like short term, and people would still miss about. Then I tried realms that were like public, and people can do all sorts of realms. So I know if you're like the best person out there, you might be able to prevent some of this stuff, but it's not all preventable. No. And if someone says they can prevent it, it has like a working anti-cheat for realms.
You're lying.
They're lying. Like,
well, that's
Some guys showed
funny
me a fairly
good
one, and then they were like, okay, so it does all this, and I was like, what about crashing the realm? They're like, no, people can still crash that. That's the one thing it can't do. I'm like, it's not.
But then it's like, it's that's
people just do that. Like, find your flaws.
No joke. These guys came in. I said the other day, they came in, done that. And then we got to the point where we had to change the realm code. I went, I'm going to change the realm code, clear everything, because they just kept coming in. You could kick them and they kept coming back. And I was like, okay, this is getting ridiculous. They raided our Discord with like 30 people, and all the like Sam, B, Ree, and others went, Joe, we need to lock this down. We need to lock delete all the invite links. No, like this is too much. They're flooding in here, and they're not saying anything right now, but they're flooding in here. This isn't right. But they came again a couple days later. Like, this is how obsessed they were, right? They came back again, Realm Raiders as I called them, came back again, kicked it off, reset it. I'm like, you guys, like, I'm not like, because people, the worst thing you can do with these kind of people is normally they're kids, right? Worst thing you can do is try and like kind of insult them and try and hurt them. I used to do that when I was like, young and stupid, right? I've grown, and nowadays I just say, God bless. I hope you find a better way to kind of spend your time than having to do something like this. If you put even a 10th of the % of effort that you put into this and to a creative outlet like art or content creation, you could be so successful. Yeah, no, but you could be so successful. But don't do this. It's such a, pay to play. It's terrible. I was like, listen, just because you say that's your reasoning doesn't mean it's good reasoning. I was like, what's it called? Two wrongs don't make a right. You know what I mean? I was like, at the end of the day, if you think this is wrong, you doing something wrong to get me back doesn't make you right, or doesn't make you some sort of hero. I was like, everybody here understands it's fair rules. Like, this is the only way I can try and somewhat prevent people from griefing, and it works. Of the now hundreds of streams that I've done that have been paid to join, how many people have paid and griefed when they've joined? About, I think, only one off the top of my head. One person ever once.
It's because they've now valued their time with the money.
That's
it.
Like, and that's why I said that's the mindset of it. I said, listen, because people go, why do I have to donate? I said, listen, it's for trust. And they go, what do you mean trust? I said, because listen, when you join, who's to say you're not just going to go grief and destroy everything? Nobody. But when you donate or put a bit of your own a bit of you into something, like especially financial, right? Like a membership or a donation, you are directly investing something into this. So are you really going to burn that bridge after you just put a bit yourself in? No, the chances are significantly low.
Some people still do. I mean, with Realms.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
With Realms, there's so many like weird things that could be fixable. Like, people can disable command blocks. Like, I know you're Realm Survival, but I've had creative in the past. Now that'll be easier to prevent. But like people in survival, but like staff have creative, right? Like mods and stuff. And people can disable command blocks. People can nuke the whole world and destroy everything with like one press of a button. People can change their skins to loads of weird stuff. There's loads of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to encourage. I don't want to talk about some stuff people have done because I don't want to encourage it. But like,
give them idea. No.
Your next stream is going to be full of
just nukes.
But this is why I just don't play with viewers anymore. On one of my realms, someone who was a long-term viewer admitted to doing all that stuff, and I'm like, I trust this person. Like, they were a long-term viewer, and I'm like, what? And why would you just randomly admit? I'm like, you just got banned, and I'm never going to trust you ever again.
It's anything. Just, but it gives you trust issues. It's like it's horrible.
And there's the thing is with donations is. Now, this might... So, I had a realm recently with trusted people, right? With just a few friends and stuff.
Yeah.
Sam B, who we mentioned before, was...
Yeah.
I don't think he ever played on it, but he like had access to it. But it shut down a couple of days after he joined. Because it was only open for like a week or two and then shut down. And someone stole stuff from everybody. It was a survival thing. I tried a fully survival thing because it was with trusted people. I don't trust too many people, right? So I just let like people that I kind of trusted in. Like people that I did not trust. And a couple of people became channel members, right? And they were people that had been around for a long time, played on previous survival stuff.
Yeah.
And two or three of these people became channel members. So I was going to let one in because he was like an ex-mod of mine, a really good friend. Then someone else that played on the same worlds as him, or a lot of the same worlds and realm or stuff, like also joined. I'm not calling this person out. I have no proof they were the ones stealing. But a lot of people thought this person was stealing, who like had been around for a long time. They became a channel member, and I thought, and in my mind, I was like, they became a channel member. They're not, and they've been a long-term person. They're not going to be the one stealing. They might have been the one stealing. I'm not accusing them if they are listening to this, which I highly doubt because they pop in and out of my community very rarely. But they were asking for me to do more survival stuff, and then they decided to make their own realm and try and advertise it in my realm and my Discord.
What?
But they were the one griefing the original realm and why it got shut down. And I have not
the audacity.
But people had proof. People said they had proof of this, or multiple people saw them stealing stuff. Like, it's unlikely that many people would.
They're gonna lie. Yeah. It's one of those things, man. You got to keep on top of it. Like with our realm, I was on live on Twitch last night till like bloody 6 a.m. It was terrible, or like 8 a.m. I know it was madness. But we had these two guys joining, and you ever get that kind of like when you play with this many people, or like it's odds, like you meet so many different people, you have to get really good at real quick being able to go. Is he trustworthy? Is he going to do something? What's that?
Then you feel so bad sometimes.
Yeah, because you're kind of like early judging without evidence.
I'm judging someone
without evidence. Yeah, getting to know them. And that's how these guys joined last night, right? And I went, all right, I give you privileges. We're on Twitch. It's free to join. You can get privileges. All right. They start playing, and I'm like, I don't really. I'll take you guys away from the city. I'm going to take you guys from Atlas to like a new part of the world where there's nothing there. You can build and start a town, whatever. Go mining. Okay, done that. Dropped them off. 2 minutes later, they're back in the city. Like, what are you guys doing here? Oh, we just want to wander around. Can we go mining? I said, there's no point mining here. Go back out. Took them back, or tried to run around the city. Just griefing. One of the guys, like one of them, it was just madness. Like he's sitting, going around, stealing stuff at chests and racing around about. We had about 8 players, including
Was
me.
this the guy that stole the
racing.
Elytra?
No, maybe, yeah. Well, I'm one of them, but like they running around, and I'm like, I've taken off prips with them, and I get like, I don't want to kick them or ban them. That's like the last thing. So like, please stop. Please, everybody sitting laughing their butts off, right? Because I'm sitting chasing them around like the 3 Stooges. It's me and like 8 other people. I'm like, go that way in the city. I'll go this way. Everybody corner them. You're saying like, try and get them. It was brilliant, but having the race round. But it's like you can just tell that you got to be very careful with people, especially in realms. Realm security is abysmal as opposed to what it could be.
The thing is, I wasn't overly enjoying my last realm too much, and I was like, and I didn't want to call this person out because they had been such a long. I guess I kind of just have on this podcast, but they have been such a long-time community member, right? And it's like one of those things where, in case I'm wrong, because I haven't got any proof myself, right, it's only really speculation or allegations from other people. I don't want to call them out because I don't want to ruin that possible friendship. Like, not friendship, but like you know what I mean? They've been a loyal viewer
That bond
for a while. Yeah. I don't want to ruin that. Even though I didn't really speak to them too much, they had been around for a long time, and it's very rare that people stick around for like many years for me. So it's like, you know, I didn't want to hate on them or say, oh,
yeah,
you know, why did you do this? I didn't want to kick them out or start arguments.
Yeah.
And I wasn't enjoying playing the realm myself anyway too much. Other people were, so this guy kind of ruined it for them, but I didn't really. So I kind of used it as an opportunity to be like, okay, I'm going to shut this down for now. Cause
yeah.
Minecraft for me recently, it's been getting kind of a bit stale and boring. Apart from
yeah,
like, videos, like I make videos, I live stream, but other than that, it's like I'm not passionate about playing it right now, kind of thing.
Yeah,
hopefully
I get you.
will be
I get
again in the future, but you know.
Is there any games you've been passionate about? Like, is there any games that you play outside of Minecraft? I guess that's a good question.
Mainly Splitgate at the moment, but that's.
Oh,
that's
my
like
man.
I've never played.
Yeah.
Joseph's played it. Like he's over here.
I made a
never
video
played
on
it.
Splitgate.
heard
It was
it's
one
kinda
of
like
those
Halo.
things where it's like, because I do like commentary based stuff and I like to talk about games, etc. I did a thing on Splitgate and it was just really refreshing because I was like, this is nice to have something that involves portals. I used to be a massive Portal 2 fan. I used to play out with loads of different people. That was some of my original content back years ago. And on top of that, it's also Halo mechanics. You don't get many games like that. And I love that style of game. I'm a massive fan of Halo 4. Even more, I kind of prefer Destiny to Halo. Like I love Destiny with an undying passion. So that having a game that's like a midsection of Portal, Destiny, and Halo is just amazing. I loved that. And although I really was speaking quite highly about it in my video, at the moment I feel like it's definitely died down quite a lot, like most games like that do. It's definitely a fun little arcadey game to play. Yeah.
I think Splitgate was terrible timing.
Thing is, Splitgate re-emerged a few times. I know it was been on PC for almost a year or two, and it was pretty popular on release, and then it kind of died down for a while. Then they released it on console, I think earlier this year.
I think because Halo came out like a few months after it died too quickly.
I don't think it died because of Halo though. Like I really don't. I think,
but isn't it quite like Halo? That was the point. Like that's why people were like, oh, that's quite cool.
It's like Halo because of the ADS system. It's very like no recoil. Well, there is recoil, but there's like no ADS. There's no proper. What do you call it? There's no proper. How do you explain it? Like the FPS system isn't like boots on ground COD. It is like COD, you can jump around a bit and you're jumping and shooting. You know, it's just kind of how it is in Halo. You've got the reticle in the middle, DMRs, etc.
Funny enough, we're recording this today because it's currently right now, obviously, of course, Monday. It's the 8th, and it is the 8th. Yeah, no, it's the 6th. Is it? Is it the 6th? Sorry, can somebody...
yes, it's the 6th.
It's the 6th, yeah. So in 2 days' time, Halo, the Infinite, like the actual campaign gets released. But it's been a month since... I think it was just under a month, in fact. Since the actual multiplayer went live, like the full multiplayer came out. So, I mean, it kind of... I can imagine it would take Splitgate down a bit. But, I mean, I don't know.
I feel like
Splitgate was already dying slightly.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I feel like Splitgate already absolutely hit the ground.
I think also COD released. A lot of people who played
Vanguard,
Splitgate were previous COD fans or Halo fans.
Okay.
So
I don't
also
think
Battlefield
Vanguard
released, right?
took away from Splitgate at all because it's a very different type of shooter, and I feel like that.
But isn't
ground shooters always?
Streamers and video people were making Splitgate videos. They were either Halo or COD people, like a mix of both.
Yeah,
probably
exactly.
More Halo, but like I do think it had some impact. Like I don't know. I think Splitgate can be still a successful game. I like a certain couple of game modes on it, but I can see for some people there's not much new stuff being released. They could do with adding some more stuff. Maybe some kind of like PvE, like player versus enemy mode or something, like or campaign or some other stuff. I don't know.
Splitgate has that thing for me. Like I'm really strange in this way that I hate popularity. Like things that are popular,
Yeah.
just I hate it to bits.
you're not a fan
I
of
hate people, etc. But like Splitgate was such a nice little thing that it made me very happy about it because like I would read stuff about them. I followed their Twitter. The servers went down continuously for such a while.
Oh, really?
And I would always be sitting there on the loading screen. I'd
didn't
be
have enough
on their
capacity.
Twitter,
Oh.
and it's like on their Twitter they've got like all of their mods. They're like, okay, over the course of a week they went from 4 people who ran the whole game, and then they had a full team by the end of the week because of the popularity surge. There was like a few people. One was
Hold on,
called
how come
Fish.
Minecraft can't get any stars?
I know, yeah.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
like-
what I'm saying. I told
like,
you. That's why I think
Mojang should just up
is
their
just-
scale. Like, imagine
Mojang
how much
needs
more
to
upgrades.
get in with Splitgate.
I'm telling you, like,
Me, and then my assistant hired Joe, and then
Yeah,
our other
there you go.
assistant or gardener Joseph, and then we'll be
That's
done.
it, yeah. That's it, exactly. There we go. I'm telling you, like, imagine if Minecraft was like, for example, imagine if Minecraft got 2 updates a year, or even like what Dan said earlier on. I'd like it if they made smaller updates. They don't have to be big game-changing updates right off the bat. But like, what if we got an update once every, like, excuse me, language here, once every 3 or 4 months?
Whoa,
I bet,
you
Joseph,
beat
too.
me to it, bro.
Bleep it out, bleep it out, bleep it out. You've said.
All right, what's the time? 2:30. Okay, 2:35, 37.
2:35.
Thanks, Joe.
Bleep it
Future
out,
Joe,
yes, it's
edit
all
that
good.
out. If you don't, I'm
yes.
gonna beat you.
Exactly, yeah, you will like that. Don't worry. But like, no, but it's like, imagine like every 4 months you got new updates that were
Surprised you made it
small.
that far, to be honest.
Oh, I rarely
I am
swear.
so proud of myself.
He swears.
Honestly,
He swears more than me. He does. I'm telling you. He swears.
Look
more
at
than
that
me.
private chat. I've got. But you didn't see this because you joined obviously after I did it. But
Yeah,
I've got
he's
a
got-
post-it note saying "Don't swear" stuck to my screen.
Made
right
him
now.
write it. Before it. He's got reminder no swearing as well. But let's get into the Forgotten 7, right? Let's get into that because this is quick fire questions. Don't worry, right? These can be quite quick
Making
fire.
me edit, goddammit.
We'll see how it goes. God dang, right? So, anyway, let's get into it. All right, Dan. Taking a bit of a detour from the big questions we have, a recurring segment on the podcast called The Forgotten 7, where we ask our guests 7 a little bit more personal questions to get to know them a bit better and help paint a more clear picture as to who they are behind the scenes and behind the content they produce. So what I'll do is I'll ask you 7 a little bit more simple, I said, questions, and you just give us the most genuine answers you can, all right? Does that sound good?
This is very quick fire, by the way. Just saying.
Okay, I'll do one word answers for you. There you go.
No. Right,
No,
okay.
not one word.
Yes. No, like, right.
I'll be tired.
What is your
Okay,
typical content creation outfit look like? Like, what do you normally wear when making content?
Clothes.
Oh, that's insane.
Oh my god,
I
you've said
don't.
I never knew. You've said
Dude, I'm just there with dong in the wing, bro.
Oh my god, no, my god, man. No, but like, is there like, do you wear comfortable clothes? Do you like wear like baggy stuff? Like, do you like to
man.
Why would
dress
you
up?
wear uncomfortable clothes?
Well, no,
yeah,
but it's
bro.
like right.
I wear like Crocs and
Look
like
at Joseph. Look at him
sandpaper
right now.
jeans.
Look at him right now. He's in a look at him. Look what he's wearing. It's madness.
But
I'm
he
just
might
saying.
find that comfortable.
But it's.
What do you mean? Are you saying this is uncomfortable, bro? This is my normal attire.
Oh no,
You
I'm
know
so
what's high.
what Joe
It is. I wear
I'm
this to
saying
college.
it looks uncomfortable. You're saying.
I wear this
You
to college.
You wear that to college.
Sometimes, yeah. Oh yeah,
And
I
what did
didn't
they
wear
say?
my gauntlets today either, which is kind of.
Yeah, he's got. Oh man, honestly, Dan Chetters, I like the man's. He's
Man,
got like.
it's too hot in this room to wear these, but I was
Look at
gonna
it,
put
he
my
wears
gauntlets
these.
on. I had them on last time. They can't
madness.
display, but you know.
Do you wear
Absolutely
a
right.
Christmas hat every day to college as well?
What?
Do you wear a Christmas hat to college every day?
Oh no,
You wear
that's
it every
just
day.
for show, man. Like, Joe kept saying we need
that's
to be
just for here.
festive.
Yeah, that's just
Mid-
for
mid-March.
It
here.
may surprise you with a name like Mars Cynic. I'm not a massive Christmas person.
No, there you go.
Sorry.
So
God
it's
dang,
been
well,
forcing you to wear the Christmas hat.
that's what it is. I forced them to wear.
But yeah, it was part of my pay rate.
That's what it is. That's what it is. All right, going from there. What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given, and who was it given by, or where did you get it from?
We never
Oh,
got an
that's
answer.
He said naked. He said he wears naked.
Oh, I've got. That's why he's not got a camera on, bro.
And that's no clothes. You're saying it, no, that's what it is. No, that's what it
The
is.
nudist episode, very cool.
Oh my god.
I don't know, because advice is one of those things where you don't really remember it very often all the time. Like one.
That's counterintuitive.
That's kind of.
No.
It's a little bit.
It becomes part of your day-to-day thing so much, and so integrated into.
Then you should
your
remember it.
Yeah, but I don't remember. Okay, one piece of advice. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, one thing that does stick to mind. This is one thing I do remember is when Joe said to me, like Discord's good for having a platform to fall back on, as we mentioned earlier.
a pillar, yeah.
I probably have heard better advice than that. Not saying that's bad advice. I really have been dissing you this episode, Joe.
God, you
Luckily,
suck.
I don't know Joseph enough, so he's safe. But
God
no,
dang.
but like, you know, that is like one thing that sticks to mind. But there would have been more advice out there probably that I also just.
I would have hoped
so long
someone
ago.
somewhere in your life would have said something nice to you. You know.
It's like he's got some advice, but he's one of your out the other.
If it's good advice, you're not gonna okay. I feel like this is the way I kind of think of it. If it's good advice, you're not gonna remember. You're gonna remember the advice, but it's gonna be something you don't think about. And it's just you do
It's
it.
like-
So you won't
yeah.
remember the advice.
That sounds ridiculous.
No,
yeah.
he like passively remembers. it.
You're
It's
a
like,
living
you acknowledge it and you
juxtaposition.
learn from it, but like you don't. Yeah.
It becomes,
For me, it's like I know quotes. That's what it is.
Advice, and then there's acting upon advice. If you're acting upon advice and it becomes
Yeah.
part of you and your content creation process and your daily driven tasks and stuff, then
It becomes you.
If
Yeah.
I was to ask
it's
you
good
for a piece
advice.
of advice, Joe, what would you give?
Me?
Yeah, as in, like, what's your... Because you don't seem to ever answer this question, and you
Well,
always
I
ask
c-
people this.
all
I
right,
can give you
uh,
mine.
Phenomenal advice right here.
Go on.
In order to have the things tomorrow, this is a quote. This isn't really advice, I suppose.
I can
but
tell.
I know.
I
I've
doubt
a
your
dozen
dad came in
quotes.
and said this and left.
No, Les Brown said this, right? He just came in and went, "Oh, let me tell you something, right?"
Like, no,
it's-
what's your dad?
yeah, you never know. You must say, in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have, you must be willing to do the things today others won't do.
Edgy.
I mean, is that overly advice though? Because it's not specific to you, is it? It's more of a quote.
No, that's the quote, right? I mean, if I was to give advice,
And, like advice that somebody specifically gave to you. Is it?
Yeah,
is that not the point of
advice.
the question? Not
yeah,
just,
yeah,
like,
it is.
the
It
quote
is.
you
It's
have
it's
in
not a
mind.
quote. I'm giving a quote there,
I
right?
love how
So
I'm just
advice.
taking over this podcast. like,
That's what it is, right? Let me I'll give some proper advice, and I'd say I know, follow what you enjoy. You know what I'm saying? You might as well follow what you enjoy and potentially fail at it than follow something that you're not passionate about and
but
not be
who-
happy with it.
Who told you that? Like, wasn't
Me
the whole point
with that,
you,
my dad.
that's your own advice, isn't it? Oh,
That's
okay,
my dad. My dad. Yeah, it's like that's it.
Because
Okay,
I've got...
I guess that
I'm
kind
the
of-
same as Joe. I've got advice from my dad and also a quote. So
Yeah,
it's the same
yeah, it's
sort of
quotes.
thing.
Yeah.
From my dad, it was
It's
always
kind of-
keep
I
your head
guess-
down and walk with your chest. It's like the whole...
I guess it's kind of more.
know.
I guess I took it more outside of like family. Like I have had advice from like parents
Yeah,
and
family.
and
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, none of it overly sticks out in like memory, but there would have been stuff where people were like, you know, focus on certain stuff like education. You get what I
Yeah,
mean? There's,
like-
you know,
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
But it's like I thought, yeah, I felt like that, yeah.
I feel like advice can be like for me, like for like example, like my mother and father, like my dad and my mom are two very different people. Like my mom, hers was always stand by your guns. That was something she always said to me. Always stand by your guns. And my father has, because my dad's been quite a crazy guy in his life, but his was always there's no friends in business, and it's such a cold statement. Like it's a type of thing I want to get tattooed. No friends in business, and always stand by your guns. You know, but it's such a.
I
cold
want to
two
get
different
one of mine
statements.
tattooed as
That's
well.
all.
I want to get Memento Mori somewhere. I like to
Memento
live.
Mori, oh.
I like to live by the fact that I know that I'm going to die. And it's so morbid, I know. But I
Cynic.
spoke to my stepmom about this, and she was like, "Really? That's a really." Like, she was very much like, "Why do you view life like that?" I'm like, "Well, it keeps me happy. It keeps me going." And my dad really likes the idea that I've constantly got that ongoing. I like to remind myself that I'm mortal because if I know I'm going to die, I should take the advantage of life. And okay, you know, I'll tell you what, right, Dan, me and Joe have answered this question pretty damn wrong. Have you got a quote that you would use as advice? Because you've got obviously Joe's. Mine would be, I prefer liberty with danger rather than peace with slavery, which is by a Swiss philosopher. So I can't really say that to my dad, but you know, go on. You got a quote in mind?
I can't think of one, but I would have tweeted. I have tweeted some before, but like it probably
Be like
got to
Dr. Zeus.
somewhere. But like, no,
Dr.
Green eggs
Zeus.
and ham.
you know when you like go through that stage where you're like trying to be motivational to other people, but you have no
Yeah,
motivation yourself. And you're like,
Yeah,
oh,
you
if
know,
I tweet
it's
this out, people are
you
gonna
got to
be
practice what you
unmotivated.
preach. You know, that's what you got to practice what you
But
preach.
I can't overly think of one, but I'm not the kind of person to listen to motivational quotes or stuff because I feel like that is just some kind of form of procrastination to some degree. Not for everybody. Like you listen to them, Joe, on walks and stuff.
Yeah. It's I
Which is
know what
fair
you mean
enough.
though, because it's I wouldn't just
But-
sit and listen to them for no reason. It's like when I'm in the shower
He
taking a
sits
bath.
in a room on his
going
own.
for it.
But
Just-
after
pitch
this sounds,
silence.
if I'm watching YouTube or a live stream or something, I always, I'm kind of a lot of channels are subscribed to like how to get better at YouTube channels, but also if
Yeah,
you're just watching a general
advice.
video, you can analyze and kind of work out like what that creator's doing, how they're keeping people's attention, like all different tactics they're using, and that's still kind of like education kind of research, right? Whereas like stuff like motivational quotes, it might be motivational, but
Yeah.
a lot of the time I haven't been motivated if I've tried to listen to some, or they don't stick in my mind. Maybe I just have bad
Yeah.
memory. Sometimes on live stream,
For-
I'm talking about a topic and
Well,
I'm
that-
like, wait,
yeah.
what did I just say?
Dementia. You ever say dementia? You ever say there's a
What?
moment where you have that you just forget everything. Yeah. What? You ever say what's going on? But yo, no. But Wait, where are we? You must say, God, everybody's all of a sudden dementia hits them. Right, I'll get on to the next question over here. That was a fair answer. You know what I'm
I
saying?
love the Forgotten Seven because it feels like we're flowing
bro,
like an episode.
Yeah, it's continuous, all right?
I did
let
warn
me
Joe
see
that I
here.
ran too much before he
It's fine. It's fine. Hey, that is
No, honestly,
what it is.
it's really good, but I'm still gonna
No.
meme it because I'm an arse.
Yes, yes,
That's
yes.
not a swear.
I
Right.
feel like me and Joe are a bad combination because we both talk too
We-
much.
yeah,
It's similar
that's
stuff,
it.
but we just
I
repeat
also
each other.
ramble a lot. It's just when the prime context of a conversation is
podcast.
Minecraft, I don't have much to say.
Yeah.
Apart from, hey,
Minecraft
block
isn't
game
important.
good, but company bad.
Block game.
Block
Right.
game, bro.
The next one is what, and obviously I feel like this one's a given. What is your absolute dream job?
Landlord.
Well, obviously
Sweet.
YouTube,
Yeah.
but it's difficult to know exactly what, because I feel like if you're just gonna do if I could just make content all day, that'd be sick. But I don't think it is a kind of a dream job. But I feel like after a couple of years, that would get kind of repetitive.
boring.
So
Yeah.
I feel like more it would be to help other people, help educate people what I've learned. But I'd have to find good people to educate. You know what I mean? Like help other people.
I think you. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
What Mr. Beast and people like that have also done, creating their own business, and the Sidemen creating their own businesses. Like the Sidemen has sides, Mr. Beast has Mr. Beast Burger with Shop Mr. Beast.
They even set up a
all of
Side
that.
Plus now as well, which is
And they sell like
consistent.
vodka and stuff. I'm pretty sure they
Yeah,
sell.
it's
Yeah,
alcohol
they're
and stuff.
selling, and they did a recent collab with the Mr. Men.
Wait, what?
I do not know what that one's about.
Do you not? Okay, right. Mr. Men X the Sidemen is a real thing.
What is that? What is Mr. Man? I'm confused.
Are you serious?
I've never heard it. Dan, do you know what
Are
this is?
you
I
joking?
I know like the books that like children's books.
Dude, Scottish people, bro. Right, okay. Hold on, is it actually primarily English? I'm gonna look at this.
I don't. Mr. Men? Did you say? Is this?
Go on with the topic and I've
What is
completely
Mr.
forgotten
Men?
what
I've
it
never
is.
heard of. Like this is unreal. I don't know what it is. Joseph's googling it. Yeah, your mic's off. You bloody spaghetti.
Shut up.
I
Right, okay. Mr. Men Wikipedia is a British series. Okay, it is English. That's probably why. Yeah, primarily English author Roger Havegrins. It's like I'm trying to explain it. It's like the little like I was gonna say little coloured people. That doesn't sound right at all. But it was a little like colourful a little like colourful how do I explain? They look like jelly beans, kind of, and they've just got,
Never
like
heard of
they
it.
would have like a random emotion or assignment like that. You got like Mr. Happy, Mr. Glum, and then you have like the little Miss Saga where it's all the women version. I can't believe
Right.
you've never heard of that.
Never
But
heard
they've
of it.
done it's a very English thing, so I assume that's why. But
Right.
the Sidemen have done a collaboration with them where they will have their own Mr. Man, and it's like a combination. You got like Mr. KSI and Mr.
Yeah.
Simon, so stuff like that.
Well,
It's-
I was.
There's a lot of stuff people do. U2s
Yeah.
or whatever the plushies.
YouTube's
YouTube's
is a
pretty
really
cool.
cool one, actually.
That one is.
Like,
That's pretty cool.
But I
Wait
would,
for the Catman Joe YouTubes. I'll buy that.
what I want to eventually
Sorry.
do, going back to the question, right? Because these are going to be quick fire, aren't they? So I'm going to try.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
keep on. I want to grow. I want to eventually be able to grow my own channel, brand, whatever you want to call it, to where I don't have to post content, but posting content is additional. So building up enough
optional,
tutorials
yeah.
and stuff to where the
Yeah.
tutorials will bring in revenue. Hopefully, side hustles and side stuff like stuff. Probably not to the scale of Mr. Beast or Sidemen, but like maybe one day. Hopefully,
This is why Joe has
Big.
so many channels,
But-
man.
But
Yes.
yeah, like just one day be able to kind of do this full time and not have to worry about views, but like
Yeah.
still post. I'd still
It's
post
just
it because
fun.
I love doing what I'm doing, so I'd still do it, but like not have to rely on that would be my dream job,
Yeah.
and also be able to do other stuff like maybe write books or something or other side hustles, maybe do my own podcast. I don't know. I'd probably like it'd be 5 hours each episode, but like that kind of thing.
That'd be
I'm
good.
the same
you know,
sort
so-
of way as well. I kind of want to branch out and do a load of different things, and it's something I'll probably want to speak about more in the future. But there's like my interests really vary. Like I really want, and this is really stupid, but I really want to train surf. Like I really badly want to train surf and like get a
Wait,
GoPro and
what?
go do that.
Oh,
But it's
train
very
surf?
illegal. Yeah,
I see.
It's like jump on the back of a carriage of a train and just go on that instead of like, and it'll be like a freight train. But I live in the middle of England, so every train is like a passenger train anyway. But just stuff like that. I feel like it'd be cool to have that variety of content. I feel like a lot of people kind of their demise and downfall is being stuck to one individual thing. That's
I
kind
think
of why.
what you've also got. I think what's getting more and more important for YouTube is obviously it is YouTube, and like a lot of people want to be a creator. But I think what's getting more and more important is diversifying yourself, which is why I said earlier about making maybe a second channel, Blind Man Dan, separate from VIPman, so that because if a creator dies off, like I'd still have another channel to fall off on, but like it wouldn't be related, but it would be related. Do you
Yeah.
get what I mean? Like side
Yeah.
stuff. like, I think that's one of the reasons the sidemen have diversified into so many different things, like the sides and that. Is that they said that they want to one day be able to sell that as separate from them, but like it's gonna be difficult because it's branded around sidemen and stuff.
That's
like,
it. Yeah, so it'd be
to kind of
difficult
set it off, you know.
Yeah. No, I get you. I was gonna say, like, when people say their dream job, a lot of people, like, obviously, of course, on the show they say YouTube, right? But like, I think YouTube sounds so broad. Like, you're kind of narrowing it down very much. Like, you don't have to. For me, I'd say entertainer. Like, that's why I'd say like the key word would be entertainer. But what do you mean? What entertainer? Entertainer, motivator, whatever. These are like dream jobs that I want to do. You don't have to be specific and saying what department. You could go anywhere. As an entertainer, you could do anything. I think that's what a lot of people want to do. I want to entertain. I want to inspire. I want to educate.
It's like me saying I'm an editor.
Like,
you know, it's the same concept.
Yeah, I get
you don't want to say YouTube because it's like, what, YouTube gaming? What do you do in YouTube gaming? Like, you vlogging, don't want to be, etc.
Don't want to narrow down your opportunities. But no, it's a fair answer, man. Fair answer. Well, the next one here is: are you a morning person or a night person?
There's no way this one could drive wrong.
Well, sometimes I go through like a couple of days where do you want me to drag this on just to prove you wrong? No, but some days I wake up early, and I feel productive when I wake up early sometimes. But often I find myself like just doing nothing at night and just like being up late, and then I'm like, I can record a video right now, but all my family is sleeping, so I can't really. And then like I wake up the next morning and motivation's gone. So a bit of both, to be honest, depending on the mood. And sometimes I just sit there lurking in Catman Joe streams for about 2 hours at night, and I'm like, what am I doing with my life?
Guess like 3 a.m. and he's like, oh my god, what is happening? God dang it, that's it. My stream is just takeaway time. That's what
this is. I try to quickly say that, like, to be productive personally, right? I have to get up early to then be productive at night.
I don't really get that.
I don't work, bro. My brain, it just doesn't do it.
I became very productive, because if I am, videos do terrible, and I might lose the productivity the next day.
So you got to try and like kind of even it out to where you're getting stuff done, but you're not going to be like as productive as you could do.
Anything,
no, of course, yeah.
It's a dangerous game.
I sometimes live stream when I have done nothing for like no videos, because I'm like, I need to produce some content when I need to get out of that habit of live streaming being like a cheap way out, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because that's a dangerous thing, man. I'm telling you, that's a dangerous. I've done it. Like, I've done it personally. At one point on YouTube, I think it was like last year at Christmas or something like that, I got so burnt out making content, I just started doing daily live streams, and it's like
stop at the same time.
It was like a repetitive thing. I was going, oh, I can't make a video today. Well, I'll just live stream, and it's like, whoa. That's a dangerous thing. Don't do it. Like, don't do that. You've got to focus on content, but you just get into the mindset where it's, it's still content, but it's not. It's not investment content or longevity content. It's just rocket content, and that's not what you want to produce if you want longevity on this platform. But going to the next question: what is the strangest habit you have? It's a bit of a weird one.
Some people have strange habits. I have a lot of bad habits, but.
Well, what's maybe the worst habit you have then? I guess
this could go very bad very quickly.
Well,
he robs old women at night. I'm just playing.
He has a hit list.
I eat way too much. Does that kind of count? Because then that makes me feel bad about myself, and then like become less productive because I feel bad about myself. Wake up late a lot when I should wake up earlier. I often just put stuff off too much. I mean, it's just general habits. I can't really think of any strange ones.
None of those are like. I mean, those might be like maybe not the best habits for like whatever they may be, like health or whatever. But like I wouldn't
ever had like a proper strange habit from people. You know,
I think we've had a couple.
I think my worst habit is probably also just being scrolling through social media a lot and being really
I think that's a habit a lot of people.
It is horribly addictive.
Because then it makes me feel like I've done nothing. Therefore, I stay up later trying to think to do something.
But then you'll convince yourself because you're like, well, I'm a YouTuber. You know, it's like I do.
I gotta look. Honestly, and this is what I hate about it. But like Snapchat, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, like all these things have so many ways you can just deep dive. Twitter, not so much for me, but especially things like YouTube Shorts.
Twitter,
you can just start watching one after another. But Twitter, like on YouTube Shorts, you just get in such a deep rabbit hole. You go in there at like 8 o'clock and then you come out at 9 going, what the hell? What happened? Like, where did time go? But it's just spending hours looking.
Do you get into that horrible habit where it's like before bed, you're like, you know what, I want to chill on social media before I go to sleep? And then,
I try not to.
Like, it's 1 a.m. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's dangerous. You got to do. I have to watch myself.
I was up till like 1 or 2 a.m. yesterday watching your stream. I swear I joined at like 11, and I'm like, where did?
Yeah, and it just time flies.
Same thing. I was like, you know what? I'll play Destiny. Joe calls me at like 50 past midnight, and he's like, hey, about podcast tomorrow. I join, and I'm like, oh god, I'm just playing Destiny, and then I check my phone to join the stream, and I just like, obviously I'm listening to Joe, and I'm like looking at the time, I'm like, oh my god, it's 2 a.m. Like, how is it 2 a.m?
It's like, oh god,
like, bro.
Okay, Twitch versus YouTube is something very interesting. But one thing that Twitch is was that on. I think that was on Twitch. One thing on one thing on Twitch that is really good is.
Oh, yeah, I flung him off there. Huh? Yes, I got him there.
No,
I flung him off.
One thing that's like Twitch is really good at is the channel points, to be honest, because they keep you watching. And you don't need, I haven't seen too many predictions, but just that number, that adrenaline that you get from your number of channel points going up.
Yeah.
It's addictive. Like, you know, I've watched some COD streamers recently, or a COD streamer recently, and they do bets if they're going to win a game or not, and that keeps me really addicted to their content. YouTube need that feature, like not through bots.
Definitely
like, need it through.
No, I think we actually. I'm not even playing. Like, imagine if like YouTube might be bringing the rating, like the ability to rate content creators, gift memberships. These are all great, right? But I'd love to see that as an addition. That would be awesome. Like, that'd be an actual really cool, like a little gimmick to be able to like have like, you know, like I'm just spitballing, VIP coin, you know what I mean, or VIP whatever, like some sort of like currency within your streams and within other streams that makes you can like entitled to want to stay there.
Some sort of like.
It would also make more interactive, and it would also make people. It would also make people want to watch streams rather than 24/7 streams that want to loop and absolutely terrible. Which
those are horrible. Yeah.
They'd want to watch actual creators who are actually interactive because they'd be getting a reward out of it to some degree.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I'm going on to the next question right now. We got, what is one thing we would never guess about you?
Well, I would have said the false eye thing, but I've already.
Yeah, I think that would have been.
I was thinking that when reading the script.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of up there.
That would have been smart.
But we've already talked about it. Or...
Yeah, so I mean, we can skip that. Well, that would have been a phenomenal answer. I can't lie though, but that one is really quite cruel. Like, honestly, the false eye thing is mad. But
I can't overly think of anything else.
Yeah.
To be honest. Not anything that good. No,
no, I get you. And this one here again, this one I'm saying is so mad because we spoke so much. I love this. We've really bonded here. We've had a great conversation. That's what I love so much about this. But we said so much. It's mad. Like, we've already answered a lot of the questions, right?
It's because like this you have topics in your I have topics in my mind that I want to talk about. I'm like, is this in here? And I'm like, well, I'll mention it here. Do you get what I mean?
And this, and we're on the same. Like, you've got the topics, and we already know. Like, we're like, all right, we're in the same boat. It's brilliant. So the last question, I mean, you're gonna be like, yo, exactly. We've already done this one. For the last question, the Forgotten Seven, have you ever had a nickname? If so, what is it?
Yeah,
Blind Man Dan, right?
Oh yeah, that's my Discord one.
That's it.
And I'd say any YouTube name's kind of a nickname to some degree. So
yeah.
I mean, people used to be a pain in school and say certain nicknames, and some people randomly, even on Discord and stuff, not on Discord, not like in a mean way, but like Discord, people say, you know, jokingly have nicknames and stuff. But I don't know.
I get you. Like, everybody has like some. I get called stinky by people in my streams. I don't know why. Somebody made it up. No, it sucks, man. Like, I smell good. All right. I just want to say this, and everybody calls me stinky. Everybody calls me. I don't know.
You are pretty stinky.
People call me it sometimes as well.
I don't get it. I'm like, yo, how do you know how I smell? I smell great. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
My parents used to call me Spud, and then more recently in college, I get called Viking. Lumberjack, because I wear like the checkered shirt things as well.
Oh yeah, like the checker shirt.
Yeah, and it's just like one of my mates coming to me. His name's George. He might watch this, so hi George if you're there. But he came up to me one day and he just went, "I wouldn't be surprised if in your spare time you fly back to Norway and chop down trees." I'm like, all right, cheers, I guess. It's like, you know, that to me is a great compliment.
No, fair enough.
Right. But we've kind of already glazed over this next question, so I'm not sure how much in depth we'll go into this because, you know, we've kind of spoke about this one quite, you know, thoroughly. But nonetheless, I'll go over it. You've got a pretty impressive Discord server with almost, 9,000 members? But we couldn't help but notice that you've had a few instances where you could say were a little hectic. People have accused admins and moderators of abusing power, and we wanted to know what were some of the struggles you've experienced when running such a big server.
I mean, there were a couple of staff members, one in particular that was overly strict, probably was a little bit abusive, but sometimes people just accuse that of no reason. Like, there was, you know, there are people try their best. People got to realize it's not like a paid thing they're doing.
No, it's just pure like to help.
Even though I no longer talk to this person, like, one of them looking back at it, I was a bit biased towards him and stuff. But in terms of like general struggles, it's like, I think it's just one of those things where it's very stressful to own a Discord. And the reason I say that is because, especially one like me, one like mine, because it's not focused around my channel. Like, people came from my channel, but they came for finding people to play Minecraft with mainly.
Yeah.
So I haven't got like a sense of like strong connection. So not everybody even knows who I am.
You're like a third party.
Yeah. They don't even know who I am necessarily, and they join and they join from my channel and they're like, "Oh, it's you," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's my Discord." So you know, it's like, that's a little bit of like not that's not a struggle, but it's like if I was to
Bit of a
reboot
kick in the
again,
face. It's not like a bad thing though. It's like
I don't know if I'd want to do the Discord again if I started. Like as I said earlier, I might one day get rid of it for a bit, take a break, even make a new one, come back with the same one but like different goals. But yeah, a lot of people ask how do you grow Discords. It depends if you want growth or if you want to have a good place. In my opinion, I've almost went too much towards trying to grow it early on, and not early on, but like in 2020 and stuff, and kind of regret that now. But also, I have met some cool people for it. A lot of people who the thing is, Discord, there's a lot of people leave, join, and stuff as well. And
it's like a constantly moving wave. It's kind of people coming in and going out. It's like a train station almost. That's kind of like what your Discord could kind of be looked at. It's a weird way of putting it, but like it's a train station. People come in, they meet new people, and they go they do whatever they wish.
There's
but
1,008 people. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine.
1,800 people banned from my Discord, right, or something like that.
Whoa, wow.
Discord need ban appeals to be able to manage that. I've got a ban appeal server, but people but I have to invite people to that myself, right?
So it's Discord, not exactly very, it's
Discord
not exactly
need
very good.
their own system to be able to appeal servers, because half of those people would probably be unbanned. Now, a lot of those people were homophobic, racist, or posting scandals. But there will be probably about 100 of those that maybe did stuff questionable in the past, but could get unbanned. You know what I mean? Like, or 50 of those. You know, not many people would care, but it'd be like some people. Because right now, I've only let people appeal who I obviously knew were a huge part of the community. But it's like, I'm sure there's other people there who kind of got caught up in like a bad day or something. And that is one of the struggles of running a Discord. Picking staff is honestly a huge struggle as well. Moderators, both for streams and for Discord, but moderators, helpers, admins and that kind of stuff. Because of trust issues, you know, previous bad situations, trust issues. I now have a helper role in the Discord. So right now, only one person can even ban on my server. I do sometimes have mods, but... yeah, I do sometimes have mods, but I don't have any right now because I don't have anyone to make a mod right now because I've got major trust issues at the moment because as we've discussed, you know.
No, I get you.
So I just have help.
I was just gonna say, sorry, I'm just laughing here because Joseph changed his name to join the TP Discord, and it really like I looked over and glanced. I don't know if you're looking at the screen, Dad, but I looked over and glanced as you explained it, and I'm listening to you, and then he just changed his name, and then he started smirking, and I started going, "What's he doing right now?"
I just kept seeing you like smile.
Like, I'm trying to like looking away because I'm like, "Oh my god, stop, man!" But no, man, didn't you say though, like you had one point where like all your not all your admins, but like mods, a lot of them trying to like revolt against you, like they were like, "No,
okay.
like
so
it was a riot."
Somebody. This is a difficult situation to explain because I don't know whether I made the right decision here. But somebody who I was like good friends with at the time, they were a helper on my Discord, right? And they posted something they shouldn't have posted in helper chat, right? They used a word that's like they shouldn't have used, but they didn't use it in
what
like
word?
It was a homophobic. It was like a homophobic.
I'm not familiar.
I'm not familiar. Go ahead.
It was a homophobic slur, but the thing is, they didn't know what the word meant, right?
Right. Yeah.
They weren't using it in a malicious way. They were using it in the sense of like, I don't like this person anymore, by the way, but I still stick by my judgment at the time. They weren't using it in a way that was like homophobic. They were quoting what somebody else had said because they need a mod to ban the person. They should have screenshotted it, right?
Yes, as opposed to saying
all the mods at the time, like basically. Some of the mods brought it up in a private chat that we have with a lot of people, and then eventually in the public chat. So those two, well, one of them was a mod at the time, one of them was the next mod, kind of like a friend. So they got banned. Then because they brought it up, and I asked them once to not bring it up ever again, you know, because it's one of those things where, like, out of context, it would make it sound like I'm a bad person.
Definitely,
I'm sure now that you know.
Is that the word?
Is what? What's made from?
It also is one of those.
What?
It shares the same name, the same slur.
I've got no clue. I don't. Dan, do you get it? I don't.
Because that's how I understand that word, and I feel like they could have referred to that.
My point is like no, they were quoting somebody else.
They're like adamant on it then.
They quoted somebody else who said it in the chat in a home.
Yeah, they weren't saying it themselves. They're just trying to tell the mods, hey, someone else done it.
They were trying to sell a mod that somebody else did it, but they used it rather than screenshotted.
Yeah, which is a bit of a mistake.
In my opinion, it was a mistake, but it wasn't they should be banned or they should
no.
It was like a learning curve, you know. If they do it
again, you just say, hey, don't do that. Take a screenshot next time. Yeah.
Then they looked up what the word meant and they were horrified. And I was like, well, even though I don't like this person now, back then I was like, well, I was actually on a break for a week on Discord at the time because like I was more active than am now, but I did take a break for a little bit, and that's when it was discovered. I was in chat at the time, but I think because of my bad eyesight, I didn't notice they said it. If I did, I would have like pointed it out straight away. You know, this isn't a staff chat. They said it, by the way, and I would have pointed it out straight away. But like I was on a break at the time, and somebody was admin. They weren't the best of admins, but they've been a long term like friend and stuff. And I was like, you know,
you don't want to lose that.
So I let them. They had it for like a week or so, and they handled the situation. And they decided not to ban the person. So I was like, well, fair. They've made that decision. I didn't want to go back on that. And also, I think they made the right decision not to ban the person. It's funny because that person who was admin at the time ended up being one of the people that then started breaking rules. When they got promoted from admin as well, and then all their friends.
Oh, it's like a way of being spiteful.
Like, you literally made the decision. Why is everyone hating on me for this? You know, but
yeah,
it's like,
you're just enforcing it.
But then a lot of people misunderstood the situation, I think, and thought that I just banned all my old friends and mods, and it was really difficult to ban them all, like when they gradually were breaking rules. But I had to
that's
for the
it.
server.
You don't want to ban anybody, but it's like if they're breaking the rules, you got to acknowledge that. Oh, right,
People can learn from mistakes, right?
Yeah, of course.
It is my philosophy and my thing. One of them hasn't because they still think they didn't do anything wrong. In my opinion, they did. Like I'm not unbanning that person. If they were to apologise to me, I'd unban them probably. Yeah. Right. But they've got to grow. As I said, I feel guilty for banning them, but they did like make a huge deal out of it.
I think like you said,
selfless again, you know.
Yeah, I like you said it like me as well. They're kind of the same. Like we're too nice. But I think I feel like there's no such thing as being too nice. But it's like it's kind of is one of those things.
If they appeal or ask them to be unbanned or get friends, I'd probably do it if they apologise.
Yeah,
there is definitely there's no such thing as being too nice, but there is consequences for being too like.
Yeah, people often use people that are too nice. That's the issue. Like that's why there's so many people that aren't as nice because people get used when they're nicer, and that's kind of what sucks. You can be too nice to someone, but there's no such thing as that. It's just you're trying to be like a gentleman, trying to be nice or just trying to be chill.
The server got strict. The server got strict quite a lot because a lot of people were breaking rules deliberately because there was a whole a lot of people were hating on stuff. People were making ults and stuff to hate on stuff. And stuff. So the staff are going to get more stressed and then more strict.
More quick. Yeah. They're going to get more kind of hot-headedy with it.
Realistically, there was this one. They were a helper at the time. They were a friend, and then I ended up. I did end up dating them for a little bit, which was a mistake. They dumped me in the end, but then looking back at it, I was probably too biased towards them, even though I wasn't dating them at the time when they. But then at the same time, I don't think I should have banned them if they said a word once in helper chat that they didn't mean to deliberately say. I don't know. Yeah. It's a difficult situation, but I think no matter what, I would handle it the same way. But people thought that I was being biased towards them because eventually I started dating them. But that was after all the other people got banned because I had no one to talk to. I talked to them a lot, you know. And
yeah, of course.
I don't know if I count that as really a real relationship or not because it was online, and in my opinion, online relationships don't really count. It would have kind of been my first relationship, but I don't really count.
That's definitely a topic for another.
That's another. Do online relationships count? I think it's
let me rephrase that. Online relationships count if they're serious, but like.
All right. Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Like people meet through like Tinder meet in real life, it's fine, but it's just completely online. Do you get what I mean?
I get you.
I'm not saying I guess it counts, but it's like
don't say this around Joe. His Roblox girlfriend will be so upset. It is not even funny.
My point is maybe I was biased towards them later on, like maybe
because you have care for them.
Stuff. But to begin with, when that situation happened, we were just friends, and I wasn't. Do you get what I mean? I think I made the right call there, even though I think so. Friends, it's like
Sometimes that's what it is, man. You know, like that. You know, that's what it is. It
Emotions takes more cloud judgment.
Yeah, they can. You know what I'm saying, but it takes a lot of.
I don't think that did because I didn't really handle it. One of my friends, the person that was admin at the time, was mainly handling it. But also, I don't think. I don't know. It's a difficult situation. I thought I'd bring that up in case anyone mentioned it somewhere.
I get you.
They weren't completely transparent, but I wasn't dating them at the time.
Yeah, I get you, bro.
And I'd still react to it no matter who it was, you know.
In the same kind of way. Yeah.
Maybe they were a bit too strict, and I should have been a bit harsher on them. But
I mean, it's in the past, you know.
But that's in the past. You got to learn from it, you know.
Exactly. Water under the bridge in the past, you learn from it. That's what it is, man. You know. And I'm sure you have.
Wait, was this still going to be one of the quick questions, or do we?
No, we're off that right now.
Quick questions by script standard.
And that's by. Wait, this one right here. This is another main question because there's only a couple more. Don't worry, we're almost at the end of it. But this one right here is the next one after this, as Joseph's last, and it'll be mine, right? So this is mine. I feel like I'm one of the few YouTubers who kind of, again, pardon this when I say it, but gets around, so to speak. It makes friends with almost everyone, or at least tries. Thankfully, way back in 2019, when Minecraft Battle for the PS4 was still not released, I heard about you because you were making such similar content to me, and we were both in the same kind of, I guess, community in that kind of sense. And, thankfully we started speaking, and since then we've become, at least in my own opinion, relatively good friends, in my opinion, which, in this line of work, I'm sure you definitely would agree, and I'm sure we've already kind of acknowledged, is really difficult to find, because not everybody is really with that. Not everybody is there to be friends. They're there to just take from you. And like it says here in the script, you meet people who seem nice at first, but inherently are just out to get you. They want to take what they can take and go. I'm reminded of a quote, and this is something actually I genuinely heard, and I got told from an arrogant content creator that I once met. And he stole a bunch of my ideas after I shared them with him. We done like what you said, brainstorming, and it's one of those things why I very rarely nowadays do brainstorming with people that I don't know or that I'm very new to knowing, because they often will just take your ideas. And I remember the one quote he said, and it's a dog eat dog world, and it's such a disgusting quote that I genuinely despise to this day. But I'm mentioning all this because you said multiple times you have genuine trust issues, especially with viewers and fellow content creators, due to past experiences, rightfully so. And I was wondering if you could share some of those experiences with us on the podcast, without obviously, of course, naming names unless you want to.
I kind of alluded to a lot of these earlier on.
Earlier on. Yeah, this is it. Yeah.
So I don't want to repeat myself there, realistically.
No.
But
Yeah.
mainly those kind of things. Also, just in general with like trust issues with staff on like Discord.
Yeah.
I hate the word staff, but like moderators and helpers and stuff. On
Yeah,
staff makes it sound like they're paid, but you know what
admins,
I mean.
woman. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
All of those different people. I just, I feel like I've explained a lot of the stuff with like my friends and stuff. It's just difficult. There'll be situations that I'm forgetting here, and there'll be stuff that more so because I had trust issues even like a couple of years, ages ago. But it's just one of those things where I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like sometimes I'm too trusting, and maybe I'm too much the other way now. But also like I've had so many bad experiences in a row at the moment. It's like
it's a real shame because sorry to cut you off, bro. It's a real shame where it's like, because of those bad experiences and those bad individuals, just dropped something, well done.
My bad,
but
man,
because
literally all the cables just ripped out. I'm fixing it.
Oh my god, big break. No worries, man, no worries, dude. But because of those few or those bad experiences that you've had, it could potentially make you lose out on some great opportunities. I'm sure you'd agree. Where it's like you could be not far away from meeting someone who's another amazing content creator like myself. But like that you could work with fantastically. You know what I'm saying? And it's just because of those experiences that could somewhat cloud your judgment with that, or kind of make you a little bit more harder to work with them. Because it's like it is one of those things I totally understand.
It's difficult. There's I can't speak. Like even back a couple of years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago, there was a YouTuber that like I was trying to like be nice. I don't know how many subscribers I had at the time. Let's just say I had 2,000. They had like 250. Like there was a big sub gap, but like but like not like. In my opinion, I work for the philosophy that subscribers don't matter. Subscriber counts don't matter.
No, it's just a number.
Now I'm kind of a little bit more like I don't focus on subscriber count, but I focus on.
They are important as well, kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's like you're not all the way there with it, but like you acknowledge that there is an importance with it. Like there's a level of respect you obtain with that as well.
But this person I this person was like really up for starting a Minecraft Let's Play series, right? And I never did Let's Plays. I think I had one solo Let's Play before, but like that kind of failed and ended. And I was like, you know what? Let's try a Let's Play with a couple of YouTubers. So it was me, this other guy, one or two of my viewers / friends. I can't remember how many people actually joined in at the end, but it was great for the first episode or two. And this guy was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. And he was the owner of the world because he was like said he was really committed to it. And then we just couldn't do the series anymore because he was owning the world. I'm like,
so it was like on console. Was it like so when he left, you can't go in it? It's not right. Oh my god!
To find people that are committed like that, I'm sorry to break in, but I feel like it's so hard to find people who actually commit to things. I remember a while ago, right? I wanted to start like a group channel. I really wanted to expand my horizons. I wanted to do some stuff with some people I know IRL because I feel like there's such a benefit from knowing people, like in person. Just because you can actually formulate ideas, their chemistry a lot more when it comes to personal stuff. And we had this idea, we were getting art made, etc. We had ideas, we had footage, we had a whole video basically nearly edited, etc. But it was so hard to get the other person involved. Like I go to college with her, her name's Morgan. She honestly amazing person, but the commitment to something like that and the passion for it wasn't as strong as it was when it came to like my ability to do so.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's just when it comes to this, man, it is so hard to get everyone on board with an idea because everyone has their own ideas. That's
everybody
why
has their
I'm
own ways of executing.
So in love with the podcast because it works, and it's the same passion, etc. it's such a rare occasion. So finding the right people is definitely a struggle.
It's hard, but it's worth it. When you find the right person to
Oh,
work
yeah,
with and
definitely.
whatnot, especially in collaborations and whatnot, it's fantastic. Like, me and Joseph obviously here. I mean, not only both our birthdays are in January. We're both called Joseph.
That's what it is. Man. It's
That's
some
what
fucking
it is. It's the
stuff.
chemistry.
Oh, no.
It's meant to be.
Good
But no,
damn.
it's brilliant.
Breathing.
Like it is. It's brilliant. I got you there, man. But like it's brilliant, man. We work so well together. We've known each other for what 5-6 years, Joe. Like it's been a long time now, man.
Yeah,
Since
around
you were
6,
what,
7-ish years. I know.
since you were
I think
a
it
little
might be
baby
6.
Joe, you must say.
I know.
And I
with
was young
Christina,
man
it's
Joe.
like 7-8 years, so it must
Yeah.
be something like that.
And
very
it's
soon.
we got history, and that's what I love about it. We work so well together, but it's hard to find out on YouTube. It really is. But if you do keep the doors open, even partially, you can, and it's great when you can find someone that you really bounce off well with, whether with ideas or working with them in general. It's fantastic. It's
Or
good when you
both.
can have people like that. Yeah, or both, exactly.
Speaking of ideas, right? We do our digging here on the podcast, and I just
Next question.
a little birdie told us that you used to actually have a vlogging channel. That was apparently your first ever appearance on YouTube. What's the story behind its creation and what happened to it?
When you say you did a little bit of research, you just somehow search on Discord, or but yeah, I mean,
Tight lips. Tight lips. Loose lips. They sink ships down. We
Okay,
can't
What's
answer that
Discord,
question.
bro?
I don't
know what
even
that
know. Never heard of that.
Is that a bird or something, man?
2 channels before this one, I just had my first YouTube channel. I used to do Talking Tom videos and vlogs, right? So I showed
Talking
just doing
Tom?
yes, that cartoon, like that app.
Yeah, I
The
know
cat?
exactly what you're on
Yeah.
about. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know
Like,
exactly
with
what
the
kind of
cat?
content
Like the
you're on
app, the
about.
Talking Tom
Yes.
cat.
This was like in 2009, 2010.
Dad, how did you even make content with that? What did you do? You were saying like
One of
It
my
was
friends went-
revolutionising the
one of
game.
One of my friends got me into it. He had a video of like 20,000.
Got you into it.
No, they had a video.
There was a community behind Talking Tom.
Dad, you gotta make it. This is actually, man. You gotta tell us more now. Hold on.
He had a YouTube video of like 20,000 views called like Talking Tom Goes to School or something. I'm not kidding. I can't remember what it actually is. I don't know if it exists anymore. But he got me into it, and I had a video that did fairly well. And we also did like random shows. I had a series where I compared light bulbs to other light bulbs. There's actually only one episode.
What?
just in real life.
What?
You know, I used to be
You had a
crazy.
light bulb
Bear in mind,
review
I was
channel.
I was like a kid back then, right? But anyway, that
My
was
God.
the channel.
Are these videos still accessible, by the way?
I
As in,
deleted
like,
it.
oh,
that channel was fully deleted. And then after
Oh,
that, I had
man.
a gaming channel, which was like it wasn't really very organized. It was just like post let's plays, post this, that. And then I made the VIPmanYT channel, which from day one I tried to take it more seriously a little bit. Like, of course, I've learned a lot over the years, and you think you're good at something when you do it, but then like you
Yeah.
progress and get a lot better.
And then you look back and go, I could have done that better. Yeah.
But this channel is way better than that channel. And then somewhere I showed my face on the second channel as well. But somewhere on this VIPmanYT channel, I was like, okay, I want to make another channel. I want to name it. It was called VMD, which stood for VIPman Dan, because I was like me, you know.
Right, yeah.
And I didn't really do many good videos though, because I feel like it was a lot more of a hobby, and I feel like people weren't really that interested in them, and I just decided to eventually take them down. I don't know why. I think I've probably deleted it again, which I probably shouldn't have. I have the middle channel up still, but none of the videos are public. But yeah, the vlogging channel is like I went to Greg's, which is like a restaurant in the UK. Like
I know what
really
Greg's
nice
is. You're
little-
saying we know what
We're
Greg's
all in
is.
the UK.
Bro,
You
gonna
guys
love the
don't know
sausage
what
rolls,
that-
boys. You gotta love the
Okay, so-
sausage rolls.
Greg's is overrated.
I
Whoa.
don't really like. I'm not. I mean, Greg's hit me up with a brand deal, but like I don't go to Greg's. But the sausage
This
rolls
is just
are-
your brand deal day, man.
That's
I want.
You know what?
brand deal.
Here you go. Here you go. We get
Yeah.
some Monster.
Hey,
What else do you want?
Pepsi.
Lynx
We'll get some
Africa, you know,
Pepsi.
You know what? Anybody, give me a good. I love how I'm saying.
Don't
this, I
drink
have
the
no
second
way,
one.
I have no way for brands to actually be able to contact me. But any brands, if you want to hit me up, you know where I am. I'm down.
Raid Shadow Legends.
They pay people like $9 grand, don't they? I'm down.
Yo, would that be Oh god.
The most
Jack.
ambitious RPG game on the App Store. Over
RPG,
4,000
LMG,
playable
FPS,
characters.
DMD. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all good now.
AFK Arena.
Sorry, just detours.
Can't wait for
Dad's
Jay
sitting
to
like-
do this.
Dad's sitting there like, what? I'm sorry.
If this actually
Oh, yeah.
gets us a brand deal, I'll be so happy.
Hell yeah.
So
All
yeah, well,
three
I'll
of
be
us.
launched a vlogging channel if I get a good enough brand deal.
Yes.
But no. That channel I went to Greg's once, went to a shop as well, and it was just like revolutionary content. Bear in mind, literally like 1 or 2 people remember this nowadays. Probably. There's only one guy that I know that used to watch that, and it's because he made my channel up for this channel and also.
Oh,
for
did
that
he?
Channel. But yeah, there's a guy who made my art for free. He's a cool dude.
That's good of him,
well,
man.
ish.
Yeah, we're good friends, man.
But I mean, people have their ups and downs. I'm not going to go into details, but there's
yeah,
been
yeah.
situations. But he was cool, and now he is cool again. He just, everybody goes through stages where
Yeah.
Anyway, shout out to that guy. Connor,
Yeah.
you're cool. I'm gonna name him because I'm friends with him.
Hey.
Oh my god, he
knows
knows people. Damn.
Online. No, not in real life. Online.
Oh, I'm convinced like half the people you speak about are like potatoes with googly eyes on or something.
That's what I was just...
No,
rocking
these
in
are
the
all the,
corner.
I can name some of these people.
What was that
off
about?
The podcast. I just don't want to name drop like YouTubers and stuff.
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah.
Because it's like, even though if someone took something the wrong way, they'd be like,
Yeah, yeah. You
Oh,
can,
I'm all
you
for
can,
it.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
Joseph's all for the
people know who
drama.
I'm talking about realistically.
Yeah, if they look into it,
just
like they will. But
accusation,
you're not actually directly saying. So I mean, it's not like you're actually directly sending anything their way. You wouldn't in general, but it's not you are. You know, like I think that's what it is. But no, man, it's go ahead. Sorry, continue.
But yeah, there's just it's one of those things where, yeah, I don't know if I'll ever do another vlogging channel again. As I said earlier, quite like to do one with a little bit more structure and purpose. But
Yeah.
that one was literally just fun. I vlogged in the car. Well, I didn't drive because I can't drive because I'm blind, but also it's too young at the time. But you know, like yeah.
Oh, fair enough, man. Fair enough, bro. Well, we were kind of intrigued, obviously, because we heard about it. And I was like, wait, there was a vlog channel? Like,
This
hold on a
was a couple
second.
of
I remember
ago.
reading
This
from
must
the
have been
script
years
this
ago.
morning and seeing that question, being like, huh.
Ah, I see. This
Also
is what it was.
faceless afterwards.
I had a Minecraft news
Ah.
channel for about two days as well with one of my friends, and then that flopped.
Honestly, if only you had the videos, but unlisted, like not to show anybody, but just for yourself. Cause I think it'd be awesome for the memories.
The only videos I have, like I only have one of my other gaming channel unlisted, and honestly, some of that stuff's weird. I did a parody of pretending I was Stampy in Stampy's Lovely World.
Oh,
I did a
God
video
dang.
of me doing a diamond rap song. I mean, you know, there was just class content back on.
I
that
don't know
channel.
if I love it or hate it, but I've got pretty much every video I've ever made ever on unlisted.
I've got all my.
I'm going to use it in a future documentary that I'm building up to do. But man, this is going out to anyone that's watching this. If you've made stuff, man, don't ever delete it.
No.
There's no point.
I regret deleting the. I don't know if the vlog channel didn't last very long, so I don't overly. But the first channel I ever did, I kind of regret deleting. But bear in mind, I was a lot younger back, like a lot younger back then, and it's like I didn't really know about unlisting stuff probably, or not as well. You know, I didn't know about. You learn from stuff. I wouldn't delete anything nowadays that I do.
Yeah.
I'd probably just. I think you can even hide channels on YouTube, so no one can see the content.
You can. That's right. You can. You can kind of like shut down the camera. Yeah, you can kind of shut it down and hide it, but like it's not deleted. But like no, I mean I'm thankful. Like I've been making content since I was 9 or 10 years old. I started with my dad's YouTube channel, right? And I started with that. That was before I could even make a channel. And then 2013, I made Catman Joe 2013, which is still existing. But that's a Catcast channel once it started. But like that's got all my content up for me back then. My
sure
vines,
I saw an old
everything.
video of yours somewhere. On
Yeah, it was on it.
It said in the description it was like members only or something.
That was it. Yeah,
I was like,
it was public. Yeah, no, but it was on list as but yeah, I've been doing YouTube for years, and it's nice so we can see that. Like I've got vlogs of me when I'm 13, 14, 15, 16, growing up, and it's mad to hear because like my accent, for example, like people hear my old like how it used to sound because you know the Scottish, and they go, "Oh, you don't sound the same." I say, "Well, that's just because I've got rid of it." Yeah. But I get people like, because I don't sound like friends of mine that are Scottish or anything like that, because I've worked very hard to try and kind of bury the accent a little bit. Not to bury it, but...
missing about
Commentary does kind of remove accent a little bit the more you speak about things.
Yeah.
It kind of depends on the accent, I guess.
It also, I hang a lot, I do hang a lot, like hang around a lot with Americans and obviously English people. So it's like, the Scottishness in me has kind of gone a little bit like, I've tried very hard.
Till like 7 a.m, so you have to hang around with Americans.
That's what it is. I've got to hang around time zone with them. That's what it is. I'm nocturnal.
That's how I was for a while. I speak to a lot of Canadians, a lot of Americans, etc. And it's weird because you really do take on their lingo and stuff like that as well. Like, beforehand, I would never say the word brother, but I've got a Canadian... my mate Jake, he says it all the time, and I say it every now and then, like, right, brother. It doesn't work with my accent, but it's just so constant.
I like
but
it.
It's funny.
I had one of my fathers, right? My dad's very Scottish, right? My dad's he sounds very Scottish. He's quite broad himself. But one of his friends called Davey, God bless him, he came down and he was like, Stevie, Joseph sounds English. And he was like, what? He genuinely like took an issue to it. And no, that's how he was. He's like, oh, Joseph sounds English. He doesn't sound right. Why did he sound like that?
You do, like, I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't have known. I did know you were Scottish because I watched your stream.
Yeah.
Stuff, but I wouldn't have probably guessed straight away.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like, you're welcome to the stream. How you doing? Like, you know, it's not like this kind of bro, you know,
because
like that.
I remember first ever joining Joe's World back when I was like 13 and hearing a bit of a Scottish accent, like a lot more.
Yes.
And
yeah, it's
that's how I
now.
knew.
It's
funny. I love that sort of thing.
That's like my mother and my father. Obviously, I've heard it. My mother says you sound very international. That's the word that she uses. She's like you sound English and you
Mr.
sound
Worldwide.
American. That's what it is. You know, I want to sound
But
very, very.
I've always
professional.
been
Good though, 'cause
told
you
that
don't
I
have a
still
very
sound
strong
very English. So.
That's what it is. Yeah, it's. I just it's the Scottishness. I found it was an issue for making content because people took issue with the rate like that I speak for one, but also with the fact that my accent. It made it even more difficult for people, especially across the seas, that don't speak English and like Spain or whatever, to really understand what I was saying. So I went, I've got to try and get rid of this as much as I can, and I have suppressed it. It's not because I don't love being Scottish. I love my heritage. I love
He
who I am.
resents it. He hates it.
But it's one of those things where it's just that I know the Scottish language is beautiful and the accents are lovely, but they can be often a little bit too broad and a little bit too much for some people. And with this, I sound much more calm and collective and polite and cuddly and friendly. But as opposed to, oh, Kai, how you doing, wee man? Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Kind of like it's just a bit. Well,
I still love to watch you do a stream.
yeah, no, it's honestly, if you watch my younger content from when I was 13, I sound like that, like because I grew up in Edinburgh in Scotland, one of the capital, maybe, but depending with Glasgow. But at the end of the day, where I grew up, that's how everybody sounded, and it's just that's kind of
the
gone now,
interesting
though.
thing I like about this, and I know we've spoken about this a few times, and we want to bring them on the podcast. But I really like the it's a really weird thing, but I really kind of enjoy the little conflict between like the elder English and the elder Scottish, because like
Yeah.
your dad's been a bit like, oh, the English, and my dad's been
My father
I
has a
love
thing
that.
where he's like, oh, all the English, I don't like them, and I'm like, yo, I've got dozens of friends. Who are
Yeah,
English,
like
don't say
my
that.
dad's the same with the Scottish. He's
Yeah,
like, oh, yeah,
and
I
it's-
don't mind the Scottish.
It's a
but
weird
some
thing,
of them are a bit, yeah.
weird mentality.
It's
Then there's the
like-
Irish and the Welsh that are just sitting there hating the English
Can we
as
all
well. You know what I'm saying?
universally just like gang up on the Welsh or
The
something?
Welsh,
Like,
get the Welsh,
yeah.
get them,
Get
them
out,
I'm
man.
saying, get them.
What are you doing?
Get out of here,
Hugging
get out.
onto our island.
Bruh, you were saying, no, I'm just playing. But all right, well, for our last question with you, Dan, sadly, it's a good question, but it's our last question with you, Dan. Excuse me, God darn. We wanted to ask, we need to talk about kind of how you built this sort of VIP man brand, if you want to call it that, around being the Minecraft YouTuber who listens to you. But is being the YouTuber who listens to you getting harder as you grow? And what are some of the things that you've had to do to stay close with your viewers and community?
I've honestly, I took that branding off of like my Twitter. It's still on my YouTube banner right now.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gradually gonna go away from it because I think what some people think is like because I say I listen to people, which I always do. I used to read every single comment. Nowadays it's like
It's much more
sometimes
difficult.
It's, like, more difficult. I still read a lot of them, but I don't.
It's
always read
time.
them all.
Yeah.
But people kind of think, okay, you listen to me, so if I suggest something, you've got to do it. That doesn't mean I'm gonna do
No.
it. I listen to
Yeah.
feedback, but it doesn't mean I have to do the feedback.
No.
And it's one of those things where like it is sometimes getting difficult. Sometimes there's not many comments, and I could possibly still do it. Like I've tried recently, and I see you reply to a lot of your comments. And I'm like, oh, maybe I
yeah.
should, maybe I should reply to them more. Like you sometimes.
But it takes hours.
Stories where you do ages and hours and hours. of doing
Yeah.
it. But I'm like, I sometimes think I'm like, what is this realistically going to do? I might gain
Yeah.
like 5 new subscribers
Of viewers, 'cause if- yeah, you've- yeah.
comment. But I feel like I could make content and get
That
a
would
lot
pull
more
that in
viewers than
quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing.
You
That's
know.
kind of the issue with it. Like being the person that listens, because I mean, me and you both, that was one thing we definitely had in common at the beginning was like, and still now, is that we both are quite, there with our community. I read all my comments on my streams. I read all my comments in general if I can. I'm very with my community. I'm very there. You are as well, of course. But it's one of those things that there's always that kind of confusion where it's like, also people start to get the mindset that because you reply to them and you speak to them and you give them that, that acknowledgement that you're friends with them. And I don't want to say I'm not, but it's like I've had people message me on PlayStation, and I remember, no joke, my original PlayStation account, Catman Joe 2000, right, got permanently suspended, got banned, and it was because I spent a whole weekend, 4 or 5 days, genuinely every single minute of the day, messaging people back, about 500 or 600 messages backed up, messaged
And that's
everyone
always
back.
viewed as like suspicious activity.
Yeah, and I got
for some
banned, and it was. But the thing was, is that people, they start getting the mentality, especially younger kids, that you're friends with them, and it's like I respect you and I thank you so much for being a part of my community, and you're a good guy. I'm sure you are a good person, But like that doesn't mean we're friends just because we speak. But they get that kind of
Oh, it
relationship. Like,
reminds
how's your
me
day
of
going?
that-
And when I ask you things,
What was that video? There's a video recently that was put up by, I believe, the Dream Team. And I think
Right.
other YouTubers have said it, especially within Minecraft communities. But they're like saying, we don't know you. We are strangers. We are here to
Yeah.
make content. We don't know you.
But it doesn't mean
etc..
we're like.
And
we
people
know
take
us.
that really offensively. But
Yeah,
it is
when it's
true.
not meant like that.
it's
I
not a
think
bad
it's too,
thing at all.
I think it's too easy to get not involved in
Connected,
kind of
yeah.
connected
Attached.
to even though from the point of view of me, like there's a couple of people on Discord who have had like I don't want to. I'm trying to think. Of
Yeah.
way. They've had like
Yeah.
mental health issues or really bad situations happen, which is a shame. Because I'm so selfless, I try and help them.
Be there for
looking
them,
back
yeah.
at it, I shouldn't as much, but it's like I don't
That's
want to
who
be
you
like
are.
it doesn't. But
That's-
it's who
yeah,
I am.
yeah.
But it's also like hurt me quite a lot myself because I feel down because of them feeling.
Because of
Does
them,
that
yeah,
make
it kind of like
It's like
their energy comes back to you, and it kind of, if you're feeling good, it tears you down, or it makes you start thinking about other things that are negative, and it's not really good for
Or
your mental
somebody will
health.
be like annoying me on Discord, but I won't want to ban them because it's losing an active member, or I won't want to
Yeah,
warn them. It's like, well, I should. Do you know what I mean? It's like
yeah,
it's difficult. Obviously, like, because to some degree, like, I've tried to help people with like mental health and stuff, but in my opinion, if you're struggling really badly with mental health, it's
get
hotlines
professional help.
out there.
Yeah, get
Help.
professional help.
Also, don't be on
YouTube
social media.
YouTubers and content creators can't realistically help you with that kind of
No,
stuff. Not well in a way. Like some
no,
might
they can try, but yeah, it's.
Like
I've had
one of these,
people. Sorry.
one or two of these people were really good friends. One was like a recent mod of mine as well, and I hope he still sees me as a friend. Like he's still cool, but it's like I just can't help him. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I get you.
You're
I mean,
not
I've had people.
obligated to fix or help anyone. Ever,
No,
especially
no.
online.
I've
But
had
I know
people join
he
streams
doesn't
though.
think
Oh, sorry.
He doesn't think I am either. But like my
Right.
point is like the whole branding and the whole kind of
That kind of people. Yeah,
yeah. I feel bad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I've had people join streams, and sometimes it's just for attention, but sometimes it's kind of concerning. And when people join, especially back in the day when I was new to it, people go, "Oh, I'm wanting to kill myself." I was like, please don't say that. Like, not on a Minecraft stream. Listen, I'm not. I like. What do you say to that? You know what I mean? Like when people are dealing with something like that, it's like we want to help people. We're trying to entertain them, and I love to use the word distract. That's what I love to do. I want to distract people from what they're dealing with. I want to get them to switch away from it. But
who's being
genuine and who's just looking for attention or just trying to get like some sort of acknowledgement.
It's so
Get a free
weird how
invite.
people do this sort of thing. I remember a while ago, I think it's like 2-3 years ago now, which is bizarre because I remember it like yesterday. Remember, I think it was one of Joe's friends or someone within Joe's community, or not. It might have even been a random person. I can't remember. Started contacting me about their self-harm.
I remember,
and I remember telling Joe about this.
That was right,
and
yeah.
then Joe went and dealt with it, like,
Yeah.
Big Brother vibes, I guess. But like, I don't understand why that happened, and I'm kind of glad Joe took over. I'm very grateful for that because I've got someone very close to me that has had a problem with self-harm. So I'm not a very emotional person when it comes to that sort of thing. It's like I don't want to speak about it.
No.
So that was quite a nice release, but I don't understand why people reach out to random people. Like, I guess it's because it's anonymous and it's a real person.
Yeah.
It's but it's like, man, I'm sure there is someone you can speak to in general. There's never no one, and if there really is no one, then you contact a phone line.
Yeah, if you're dealing with something really deep, whether it be mental health issues or genuine thoughts of suicide, YouTubers, as much as we love and care about we all can say this right here right now. I do care about my viewers. I do care about the people in my community, and I'm sure Dan does.
You're all very
Joseph
optimal.
That's what it's. But like it's we want to be there for you, but there's only so much we can do. We all have our own issues, and I think people. This is why we love to get people in the show, Dan, especially why we love to get you on, man, because we want to separate VIPmanYT to Dan, the guy behind it, because they're two different people. They're not the same person. You might work very much with that character, but you are a person. You've got your own issues. You've got your own things, your own aspirations, your own goals. People need to remember that sometimes, that you're a guy. You're just trying to you're just trying to be ambitious and do what you want to do. You've got your own goals, your own aspirations, and you can't always help other
I always
people.
like to say that you have a personality and you have a character.
Yeah, I think like for me, like I love, like I've said this before, and people sit and actually speak to me. Like right now on the podcast right now, I'm quite upbeat and quite happy, and I normally am like this. But when you really sit and speak to me quietly, I'm quite a quiet guy. I like lo-fi. I like to sit and just chill with lo-fi on and sit quietly and just work my own space. I like my own comfort. Like I like my own zone. But I like being energetic. Like being my thing is I want to be entertaining. I want to entertain people and inspire them and motivate them and get them feeling like there's an energy there. But the thing is, at the end of the day, we all are, especially on YouTube, there's a character there. There is proper people behind it. And like Dan said earlier on, it's hard to tell if those people are good people or bad people.
It's like a enhanced version of their personality.
Yeah.
Almost,
I've got like a, I don't know, I've got like a, this is like an example, right? So, now this isn't the person I was just talking about, the friend who's like the ex-mod who's currently going through stuff. Like, I'm not going to mention their stuff because I'm still talking to them sometimes, and, like, I don't want to mention their stuff. But another moderator, this is going to sound really crazy. He possibly faked his own death. Now,
what?
Hear me out.
We've had people like this.
This is going to be a little bit of a story, right? So there's this guy, we were good friends. He got mod on my server. Like, he got mod after like 9 days of being in the server because we were desperate for American mods. We still are. We need American helpers. If anyone's American or like different time zones to me and you want
jump in.
Jump in. I don't want to use this podcast to say that.
No, you're good, bro.
That's kind of the point.
We do need people of different time zones to surf outside the UK and EU. Well, some far away EU time zones could work too. But But the thing is like this person, like they got I think it was helper at the time, and eventually worked their way up to mod. Because I was like, they were one of my best friends online, like one of my best Discord friends after a while. Like we only knew each other for a couple of months, but they were cool. They helped me with a lot of issues that I had, and like I talked to them a lot. Okay, so I don't know if this is fake or if this is real. So I'm not accusing them, but you'll hear the reason that I think they might have faked it later on.
Yeah.
Or, like, allegedly, they might have. Some people think, and so basically, this guy, he got hit by a car apparently, and then he got put in hospital, right? And then he was still on the Discord for a few months. So this is why it's kind of believable because, or a month or so. This is why it's kind of believable because if it was fake, he set it up very well to where he put a lot of effort into this. Then after like a month or so of like, saying he was being to doctors, I'd even been in voice calls with him somehow because apparently you're allowed to have your phone in hospital, but I guess you kind of would be if you're in there for a long time.
It does depend kind of thing heavily. That's the thing.
I believed he was there and he was making a recovery. Then one day I was not on at all. I was really busy for a few days. And he went in for a final operation because he got paralyzed, like wasn't able to walk, but he was possibly able to walk, if that makes sense. So he went for a final operation. This should have allowed him to be able to walk, I believe. I don't know the details. I wasn't active that day, but yeah. So he went in for that. He was really worried about it. And like a couple of hours later, I don't know how long it was because I wasn't super active at the time because I was doing stuff in real life. But his brother joined the Discord and said he passed away. Now, it was the same account, so his brother just opened the ticket because we have like a ticket system where you can contact the staff.
Yeah.
He also DM'd a bunch of people the same, like copied and pasted paragraph saying, blah, blah, this person has passed away, blah, blah, blah. Then they DM'd me as well, and they were like, because I was friends with the person who, they messaged me and was like, is there anything you want to say for to I think they did like a book or something of memories of people. Like I was like, why are you asking some random dude online?
Yeah, that's just stop.
The guy also said that the brother of the alleged
this
person,
was
also said that he didn't use Discord, like he didn't know
use
how to
socials.
Use Discord, but then he also could set himself to offline, invisible. Then okay, so this was like we were like, fair enough. Do we announce this? Do we not? And then we were like, it's a bit like because obviously you want to keep people in the loop.
Yeah, of course, especially if it's a community thing.
Yeah, so we've never actually announced this till now because I was like, do I or do I not? Right, and at the time I thought, okay, I take people for their word. If the person apparently died, died. It's a bit sus, but I was like, okay, fair. Then a couple of months later, or a week or a month or so later, I was looking into the situation a little bit more because I was like, I was curious. The guy donated like a decent amount of money to me on like one of my top donators.
So you're like, he's not gonna do it. Yeah.
One donator, I was like, they're not gonna do it. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna take a little bit more of a look. First of all, I noticed they changed they had two Discord accounts, right? Because one apparently got lost or they lost access to it or something. So they had two. They changed the name of their old Discord account that they apparently lost access to their same name as their YouTube channel name or similar, right? Which is first of all, how can someone who's dead change the name to an account? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, fair. I searched up their YouTube channel. They posted a video a couple of days after they allegedly died. Now, I don't know if it's the same person because they sounded different, but it could be that they were putting on a voice. But they were definitely mentioned by their name in it. Like there was a couple of people in the video, so that was kind of sus. They were also active on PlayStation. There was a couple of other bits as well, and I was just like, this is really suspicious. Now, again, I'm not accusing the person. It could just be the brother who's generally doing all this stuff. But it's also like, it just seems a little bit too staged. But again,
suspicious.
Hopefully it is like, well, obviously, I don't want to say hopefully it's true that they are dead, but I mean, if they aren't dead, then they need serious help. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something like.
You say if they are dead, they need help. I think.
No, I mean if they're faking that they are dead, they need serious help. But again, sorry if this went completely off topic, and I don't know.
No, it's fine, bro.
Worth mentioning, but I think it's a good example of like you never know who someone is on the internet, which is why
you've got to be careful.
Use social media. I'm trying not to get too attached to people, become friends with too many people, or at least if I do become friends with people, become friends with a lot of people. So it's not like all my eggs in like one basket. In terms of
and I get that though. I totally do, man. But dude, I think that was
reminds me a lot of Tiki's mindset as well. I don't want to bring that into it, but I mean, it's an ongoing theme when it comes to people on the internet. It's really bizarre. Maybe I just got really lucky with my interactions, but people are so skeptical, which is a good thing. It's not a bad thing.
But yeah, but I think
it is
it's the way we're
very
raised as well.
common.
A lot of people get told, you know, don't trust the internet. You know, don't anybody can be anybody. You know, like if you don't see their face, you don't know. You know, what I mean, you never know, and that's the thing with so many social medias. You've got to be very careful. That's
I
the
just
thing.
think it's odd with this guy how their brother's first reaction was to message some guys on Discord.
Yeah, message.
If
Definitely
you're
that is
brother,
sus.
you'd still be grieving.
You'd still be grieving. You wouldn't be like
You
messaging
wouldn't
them. I know.
instantly. Again, I'm not accusing this person. It's just odd how they changed their name. They were active on PlayStation. They had a video up. Again, I can't really. I had parts. I swear it sounded like them, but it could have been pre-recorded, of course. But
Yeah.
like, why would you post it after the? And it's not like they had like a serious channel. It's just a mess about channel. So what? You know,
Yeah.
And they were mentioned by name, saying, "I wish the person's name, blah blah blah, something about the person's name," like as if like this person has a cool Minecraft map or something. I think it was, and I was like. I wish they were talking about the person like to the person. Does that make sense? So it's like they were definitely if they were not.
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah,
mention the person.
It was.
the days after.
Yeah, it was sick. I mean,
Very
it's sick, man. But
attention-seeking.
that's honestly. That's exactly what you have to watch out for the internet. Attention seekers and people that are just trying to look for attention in general. And I mean, I think that's a great way to end it. You know what I'm saying? I think we all know this. This is something that we should share with the audience in general. Is like, be careful online, you know? Like, if there's anybody who's watched the way through this, and if you have, by the way, well done. Like, GG to you, right? Because we've been in here for 3.5 hours. We're gonna have to see, right?
My
we'll
legs
find
are
out, I guess.
so numb.
I've got to run to the
ridiculous.
store. I've got 24 minutes run out there, right to the store.
And potentially,
The
we
Barry
might be
Allen
making
Flash.
another one after this.
You never know. You know what I'm saying? You never know, right? But, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys did go to enjoy this episode, please be sure to go check out VIPmanYT. His channel will be linked down below. And, of course, in the title, if you're watching on Spotify, of course, you can search him up on YouTube. My man's almost at 68,000 subscribers. And, Dan, once again, man, just congratulations for that, bro. You're doing phenomenal right now, man. Dan, you want to plug yourself, bro? You can plug any socials, your Discord, anything, man. Go ahead,
I feel
dude.
like you just did a fairly good job. I mean, I have a Discord server too, but I can't really tell you the link because I don't have a custom URL because I'm not partnered because Discord is like, no, you can't partner this person.
Make sure to
They can't
visit
afford
Dan's
4,000
channel and find the link to his
Yeah,
Discord.
That's
and
it.
say,
Yes,
I'm here for
that's
the
it.
TFP.
Yes. Yes, exactly. But Dan, man, once again, bro, from me personally, I'm sure from Joseph and everybody watching the TFP show, man, thank you so much for coming on, bro. It's been a pleasure having you on, man. This is actually, may I just add, our first of 3 different Christmas-related episodes. So, Dan, congratulations on being on the Christmas season, man. I hope you have a fantastic Christmas with your friends and family, man. I mean that, dude. And this is also our longest episode as well right now so far, being over 3.5 hours long. So, man,
If somebody beats this
GG.
episode, I feel bad for you guys. I'm just saying.
we'll see what happens. Joseph's going to have some real trouble editing it, but we're going to see what happens with that. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching the episode, guys. We'll see you guys on the next episode of the Forgotten Podcast. Once again, check out Dan's channel. It'll be linked down below or in the title. If you're watching on YouTube, you can click the @ And yeah, guys, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you all later. Peace, peace.
Adios.
Skedaddle.
Stop that.
Sorry.
Will you get out, get more in the glass? I forgot. I'm
Stop,
in the wrong.
man. I am
was gonna-
already underpaid.
Oh,